Hey, hey. What tournament? We got LTA and the HCS. Oh, and Combo Breaker. Combo Breaker is also going on. I don't know if that's going on at the same time, though, or if that's later. Not sure yet. Thanks for your sub spades. Thanks for your sub November. Right now it's Tekken top 128 for Combo Breaker. Oh, we're on the Street Fighter side, not Tekken. We're not in Tekken yet. Thanks, membership, Marcos. Your sub Sloppy. We should be starting at 4. Have you heard about Battlefront 3 coming out? It is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I don't know if you're joking or not, but the amount of people that do think Battlefront 3 is now in production because Battlefront 2 hit an all-time high on Steam concurrent is mind-boggling. Thanks to Tier 1 Trident. Dev said they wanted to make Battlefront 3. Yeah, and you know what else they wanted to make? Respawn wanted to make Titanfall 3. It didn't happen. Got canned. It's not up to the devs. Never is. It was also the ex-devs that said that. Oh, so not even current devs? Oh. He's the membership medic. We have 3 tournaments going on today. I just don't know the times for 2 of them. I know LTA starts at 4. HCS, I think, starts somewhere around there as well. And then Combo Breaker, sometime in there as well. I don't know the full timeline. So League of Legends, Halo, and Street Fighter 6. You've been following the NBA playoffs? Loosely. I know Pacers up 2-0 right now. That's pretty fucking crazy. And the Thunder looking unbeatable. Thanks, Resub Rosa. I'm going to be auditioning for Hunger Games, don't you worry. We'll see if I get it or not, but I'm gonna try. Oh, I'm gonna really try. When does that start, Bert? Because we play Optic again right away. It's crazy. Because they keep fucking choking. So then we end up having to play them first after we go fucking 3-0 every time. Thanks for your sub, Gandalf. Thanks a Prime Crawl. Halo's starting now. Is it really? Let me see. Which stream?
Today, we didn't want to see that from them day one coming into this
Oh yeah. I think we are about to start.
tournament, but they did. How do you think the bounce back is going to be here?
I think the bounce back is going to be strong. If you remember,
So that'll be before LTA then, so we'll start with that. What's your opinion on YouTube telling EA to make Battlefront 3? It's not gonna happen. It's just, it's not gonna happen. Thanks, Resub Lifter. I'm glad people are enjoying Battlefront 2 because the game's in a good spot, but they're not gonna be able to bully EA into greenlighting Battlefront 3 just because some people have gone to Battlefront 2 on Steam. If you could bully companies into making games, Bloodborne 2 would have come out 8 years ago. This happens every year, it's just pointless begging. I wouldn't say every year, this is by far the biggest I've seen for it. And yeah, I know Grow Garden hit 8 million, or 9 million concurrent players earlier today. Because of their event. Okay, here. We should be starting here in a minute. Thanks for your sub toast. Thanks for your sub Zoe. I'm not super excited for Death Stranding 2 after seeing all the gameplay. They're keeping the same core gameplay of just tediously delivering packages, so I'm not pumped. Thanks for your subdues. Not excited for the Uber Eats simulator. True. There's your sub Padres. Need to see Ballerina? Yeah, of course I will. Cheeky with Grit would be crazy. We have that coming out pretty soon. Is your sub Zulu? Okay, here. Hold on. Looks like they're about to start.
our weapon control is going to be massive. You need to see Frosty end up with some of those S7s, especially on the asymmetrical maps where there's only one. You got to fight for that, and I think we've seen the damage Optic can do this weekend already. They've put on some of the top 10 clips, I'm sure,
Frank.
in pool play. The damage that they do when they get those snipes is
That's
unreal.
huge, Chief.
Guess what? Shopify had those same monsters on their side as well. Frosty, one of those guys. Last shot, I mean, Roll 2, probably the most prolific sniper in the game at this
Google
point.
VO3 stuff is so crazy. It is. It's unbelievable. It is actually unbelievable.
Players make big-time plays in big-time games, and this doesn't get any bigger because when you knock one of these two teams into the elimination bracket, you don't have to see them for potentially the rest of the tournament.
An immediate
So
winner.
right now, it's time for superstars to show up make moments, and make sure their team gets across the finish line. At
Another
least in
merch
this spot.
cheeky
Two
winner.
beasts on the stage. Who has the edge in this quarterfinal? We'll have to find out. We're heading into our intros with both of our teams on the main stage.
That sounds
It's
about right,
Optic
Rancid.
versus Shopify.
Hopefully he's nice in real life at least. That was Pero. Wow, that was also the first person to play today and they won. Holy. Jesus. Good shit. Thanks, membership, Crumb. Yeah, no, there's no notifications going out on YouTube for stream. I'm out. The little secret stream. I hate this format. Having the top two seeds play right away is so fucking trash. I'm tired of it too. But to be fair, it's not like it's supposed to do that. This is just the second time in a row Optic fucks in pools. So then we have to play them first.
This is the matchup everybody wants to see, and we get to see it early in the winners bracket. Shopify Rebellion and Optic Gaming have been going back and forth ever since this season got underway, and now we will see one of them fall down to that elimination bracket. It is the perfect way to start bracket play here in Dallas on a Saturday.
A little bit of Saturday deja vu coming at you here. These two teams, we knew they would meet yet again. However,
Alright.
we did not know they would meet so
They got
soon.
us in grand
Once
finals
again,
last
Shopify
time.
versus
Let's
Optic.
try and get some
Optic,
revenge here.
50-49 Game 5 loss to TSM puts them the second seed in the pool and makes them face now their biggest rival in the Halo Championship Series early on in your winners quarterfinal.
This is your 1 and 2 from Arlington, the first major of the year. This is your 1 and 2 from the KSAT Invitational that started before the season even got underway, and it is 1-1. If you look
When
at
we do
those
another
grand
bad game
finals,
night.
when it
I don't know,
comes
it's been a
to
while.
HCS
We
tournaments,
gotta do one
it's
soon.
Optic who have that win under their belt. Shopify Rebellion would love nothing more than to send Optic down to that elimination bracket early, and we're starting off with a little bit of neutral Brom here on Aquarius.
Fantastic map to start things off here. Going to be an absolute bloodbath. And as we said, Shopify Rebellion taking the winners quarterfinal.
What about League of Legends match? Starts at 4.
Grand finals loss in the first series and
So we'll be watching both.
Loss in the second series as well. Optic with the momentum from that tournament. However, you got to think from pool play, the momentum has completely swapped over.
Ooh, we gotta
Shopify
win those.
comes out with the first seed.
All right, then,
Oh,
DreamHack,
boy.
this is going to be a series to remember. Legend on your screen right now, and Shopify Rebellion
Kinda clapped us
finding
there.
themselves 3 in the death screen early. You can see a couple of players trapped in the back of the base. Bomb is being progressed up towards the front of the Shopify base, and Legend is hunting. Still 2 dead here for Shopify.
Jinkies! Rough start.
As you see a 4 dead followed by a 2 dead now, and fridge spawners as well. They're going to get split spawns here.
Bomb will try to stay alive. There is a player
Okay, here we go.
who has spawned,
There's a
like
little
you say,
something.
and
There's
split
a
away from
kill.
that fridge spawn. Shopify trying desperately.
There we go,
to
winning our
straight
ones
for
now.
last
Good.
shot, by the way. Wiggling left, wiggling right. Managed to hit the perfect shots as well. Shopify doing a pretty good job
Leading
actually
tier
to
1.
defend this push from Optic. It felt like Optic had control for around
Flash.
30 seconds there, but just couldn't get that bomb inside the base.
Like that fadeaway seeker there from last shot.
Last shot brought us back from the fucking brink here. We had such a horrible start.
In terms of the aggression, it's 3 dead.
But now we're looking good. Now we're looking nice.
2 players alive for Shopify. That'll give them a moment to breathe.
Bomb already being progressed towards the closet here for Shopify Rebellion in a cycle. The youngster who would have felt
Will we be streaming
heartbreak
ALGS tonight?
having lost
Maybe,
that
we'll see.
grand final.
Depends on what
Well,
time.
now he's
Good
picking
shit
up a
cycle.
double kill and clearing the way for that bomb to move in. It's not just
Maybe a little
two, he might be
cheeky
able to turn
triple?
3 here as Formal. He's trying to get back in towards his
Ah.
base to stop this
Ooh.
bomb going in. A killing spree for last shot as well. Bomb is down. But a couple more kills needed here for Shopify.
Come on,
before
boys.
they think
Come
about
on,
getting
boys.
that arm.
It's a hero stop from Renegade. Renegade was last player alive, top mid. He jumps out
Nice.
front base to get the stop on the arm. Otherwise, that thing would have been gone already. Big play from him to keep the team alive.
Optic have done a phenomenal job. Like you say, Renegade, the catalyst for that defensive
Good
play.
trade, fuck it.
Most importantly, they
Damn,
got that bomb
couldn't
out
score
of the
that.
base. If you're
Unlucky.
watching for the first time here, you're walking past, you're wondering how the game
Easy
time
Zena.
works. You have to get that bomb into your opponent's space, hold it in that
Man.
arming zone.
We had such a good look
and
there.
Get that point on the board.
Yeah, speaking of,
We had him with that fucking
Yourself
blue
in a great
steel.
place
Just
here,
couldn't
DreamHack.
we
You're
couldn't
not
score
gonna
it.
be with us just to paint the picture. To our right, one of the largest CS tournaments of the year. To our left, an enormous
Yeah, I saw
Call of Duty
Sky.
tournament as well.
I saw the
So,
headline, I
Halo
didn't
here
look at it, though.
In the smack dab
It's
middle
terrible.
of a fantastic first-person shooter fest is pretty amazing. It's been a great weekend so far, and to be honest, we're just getting started with the Halo action here in bracket play.
We've had upsets, and now we have the two biggest teams in the league going up against each other early on in the winner's side. Camo did get picked up by Renegade there, but wasn't really able to put it to too much use, but Optic is starting to progress that bomb through the closet themselves.
It's game one, just started.
Finds one onto Cycle, is 2 dead here for Shopify. Optic have the numbers, and they have the opportunity to move this objective in towards the Shopify base as Legend finds another. It's 3 dead for Shopify.
Why do we face Optic first round? Because they keep getting upset in pools. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how often they just fucking flub in pools. So TSM beat them yesterday. So now we have to play them first, again.
Who's not only staying alive but outputting damage. Formal gets the trade. 3
Good
dead for
shit.
Shopify, but 3 dead for
not
Optic
enough.
as well.
Legend's there.
But the respawn's already coming in here for Shopify Rebellion. Cycle's trying to just buy some time, and even though he does get down,
There's a prime moonshot.
Last moving in here to clear out
Yeah,
the
I'll play
base.
Splitgate
Shopify
2 when
again.
it's working.
Kind of repeating what Optic did in their base and managed to make a last-second defensive stand.
Notice the importance there of Frosty top mid yet again. That's the second time in this game.
They
The
get a
bomb is
touch.
arming yet again.
Oh,
It's a
yikes.
touch from Renegade.
Renegade
Yikes.
trying to arm this one. Cycle goes down as well, thanks to Formal. It's
Well,
3 dead
that was
for Shopify Rebellion.
brutal. What a
Frosty
shame.
gets the stop, though, but that bomb is pretty close to being armed.
Wow, Frosty also gets good damage on Formal NES spawners as well. It's a big stop again from Frosty. Back-to-back stops as one of the last players alive.
Huge. Good work, Frosty. Alright. Well, that'll work. They really fumbled the launch. Yeah, I know. You hate to see it, but they really did fumble it.
But just one they couldn't take.
Man, the first instance was Frosty top
When
mid.
the game works, I'll play.
Which allowed the util spawner to go util bridge, kill Formal right away. Then, as you said, Optic gets a last-second touch with that bomb. It looks like they had it done, but Frosty wins a very key 1v1 and then gets good damage on Formal to buy them more time once again. So back and forth, your complete tug-of-war off your opening 4.5 minutes.
Another camo goes the way of Optic Gaming, though. The 2 players have fallen, even though Legend was output a huge amount of damage. Cycle being a nuisance. Legend still hitting his shots. A Royal 2 for Shopify now last alive, and Optic have a chance with 4 dead on the Shopify side to maybe
Yeah,
get this
we
first
don't
one
stop
on.
that, I
It
think.
should be good timing-wise. They might have to
Unlucky.
cross up here. Last shot gonna go top.
Man, we had such...
It's coming
Oh!
Nades.
Get backed off.
Oh!
Top middle is full.
Wow!
Optic and again.
Holy shit!
Shopify, just hold on.
What a stop.
Hey, we take those.
Players were alive when the arm began. Fridge spawners and pink spawners, and last shot wastes no time for the top mid angle, and they have perfect nades off the pillar from the bridge.
Optic probably looking back on these opportunities and thinking, what went wrong?
Nice way to chase that down. Mm-hmm.
Get that point on the board. Royal 2 now last alive for Shopify. Again, looking across the statistics at the moment of the players, it's Formal leading the way here for Optic, 15 and 9 for Matthew Piper.
Yeah, Optic so far with a little bit of a slaying lead, but as you've seen, still netted up here 0-0, and Shopify finding a bit of momentum, a perfect trade.
Okay,
They're a rare
we'll
one,
take the
by the way.
trade.
Let's get into a list.
I guess. Very interesting trade. Nice last shot.
Watch out, Legend. Legend, go harder.
Yo, camo 10, guys. Camo 10. Camo 10.
Yo, top B on nades, and then looking for one probably.
Let's use some gadzooks.
Yo, RP1 weak.
I'm trying to be
RP1, hit him 3 times, guys. Watch out, P1. Yo, watch out,
Oh.
Crow weak, guys.
Someone clean that.
Crow still, guys.
Someone clean him.
Yeah, alright, break.
No.
So they're
He gets away with it. Damn.
They have camo.
One more break, car one. They're break car one. We got rain bomb margin. Oh, you car 3.
Camo's down their brick.
RB weak. I mean, one shot.
Nice. Camo's down.
Yo, man, red bomb.
Oh, couldn't trade. That's okay. Someone else got it.
First gun.
Two up.
There's a big time back and forth game right now. Jesus.
What you 2 1 shots? 2 1 shots right now. 2 1 shots in front with back. 2 went flank.
Ah,
Okay, I'm hitting break. We got Jin pressing.
Oh.
Hitting break. They're
way to survive, Royal.
I
Ah,
got you.
unlucky. I blew it.
Flex one.
It's game 1.
You
can see it at the top.
Yo, they're brick right now.
Well, Shopify, as you would imagine, incredibly intense in those comms. You saw Renegade actually trying to go for a little sneaky plant there, so Optic trying all the tricks at the moment, but still, neither team able to get that bomb armed.
Looking Formal, by the way, 20 and 12 at this stage. The next closest is 14 kills. Actually, Frosty just hit 15, but still, that's quite a margin to be positive 8 and tied for most assists in the game. It's a great start for Matthew Piper.
Formal having to play a little bit slow here as Shopify have the majority of the map in their control. You can see they're trying to move the bomb through the courtyard, but that'll be slowed down as Bound not
You
only
should watch the new
won,
Mint Blitz video on
finds
Doom
himself
Dark
a little double
Ages.
kill as well.
Found some
Last
fun
shot pushes
gameplay
out,
tech.
wins the
I've seen
fight
some
against
cool
Formal.
movement tech.
And now
The
down
speed
on car
run's
one,
interesting.
Renegade wins his. The bomb is down car one at the moment. I think Optic are trying to move this through the car side.
Bound desperately trying
Good
to stay
grenade.
alive, but they sniff him out. And you heard it during the listen-in. 3 dead, by the way, for Shopify. You heard it during the listen-in. Finding that last player and making sure that the priority kills coming in really has been a theme for both teams. And as you can tell by the scoreboard, after nearly 8 minutes of play, they've both done
Oh
it
my
very well.
god, what the fuck is going on? Another
Hit
win?
the Shopify bomb is on the Optic side of the map as well. Cycle's trying to fly out to help clean up Legend. He manages to do so.
Another
But
murky,
Shopify
cheeky
still
winner.
lacking numbers on the map. Cycle and Royal 2 still in the death screen. That allows Bound to just take a little bit of a sneaky angle here. He's gonna
Basically
get the
back to
build in,
back.
But not the kill. But here comes Renegade. He'll find one. Frosty was no shields. But Renegade
That
not any shields back as well.
was
Does not want to trade this
X-Row.
scenario.
Similar to what we saw yesterday, despite Optic leading in the slays, of course it was
They're
Fortress
using
yesterday,
AI to
still,
win,
despite leading in the
imagine.
slays, having to work very, very hard to get these arms on the board, and it feels like the first bomb likely to take the win here.
3 minutes 30 seconds left on the game clock as well. Frosty finds one in his base. Renegade's going to try and get maybe the double melee with that bomb in his hand, but instead, again, it's going to be Shopify inside of their base, who are just doing such a good job to stop the
Trade
Shopify
it.
pushes.
Trade it.
Optic pushes onto
Thanks.
their base. Frosty once again makes sure to trade in and around his base. The bomb is still down. And no team really has enough control to move that in towards the base right now.
While we still have 3 minutes left on the clock here, still a lot of time to play. Let's get into an Optic listen and see what they're up to.
You put the claw on easy mode. It's just all random.
Car one's weak. Car dead. Last guy.
Jet Frosty weak, Jet Frosty weak, on flag, on flag.
Car bench and flag. Car bench and
On
flag.
flag weak, Frosty. And on,
One
Jet
shot.
One shot the troops.
Two shot weak.
flag, roll two, absolute,
Fine,
spin
fine,
out. You guys spin out, you guys spin out.
Watch that back turn. Watch that back turn. See, watch that back turn.
They haven't pinned right now.
Watch that
Two
back
as well, I
turn.
think, guys.
Could be P1.
Yeah, they could be up P.
30. Pick, I'm gonna pick.
P1, watch out. Watch out.
Watch the tree, watch the tree, watch out, Frosty.
P1 weak. P1 weak.
Yeah, I know about the tier 2 Valorant stuff. Valorant in general, from everything I've seen, is in such a fucking terrible spot with all of the betting. Like, even ranked match betting is so diabolical. Betting on just ranked games.
Our general, big cycle, he's gonna kill me, he's gonna kill me.
It's
Good fight,
craziness.
Our flag, cycle weak, to your left, round, to your left. You shot our gen guys and one moving bomb.
Moving bomb, L2. Camel guys, camel guys.
That game just seems not even worth ever playing, to be honest.
I'm gonna car jet bound, I'm gonna car jet bound, I'm gonna car jet. Shots weak. Good jet.
I'm right back, I'm right back. Got one. They still have camo.
Go, P2 also, P2 also,
That might be
P2 also.
camo, guys.
Two shot. You guys can go front. Two shot.
No, one thing we can do.
Our fridge roll two, our fridge roll two.
We don't know where camo's at.
I'm bomb weak. guys.
Nice, Sean. Yo, our fridge roll two. I'm like,
Yo, car 2, yo, he,
Wait, that's
camo,
not that guy.
camo's up on the engine, jumping up behind you, Sepri. Jumping up behind you.
look up, look.
No, I haven't played Fragpunk yet. I still plan on it, though.
Your first guy, man.
I'll eventually play
Optic
it.
on the back foot here inside of their base as we come out of the listening back into the gameplay, and Last Shot getting another touch on that bomb. Means that Optic are going to have to make some defensive plays here, and Formal having to play this one slow and patient in the back of his base.
Moments ago, you heard the reaction from Optic as Renegade got that kill solo in the util. It was a big one, and once
Lost
again,
alive.
bought them a lot of time, but Formal was able to get a toss out. Stay alive for the time being.
There's a chance.
Cycle
There's a
likely to
chance.
move that bomb as fast as he can. Big damage.
Oh, we can't let that happen. Oh,
How vital could that be?
no.
Legend finds another one inside
No,
the base.
that was our
Optic trying to
chance.
hold on as we enter the last 60 seconds
Fuck.
of regulation time here. Bound should be able to get the second on the Frosty, but Frosty manages to evade the grenade. The bomb is out of the base. Most importantly, Last Shot last alive, and Optic have got eyes on him as well.
Back-to-back spawns where Renegade gets a kill and essentially in a
The
1v4.
original creators of Superman are
Now
trying to
allows
sue
them
Warner
push
Bros.
up
from
the map
releasing
here.
the film in a
39
few
seconds left, maybe
countries.
one last-ditch
Why?
effort before overtime.
So Shopify in a familiar situation, which is trapped in the back of their base as the bomb moves through the car side.
Oh,
Bound hits
yikes.
a
Oh, boy.
beautiful
We can't have that.
looking shots
That's no
onto
good.
Royal 2, and maybe
That's a no good here.
is the opening that Optic need. Everybody from Shopify is trapped in the back of the base here. Last Shot
Oh,
finds
fuck.
one.
Wow.
Bound will find an opening though, and that bomb is perilously close to the arming spot.
Wants to stay alive here. We can. Staying alive. is
Yeah,
huge
it's
here.
gonna be
True death
GG.
for Shopify.
That's
True death for
tough.
Shopify. Royal 2 gets
Oh,
the kill, though.
wait.
Bound will get the killing spree, but there's no one
Royal
from
just
Optic
popped off.
close enough for that bomb to get it inside of that arming zone and get it armed again. Again, Shopify Rebellion at times have held on in this game.
Camo grab, by the way. As
Fragpunk
overtime
confusing
begins.
based
Next
on
bomb, of
ridiculous
course, will
cards
win,
gameplay's
but
pretty
Royal 2
smooth,
can
though.
stay alive here. As it's now a 2v2.
I haven't
This
heard
will be a
anything
big
too
opener if
bad
they
about
continue
it.
moving
Like,
the
I've
ball.
heard mixed
Free dead here for
reviews,
Optic.
so I'm gonna give it a try. We'll see how I feel. I'm just kinda tired of tack shooters in
Space to get
general.
Back on the map once again. Royal 2 is trying to make sure that this camo is as effective as it can be in this time, but he's been spotted out. Bound wants the trade,
Nice.
but you're not going to get it as the shots from Royal 2 are crispy.
Very crispy. You almost wondered if he kind of meat shielded him there, and Formal might have even tagged him once as well in the back. But regardless, it's a very clean win. 2 dead for Shopify yet again.
Thanks, membership, Aaron.
See that bomb in a pretty neutral position, just ever so slightly in the territory of Shopify Rebellion. They're trying to move it. Optic here through bottom middle, but they need some
He
kills
played
before they
Path
do
of
so. 2
Titans.
minutes now
Haven't even
left
heard of Path of
in
Titans.
overtime. Like you said quite rightly, next plant will win. Or are we going to have to go to double overtime here?
Certainly possible with the way this one has gone.
Nice, that's 2 down.
Formal, by the way, 1 kill away each.
That's 3 down. Can we get anything going with this?
Second time in a row. This would be a
That's-
trade, doesn't
yes.
count, which means
That staggered them a
Renegade
bit.
off spawn.
Let's go,
He's able to
Royal.
clean
Keep
that
them
up,
trapped.
otherwise it would have been a little bit dire for Optic Gaming.
Keep them pushed against the
1:35
lockers.
left in
Nice.
overtime.
Bomb is down on the car side. Royal 2 is behind enemy lines here, doing so much
Nice.
damage. Bound taken down to no shields, but still stays alive long enough
Okay,
to have an
okay.
influence on the
That's
second
good, that's
fight.
good still.
Formal's going to find one inside of the base as well. And
That boy, last shot.
Shopify need a big play.
Let's get 2, let's get 2.
He finds one.
No!
Doesn't get the beat down onto Renegade.
We would have won right there if he had that.
Kill, maybe the path to be carved for Shopify
Fuck.
to look for an arm. Camo comes up. Renegade's going to grab it.
That was a 2v2 in the back of the base yet again. Renegade gets a kill that you should say certainly
He's
should have
using
been a
Mad
trade
Dog.
yet again. And now he's got the kill.
God, that's so sad. That was it right there.
If he turns that 2v2 now into an arm, we'll see what they can do. He's about to flank behind him.
I mean, that bomb was about to get reset bottom middle, but Cycle got a really important touch on it to keep it in the possession of Shopify Rebellion and
Everything
deep
just got
into
so
the Optic
silent.
Gaming half of the map. So Shopify going to be able to push up onto this, but they still don't know where Renegade is with this camo. And he is using that bomb as bait. It's going to be great damage, great output. and
That's
patience
tough.
as well for Renegade here.
2 dead here, 30 seconds on the clock. They need to have this thing moving now. 3 dead. Last player alive looks like going to be a top pink player. World 2 up there. They'll finally get taken down. Now pink spawn's coming in.
Nate comes in. Frosty
Alright,
wins that fight.
okay.
But
They
he's going to be
are
taken
That's
down.
not good.
Cycle, he gets taken down.
Yeah, that's
Optic
it.
making a last ditch attempt
Tough.
to get the bomb arm. It's 3 dead for Shopify. The bomb goes in with 15 seconds left on the overtime clock. And Optic will be up by 1.
What a shame.
By
What a
1.
shame. We had a really good opportunity
Just
there
when
for
you
a
thought
minute.
We're going to a double OT.
You gonna watch Alien Earth when it comes out?
Pieces in the back of the base. What a drop and shoot there to prioritize the kill. You need
Oh
to
my
do that on
God.
Aqua Bomb. That's exactly what they did.
Is that
Paintball
a new
fans in the
movie? 'Cause I haven't
building
even heard that
happy.
one.
As you can see, they are a many as the crowd goes all the way back.
We told you it'll be close. I mean, that's
Another
the
winner,
perfect
another
indication
Merch
of what
Cheeky
you can
winner.
expect to see from these two teams.
That's
We go
3
into
winners in
overtime,
20
and
minutes.
it goes down to the last
Holy fuck.
15 seconds of overtime to get 1 point on the board, 1 bomb armed.
That was
How many times have we seen
Zishing?
what felt like situations that would turn into bomb arms not happen because of
No, it's the
brilliant
Alien
defensive
TV
plays in
show.
both
Ah.
places. But I think upon
His
reflection,
membership
there
is Ani.
I would say pressure upon the map. Optic probably come away from that one thinking they deserve to win that game.
I think so. Formal 34 and 25, Bound 33 and 29. Both players there, and look at Bound breaking 10k damage in the overtime
doing
period.
that much
And I
more
agree.
damage per minute
Optic
than him.
outslaying clearly, as you saw, also out
Yeah, we're watching LTA as well. Hasn't started yet.
in the final 15 seconds, managing to find that bomb arm. Really, the baiting and the switching and the timing was finally what they needed. The hometown crowd likes what
Hey,
they
congrats,
saw.
Rick.
But I think we should
Happy to hear it's going
with the
well.
exception of Grand Final 1 in Arlington, every single time these teams have played, it has essentially gone to a Game 5 or a Game 7, and that could even be extended into scrim results prior to the season.
Yes.
So we were expecting this between these two. It's always this close, and Game 1 was no exception. We'll take a look at some of the highlights.
Yeah, a lot of these are going to be defensive highlights. It'll be players trying to stop the arms going.
Nah, I didn't watch the
Second
live
plays,
action
that was
Lilo and Stitch. I'm done
Formal
watching
early on
live
trying to
action
get that
movies.
bomb and we saw
Oh,
a couple of bank nades coming off the bridge.
live action
Managed to
remakes.
Flush him out just as it felt
Sorry.
like Opti were in position. Another example of it here. Frosty last alive, by the way.
Snow
Flies
White was
through
the one where I
to stop
finally
that bomb
tapped
being
out.
armed. And once again, Optic in this kind of
Look at the
position.
pill- look
This
at
is
the
the
pillar
position.
nades.
Look at these
Look-
nades that will come in.
Look at perfect pillar nades off the fridge. Oh man, there's a reason you practice those nades. You should know every single nade from every part of fridge and pink one, so that you can stop those arms, and that's exactly what they do.
This is the final moment of the game where this bomb arm was picked up though. Bound.
Hey, fuck yeah,
Big fight for
Charizard, that's
back to base
great.
against Cycle. Stays
Thanks.
alive long enough to output damage. Formal's there to back his buddy up. And then Bound tries to play meat shield here and manages to just about do so. Then we head into overtime. And it's Renegade trying to make a difference in the back of this space.
He's
It was so
Veggie.
close so many times. And you felt like Optic in this moment, maybe it was going to slip through their fingers again, but it's Legend and Formal combining for that big final kill and the pop off from Legend as well. He's hyped about it.
Yeah, look at this, the entire team actually. And that tells you just how much is on the line in this rivalry. Formal doesn't pop up and stand up and talk trash for just anything, right? And this is only a game 1 in the bracket. The fact that he's standing up and exchanging words down the side of the stage, we're not kidding when they say
They
this is
didn't
a
butcher
battle
it,
of
but they
rivalry.
did ruin it for the Lilo and
There's
Stitch
also
live
so many
action.
indicated it this year so far.
That's
Optic Gaming. Take game number
What's
1,
the
1-0.
difference?
Get ready for a game 2 Slayer. And as we said, Slayer has been the difference maker between these two teams all year long so far. And I'm not kidding when I say I have never been so excited to watch Slayer.
Don't think that'll happen anytime soon, Daddy.
Look at these as kind of
Have you played
the game
Sonic
2, the
Lost
game
World
5. They
before?
have to be in the
Nope.
series lineup. Now I think it's quite different. I'm excited to see these teams play Slayer because it is going to be every single moment, every single opening,
Yeah, 2 minutes
every
till
single
LTA
push.
starts, so we'll
It's gonna
swap
play
to that
lot
in a minute.
differently because there's so much on the line here, and both teams know how important the Slayers are.
Yeah, the difference between getting a trade and not getting a trade is something that really is magnified when you have these Slayer game types between two teams who are so insanely talented and so insanely well matched against each other. So keep an eye on situations where a player maybe shouldn't get a trade but somehow manages to
No,
get
I'm
out of
not
the
getting the
situation.
Switch 2 on
Either a
launch.
stick, either a
Eventually I
beatdown,
might get
whatever
it,
might
we'll
be,
see,
to
but
get out of a
I didn't
situation where
pre-order it
feels
and I have
like
no
you're
plans of
disadvantaged
getting
to
it
get a trade. Can be
early.
the difference maker. Keeps a game close, keeps players on the map, or if you don't get it, all of a sudden 2-3 dead becomes 8 kills in a row. That's how good these teams are.
And it's often the case in objective, but is of course magnified because each of those will actually amount on the scoreboard, right? Getting a trade and an OBJ to get a little more space. Things like that make such a big difference in terms of your map presence and map composition. Here though, like you say, if you're able to keep things even and you're getting your trades, you can always look forward to the next battle. If that happens 2 or 3
Nintendo
times,
Hate
right,
Train
you're down by
starts
6
on
or 8,
launch
as you
day.
had mentioned. So
It started way
now
before that,
16,
man. I hate their $80
discipline,
pricing, and I hate their
discipline,
fucking
at times slow down
pretty much
for
everything they
all
do.
each team
Especially
figure
now
out
with
how
all
they
the
wanna
Power
play.
World
Camo,
lawsuit
for
shit, I hate
example,
them.
You're going to see a lot of
They can
kind of
suck my
speed
dick.
changes and a lot of dynamic gameplay coming out of these two teams as they start to realize just how
No, I'm not
important
really
the
excited for
Slayers
Death
are.
Stranding
Like
2
we talked
anymore
about
after
earlier,
seeing the
sitting
gameplay is
with
the
laptops
same
this morning.
tedious package
Talking,
delivery
he's like,
sim
listen,
from the first
grand
one.
finals are always gonna have free
But
stuff.
I'm gonna play it,
We're
and
on
I'm
the
really
top
excited
of
for
the
the
game.
story to continue.
They know that now. Slayer has been prioritized in the scrim lineups. We're seeing much more of them in scrims because of that. And now we'll have to see, has the work paid off for both of these teams? Where are they both at with their Slayer game?
Also want to touch upon how important the coach's role is going to be for making sure the teams are set up.
Man, there's a
well.
long break
Shot
here in
rifle
between
and
games.
camo when they
Holy.
come up. The last thing you want to be doing here is finding yourself in a situation where you're losing 2 or 3 about 10-15 seconds before that camo is coming up. You give up not only map control, but also access to getting that power up, or at least keeping it out of the hands of your opponent. And when you've just seen on that map that we just had, Aquarius, how close the two teams are, giving them something extra,
Hey, Fly.
it can be a huge swing
Yep.
of momentum
Good
for
luck.
both of these teams on which way this game is going to go. But Optic find themselves 1-0 up in the series at the moment. Shopify need to answer back in this game to Slayer.
First meeting of the two in terms of a Slayer since that epic grand final game 7 bracket reset.
We lost the first fight.
We'll see who has the Slayer edge here. We're underway.
Well, Bound is doing all sorts of things inside the
It's
tower.
alright.
It's going to be 3 dead here for Shopify Rebellion. It's a great start for Optic Gaming because Formal not only gets the camo,
You hear
but
about
also
Nick
gets the
SpongeBob showing
shock rifle.
SpongeBob non-stop all summer? I mean, it's like all Nickelodeon
So if he
has.
needed anything else.
Yeah, guess what?
Not
Barely gets
surprising.
out. Really nicely played by Formal. Shopify tries to pick him off at the pass, but instead it's Formal who rotates with a snipe for a new angle.
2 kills the difference between the two teams. It gets a little bit wider, that gap, as Legend will find another kill. Last shot, probably thinking about bringing Brave.
There we
Frosty
go.
is gonna be
Good
Brave.
pincer.
Just as a double kill for him, and notably, off the start of this game, Andy, Shopify trying to play this one at a quick
Oh,
pace.
nice shot. That a boy.
And Frosty trying to keep them split.
God, this movement.
2-kill lead is now a deficit for Optic
Woof!
Gaming despite the start.
Attaboy, Frosty.
Shopify answers back right away, grabs the shock and the lead as well.
Oh, LTA just started. God damn it.
Boundlow's going to slow that
They
down.
took
Couple
oh,
of
no,
good
it
shots,
didn't.
but
No, it
not
didn't.
good enough to take down the player from
They're
Optic
still in the
Gaming.
pregame.
That'll give Optic a little bit of a foothold on the map here, even though Cycle hits the green gun, doesn't get the melee to connect, and we have ourselves tied up at 11 apiece.
Formal thankful for the pre-nade damage that he created there. Allows him to then win the trade, which otherwise would have been an even trade. 11-11 now on the scoreboard.
Camo now the focus. You can see Renegade just playing this angle. 20 seconds until that camo's going to come up. A bound. Finds himself a double kill.
Oh, boy.
Renegade gets a simple one himself. It's 3 dead here for Shopify Rebellion, and we'll have to see
What just went so
if they
wrong
have the
there?
space and the opportunity
What happened?
to move towards this camo.
Why?
They should be able to get this one pretty much uncontested.
There you go, Royal.
That's a big one. He probably has Shroud as well, so in a moment he'll be able to Shroud Camo for the team. 3 dead for Optic Gaming. One response from Shopify.
Yeah, not sure about Optic there. And did everything right in the build-up, but then maybe
Got camo.
hyper-aggressive, trying to push past that power-up that's coming up. Shopify play brilliantly. You have to give them all the credit in the world, but also...
Oh, nice fucking move, Frosty.
Has the chance with this camo
Yes.
to bring this game even and maybe even put Shopify into a lead.
Surgical comes in.
Does he
there,
know?
just absolutely picks apart
He
the A door.
knows.
He knew Renegade would be on the A door.
We're looking good now.
Gaming yet again.
We're getting a bit of a
Shopify goes back
lead.
into a lead. I love that from Frosty. He knew there would be a 1v2, and then he couldn't go straight into
Yeah.
A. He has to get so selective with that angle.
I don't know about that call there, though, Royal. I'll be honest with you.
From Optic Gaming, though, and it's
Unlucky, unlucky.
Shuts down
Not
the
good.
camo and gets a
Our
third as
momentum.
well.
What have we
Control
done?
re-established thanks to this man
What have we done?
Leaves Cycle because he knows the kill's going to come in. They regain the lead off of that triple and the 4th player.
Powerpuff
fight.
Girls creator got
It's
so
all
mad at the
4 dead.
remake, he's coming back to
Gaming
finish the
looks to do it
series.
again.
Oh.
9 and 5 for Formal as well, almost double.
Wait,
kills
what
here to
remake?
start this game. 22 apiece though, nothing.
And who's the
again
guy
to
who made
separate
the
two
remake?
teams. Frosty versus Formal. Formal win the fight, but Cycle will make sure that kill gets traded out. 2 dead on either side at the moment. Last shot will find Bound though, and Legend has to be careful here. Tries to escape with the grapple. Just bonked
There
his
you
head
go, there
and
you
that
go,
cost him his
Cycle.
life.
Now at the mid-game mark, we can check in with the score. You hear the halfway to victory audio cue coming in, and unsurprisingly, neck and neck. But
There's
Shopify
Yusuf Shadow.
starts to pull away here at 28-25.
3 dead for Optic, shock rifle, and a full one in the hands of
Oh, he knows.
Already had a little indication of what he can do with this weapon.
Oh.
Trade this time around, even though he did what felt like a lot of damage in that situation. Now looking to flank
Let's
onto
get that
Cycle.
shock
Can't
back.
quite find where he went. Cycle was an elusive gentleman at the best of times.
Wow,
But Bound
damn,
turns
trading
his
that would've
attention
been
to
so
Royal 2
nice.
and deals with him instead.
Love the shots there. Not easy to win that before avoiding the trade. Now at 30-29. We're going to see. Should be a camo grab here for Optic Gaming. We'll see what Bound can do.
30 apiece becomes 31 apiece. So once again, these two teams just keep trading these kills out. No one will get away if they have no shields on the map. Bound with a lot of pressure on his shoulders here with this camo. Having seen his teammate Renegade goes down, and now he decides to strike but misses the beatdown.
We love those.
And Royal
You
2
love
will
to
make
see
it
that.
play. Optic find themselves 3 dead.
Big whiff, way to
Frosty
punish.
Already pushing forward looking for these spawners.
Good.
Now with a 3-kill lead for the first time in a while, let's get into a listen-in here with Shopify Rebellion.
No. Watch my cross. Watch your C-block.
Imagine that sticks.
Keep holding white. Keep holding white. Yo, top right. They might push. They might push up that. They might push up that.
Noob combo?
One of mine now 3 shot.
For my city?
I'm walking light. I'm walking light.
Do it for Tampa?
Watch out, watch out, beard. You're right. Two BR, what? Seen it. I don't see it. Watch out.
Okay, we take those.
Watch out. 3 dead.
There we go. There we go. We're getting a little distance here.
Watch out. Should be all pipes.
Get that noob combo out. Yeah, attaboy. Yeah. Breaking away a little bit. Yes. Yes. Wanted a lot out of that. I don't know about that, to be honest, but whatever.
Three white. One guy playing back cell, 3 white.
Yeah, alright, camo 20 now. Camo 20 now.
We just hold this to
Yeah, camo shock, camo shock.
Does he know?
Nice, good play, Brad. Two white. Walking, guys, walking. Topic out.
Imagine. Aw.
Half.
That's still good. Trade it. We gotta trade that. Somebody trade it! No! Okay, there we go.
Camo when you guys spawn.
Camo.
Out the Optic listening, but it's Shopify Rebellion who have the lead here. But Optic starting to pick up a couple of kills and find
Oh,
a
that's
momentum
bad.
here. Renegade
That's
finds
bad.
another,
Oh, that's
and it's
not
now
good.
just 3
That's just
kills
not good.
that separate the two teams. The only issue here for Optic is it's 7 to go for Shopify Rebellion to close this one out.
Yeah, not a lot of time here. There's a lot to love from that Shopify listen in there. Just really in control of the game. B-Man really specific with the comms that he was bringing. We'll talk about that later, though, because it's only a 3-kill game here. 45
Nope.
43, making it a 2-kill game.
2-kill game.
Nice.
Last shot keeps that form.
Almost there. Come on, boys.
Aggression, which has been the name of the game here for Shopify Rebellion.
Good trade.
Time
Trade's
to
very good for us
kills
now.
between the two
Trade's
teams.
very, very good for us.
Shopify 2 dead. Formal managed to find one in all of that scuffle, and Renegade got that camo, but now that it's disappeared, he finds himself a little bit separated from the rest of his team.
Such a huge game here for
Not
Shopify.
sure, Jose.
They
Maybe
need to close this
Siege.
out. To go down 0-2 in this series would be a tough, tough hill to climb. Next few kills in the feed probably going to determine this here. And this is what I meant. Watch the game slow down to a crawl when it needs to, because these teams will give each other so much respect until
What does
they
that
push
mean,
out
as it?
for a camo or a shock here. See if they can get some opening damage, maybe an opportunity to push.
I don't know what you mean by that. Like you can
That's a
AI
shroud
generate
as well.
Mr. Beast.
2 players going to be top gold here for Shopify Rebellion as well. So Formal's going to relay that information. You can see him a little bit of screen watching going on as well, seeing if he can gather anything that's going to give him an advantage. And it looks like the push is going to be formulated from Optic here off the back of the damage coming in from Formal. He tries to shroud across to block the line of sight, and there is the push now. It's going to be Renegade who gets that first one. Legend now. He's pushing onto Cycle. Doesn't want to trade.
Well, that's bad. This is the exact same fucking thing. Okay, never mind. Good work. One more. Good work. Good work. I was gonna say that was the exact same thing they did last time we played Slayer against them on that map. It worked a lot better for them the last time they did it.
How about that for a Slayer return between the two? An absolute chess match at the end of the game. Smiles on the face of the last shot as they will tie the series 1-1. And a big
Yeah,
moment
LTA
for Elite,
is
as we
starting
said,
here in
to go
just a
down
minute, so we're gonna
0-2
swap
would
to
be
that in
quite the
between
deficit,
games.
But instead, they
have such a
maintain the
long
lead.
break
They
in
did not
between. I gotta
falter,
pee
and
real bad.
despite
Give me 2
very,
seconds.
Very good timing push coming into gold from Optic Gaming. They're able to not only hold down gold, but also get the final kills at tower to close out the game comfortably. But that's what I mean. Expect to see that between these two teams now. They're going to play at a blistering pace. And the second they need to be very careful about their damage on the timing, they will slow the game down to truly just a back and forth until someone's able to get the right amount of opening damage. We're now tied up 1-1.
You can see the idea from Optic and what they were trying to do in those final moments as well. I like the idea, but the execution, not quite there. Even though Renegade got that first pick, it was Shopify who probably, on result of the kills that ended up going down in those final moments, probably out-traded damage elsewhere. And managed to shut down the Optic push. And I have to say, a little bit of a quiet game actually from Renegade, who was the man who everybody was looking towards in Arlington as the reason that Optic were able to go on that crazy run and become champions. In that game number 2, not his finest work, but I'm sure that he'll bounce back. The triple kill there from Formal, by the way. Just a great example of patience, but this is a big moment.
Big moment to shut down the camo, and Optic not able to really convert. Look at the free kills as well that Frosty was able to get. This is when they were up by quite a margin, 38-33. Later, he would also get some free kills.
Yeah, it looks like we're about to start.
But it doesn't feel like they got a big support edge, you know, in that bot lane 2v2 by any means.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel
We're just gonna
like
keep bouncing back and
they're
forth.
happy about the mid lane 1v1.
Yeah, I think it's just it provides a lot of value for team.
Yep.
You know, since the enemy team is all these like melee range, really short range.
Apply that passive.
Yeah, exactly. You can control a lot of space there. It does mean they are going to rely a lot on anti-flash engages because Palafox like kind of has to now be such a primary tool for a lot of their plays. And
Jin into that
going to
comp is
be
cooked.
A big and kind of different look
You
here.
don't know what you're talking
A
about.
lot of pressure on
We've taken a
Palafox
game off
here
FlyQuest before,
with the
I'll have you
anti-push.
know.
Nice little
That was only like 2 weeks ago we
a
took a
lot
game
of
off them.
push damage, in the regular
What do you know? Who the fuck are you?
But the big engage is still going to be super critical when you have the stun, when you have flash, finding the right angle, using Fog of War and stuff. to get in there.
It really is, but I will say, you know, over on the FlyQuest side, if you can kill Masu off early in the fight, they are so low on damage. It's not going to be easy to do because you have to get through the Alistar and the Ornn and the Galio and the point-and-click CC from the Pantheon, but you have a lot of point-and-click attacks yourself, right? You know, if you get a Flash Tibbers onto Masu here, and you have the Nefiri all
Yeah, this is
Rumble
LTA.
Equalizer on his head, everything thrown at Masu to take him out.
All right. It would be absolutely nuts if we did actually win this today against them, I'll tell you right now. That would be crazy. Is it possible? Of course it is. Ask Kevin Garnett. Okie doke. Big game, big game. Hot set. I like that build-up just for
So
complete
almost
silence.
Every Shopify game where they get contracts
Nice.
on Nefiri, they go for these invades early on to get vision for their team so that he can have options for hashing enemy junglers. And so FlyQuest, knowing this tendency, defensively ward their Raptors, and they see the Shopify Raptor ward put down.
Are they going to ward over the wall? Look,
Wow, this.
Okay.
Okay. I thought for a second there
I
that
thought
could be
Pantheon
real
maybe gonna
dicey.
get real
What tournament? This is LTA.
spicy here and hop over the wall, but Fudge is coming down. I mean, this is
Punish him!
active level 1.
Yes.
Pal Fox is getting some first
We got some autos in there. That's big for us. That's big for momentum. Big for the brain.
The little auto attack getting in there.
Oh yeah!
FlyQuest, we're discussing some genius midfielder Palafox.
We didn't win that.
Let's take a listen.
That didn't go our way. It's still not going our way. Perhaps
Careful, Quad. Enemy
should stop.
midfielder is genius.
What did you say?
Careful, Quad. Enemy midfielder is genius.
Enemy mid is genius?
Enemy midfielder is genius. You don't know meme?
I don't know this, man.
Xiaohu did interview.
What is happening?
No. It was Xiaohu.
Oh.
He said enemy mid laner has aura of genius.
Yeah, if he
I like the
really
aggression.
does anything, I'll just be saying that in comms.
Enemy mid is genius.
damage on the still,
Millions of damage. Millions of damage.
Genius little stun right there.
Yeah.
on the
Genius
Galio
last
stun.
hit, you know?
Everything he does. It's just the genius aura emanating from mid lane. And again, Annie will be critical to this team because this is such a snowbally champion. You know, if you can get ahead.
It's crazy to me that Annie is still a good champion. Well, still is the wrong word. She recently got good again.
Are definitely powerful if you get ahead.
Okay, we have an invade coming out here early as Contracts move
Nice.
to the jungle against Inspired, looking to use the early power
Do it.
against Nefiri. We know how much
Do
Contracts loves to do this on this champion. His bottom lane has priority, so they can rotate over to help him. He loves trying to attack the enemy jungler at their second buff at level 3.
Also actually got a lot of damage down on Seos as he was trying to move over to help. Inspired's going back for the steal, couldn't get it.
Nice.
They forced out the heal from the Braum.
Red buff is ours.
Damage on him as he was walking up through Drybrush.
Yep, every single game.
Click and stun
Contracts on
champions will
Nefiri,
always be decent.
Going
Yeah.
for these invades. It does take away the red, but Inspired can just recall and go up for Top Crab instead after the bottom side has been under contention.
I did like how Inspired handled that though. He immediately just backed
Just
off,
want to make it
charged
known.
out his
We have a
passive so he could
slight
have
gold
that full
lead.
passive Q to try to go back and actually
You
steal
love
it.
to see
Of course
that.
he didn't get it, but I thought
Fudge
he played that
bullying
out
in the
pretty
top lane.
intelligently. You
You
buying
love to
time
see
for
that.
Lucio to move over and give him that support.
Yeah, and Contracts as well. You know, use your second Q on the Fury for the execution damage as well. Always trying to combo.
Yeah, and so this is a FlyQuest that only has 2 losses this entire split. And while people are going to be looking at this as very favored towards them, and I think rightfully so, one loss was during the positioning phase to Cloud9. Their only loss during the group phase was actually to Shopify.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
But Fudge
We're
really
one of their
wanted
only
to
2
win.
losses.
Was getting better with
Goddamn
all
right.
3 games, I felt, despite
We
the
take
loss.
those.
And it was a very competitive series.
Who do you
I
think you
that
are?
is
I
kind of
am.
giving some hope here to Shopify that they can.
Are we winning?
And so
We are
Inspired,
actually.
because of the early
We have a
recall
great
that
gold
he
lead
took
right
after
now.
Finishing on bottom side, even though
Huge
his
gold
stolen,
lead.
He has combat advantage now with the extra long swords in inventory. So he comes back over to contest Contracts when Contracts tries to protect his red quadrant. We'll see about this Smite fight. Smite's coming back up shortly, and Inspired was already there, so Contracts doesn't quite get that Krug. And Inspired gets a little
Damn, our gold lead is dwindling a little.
Too.
Yep, Busio helping out Inspired there. They not only get the large Krug, but all the smaller ones.
Damn,
as
Fudge
well.
is cooking.
A bit of a tough spot here against Fudge, using the early power of that Rumble
Love
to
that.
try to keep this Ornn down.
Rumble's so
Something we haven't
nice.
touched on yet is Bwipo was actually playing Unsealed Spellbook. It's something I've seen him experiment with on his stream. It did get some buffs. You know, once you actually get through, you know, all the rotations, the cooldown gets very low now. It's down to 1:30. Obviously, it takes quite some time in the game to be able
We
to
just
actually
hit
get
6
through those
down there.
rotations. The first change does
I don't think we can
unlock
make
in
a
6
play
minutes,
yet.
but it's a lot of utility, scales very, very well. And we have to touch in on, this is how the matchup went last time. So the left stats are
Thanks, you
Bwipo
resub,
against the field.
beast.
The right stats are Bwipo in his matchup against Fudge. Actually did way worse than expected.
No!
Incredibly well. Palafox should be able to walk this off, but you know, Fudge was such a big part of that.
Man, that is some
and he
deep
does have a
Roman
nice little
Alistar
advantage for himself,
gameplay, I'll
300
tell you
gold
what.
early on. You have to think that Fudge has to have a good game.
That guy's
to get
trick-or-treating in
advantage
every lane.
for them to be able to really have a shot against FlyQuest in this series.
Yeah, a lot riding on this, as you can see. And Demonte tweeting as well. Big for Shopify here into playoffs. Really, really big stuff for him. Yeah, individually. He's talked about knowing these FlyQuest players really well and how they play.
The inside man.
We'll see if that could actually convert to a win this time around in the series. But I definitely like that you're highlighting the Fudge Bwipo matchup because it was so impactful last time.
Huge poke.
Maybe we can
We
see
celebrate
some
the
of
little
these
stuff.
old Ornn counter kills where you have the Ignite swapped over on Spellbook. Inspired's here.
Bwipo starting off with the Ornn Horn as Fudge
had the flash, that's all right.
flashes away, does not want to take any risk there. If you get hit by it, you're just going to take damage and still have to flash anyway, even if you live, so you might as well spend it early.
I honestly think if you don't flash that, then you're going to get stunned by Inspired, you're going to get ignited, there's going to be so much follow-up damage, I think you're just dead to rights. So I think that was the correct flash, respectful flash there. When you have that Ignite swapped over to from the Unsealed Spellbook, like Kobe was talking about, the kill threat is so high.
SR winning here would actually be so huge. It would be unbelievably huge, yeah.
Yes, you are weaker early without
Fly
the grass,
is
but there's a
by
lot
far
of
the
power
best
to
team
that,
in
and
NA
I
at the
think
moment,
with
so
Bwipo,
it would be
you know,
great if we
cycle
could win
through
this.
pretty quickly.
We took a
Just
game
get
off them a
that
couple
cooldown
weeks ago.
rate and-
We're one of
and,
only 2
start
losses
to
they have.
move through those cooldowns as fast as you can.
And Inspired ganking for Bwipo on a Pantheon as bottom lane does go for a little exchange.
Yeah, the Chains of Corruption from Masu finding a lot of damage here onto
Oh, wait,
Seos,
can we turn
who
that?
again has to use the heal. Masu taking some pain of his own though.
Not bad, not bad.
That Inspired
That actually
Pantheon
worked out
gank
pretty well for
Bwipo
us.
In this Cloud9 series, it was actually quite huge. And that was a dominating series from FlyQuest. Actually set records in the LTA with how quickly they dispatched Cloud9. So that, you know, avoidance of the death on top there, quite big for Fudge. But you know Inspired will come repeat, try and abuse that flashless Rumble.
And he's 6 now, he's going to look.
Okay, let's see what we can get.
No, that's
The
bad.
Grand Starfall, and Fudge is not looking too good. First blood over to Inspire.
Oof.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually not rocket
Still have the
science.
gold lead, it's
It is a
okay.
Pantheon with ultimate, and you're like, well, there's one person with no flashier flowers, so got to be very careful. And they do convert for the kill. That is just textbook jungling right there. Blow the flash on the first visit, repeat with the global. What will be the Shopify
What lane do you
answer,
play?
though?
Top.
Because, again, you invest a little bit.
I'm a
and
top lane
Fudge,
specialist.
Or Bwipo has gone for his recall, so they're trying to get the grubs in the meantime. Looks like
Inspired's
contracts
coming,
will at least
though.
get some of them.
Yeah, he should at least get one at the very least here, but Inspired is going to be here. And,
Now I jump over the back of the pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Inspired going to show up to try to contest this. Both bot lane duos also making their way towards this part of the map. Neither team
Ooh.
did the early bot to top
Are we gonna try and
spot.
contest these
We
grubs?
often see with those bottom lane duos as Inspired
We are.
takes that second grub, but now in a little bit of danger here as Shopify try to make their move. Busio here on the front line, but does not have Unbreakable Will to try to survive. B-Boy under
Okay.
pressure. Masu's looking for some AD carry violence. Meanwhile,
We're gonna lose Fudge again, but we should be able to trade that there for quad.
Up and shot down. Palafox getting one.
We got the grubs, right? I think we got all the grubs, so that works out for us.
Yeah, 1 for 1 at the end of the day there, and that one hurts for Fudge. He didn't have the equalizer, so he couldn't really get involved. And as he tried to walk him from top lane, they just turned on him, were able to knock him down. It is 2 grubs, though, for Shopify, so they did grab a second grub towards the end of that fight.
Yeah, contracts. Able
We
to
got 2 of the
grab
grubs.
that
Damn, I
one
thought we got all
during
3.
the skirmish.
Still good. Still good for us.
Honestly, though, the focus of money might be an issue because Inspired, as we said in the series versus Cloud9, was huge on this champ. He was the one to get both of these kills. So it's going to be an
membership key.
accelerated Pantheon And when you do have a global to be able to spread that pressure, it can mean very big things for the mid game. Here's another look at it. Of course, on the top side of your screen, you can see Fudge was very quickly isolated there, and Inspired knew I have flash advantage, so they're going to guarantee that kill. But the other side of the map is where Shopify slightly came out ahead, getting their counter kill as well as the extra grub.
And honestly, it could have been even better for them. Palafox
Have you ever played the game
Tibbers
Rematch?
only
No,
connected
not
onto
yet.
Galio. If he
I've
connects
seen
with
it,
Fudge
I just
well,
haven't
maybe
played
there's,
it.
some
It looks
sort of threat
fun.
of a follow-up. I thought Masu played it quite well, though. Actually, just isolating B-Voy. When he opened up with the Jhin ult, Masu just kind of went over and started just fighting him 1v1, which he's always going to win, pushes the Jhin back, made it so B-Voy couldn't really follow up. Palafox had spent all his spells, so they were kind of just light on damage without the equalizer.
Palafox now without that flash for a little while longer. You guys talked a lot about it, I think rightfully so, after we saw the way that the drafts ended up shaping up. There's so much that rides on this Annie. So much of this
Optic just
is,
capped the
can he get a
flag.
big flash engage?
Not good.
I think so much of it is
I don't
also
like hearing
going
that.
to be making sure that that flash is always available for that purpose, right? If you're FlyQuest and you can manage to force the Annie flash defensively, all of a sudden the team fight from Shopify just feels so much weaker.
I mean, I think it's a really good point. You can see that he has gone Lucidity boots, you know, is going to be trying to play around that as much as he possibly can. A lot of MR already being purchased up here, though. You've got to be able to actually get towards that back line. You can see Kanan Crookern done for Whippo. He rushes that first. We already have that Cowl done for Quad as well. So there's going to be a lot of MR.
Is this just a free dragon? Can we not contest this?
Find a way to get past them, but there's so much CC on these champs
Yeah.
that it is going to be really difficult.
Tough.
Unless you're first to the spot.
Eek.
All
It's
right,
alright.
first Drake of the game taken by FlyQuest. And that's going to be, honestly, a pretty late first Drake. 11 minutes in. Not a lot of early focus onto the neutrals as Masu's in danger. Contracts jumping in here with the ulti. It's up to B-Void to hit the shots, but Masu gets out of the curtain call.
Oh.
Okay, he survives for now. Shopify doesn't look like there's going to be any transition on the map. So, yeah, FlyQuest, they grab their dragon. Masu, with the cleanse, is going to avoid his death in a mid lane. And the first item power spikes are all just about coming in here. So we'll have a pretty big scuffle around the next one.
All right, 19,000 gold for both teams.
We still have the gold lead, slightly.
The single dragon's not really going to make or break anything. The 2-to-1 advantage on the grubs. Again, similar story. Palafox in danger.
Yeah, no flash. This is death.
Whippo puts the chain
All right, now it's getting bad. Now it's not looking good. They drained all our flashes. They drained our fucking nuts. Now they just get free ganks like that.
Overlay bug at the moment. Palafox's flash, I'm in the game, and it is not actually up. So the indicator is showing it up. He could not have flashed that. It's not actually up at the moment. But yeah, nice double long-range ultimate usage there to actually kill the Annie, because FlyQuest are correctly tracking that flash and know that it had not quite come back off of cooldown, which it is just about now.
And he is going to be very squishy, right? And it's not like there's any HP built up whatsoever. You know, he is just on the
Right.
So is going to have that shorter ulti cooldown for the Tibbers, for these potential engages, and clearly he is going heavily towards CDR and trying to play for that. But it does mean if you get caught, you are going to get blown up in a hurry.
And big credit to Inspired in usage of this Pantheon ultimate. He has had really high value with all of his movement. This is one of the reasons we and everyone talks about Inspired.
Yeah,
so
we're
much
behind
this
quite a
game.
bit of gold now.
He has been very good with his clear, despite the early invade from Shopify. And here
Oh
we go.
boy. Oh boy. Wait, can we do anything here? We cannot. We can't do anything there. Fudge wasn't ready.
Now Contract focused by Whippo as the rest of FlyQuest reassembles after the equalizer had come down.
Oh, okay. Getting out of control now. Now they're just able to eat our lunch.
Yeah,
That's pretty bad. Uh-oh.
As Whippo's now on Ghost here with the Unsealed Spellbook.
I haven't played that
Comes in,
pre-con,
is able to
Logan.
Put some pressure on
That's
Fudge.
cool, though.
They already got that initial kill there onto Seos, and there just wasn't really much of a chance at actually continuing the fight afterwards. The equalizer was placed pretty well, but there was no CC to actually hold them in it. So FlyQuest just kind of wander out of that and are still.
Yeah, I watched the
pretty,
Until Dawn movie. It
and
was
are gonna
bad.
Be able to get the push down in bot
It was
side.
not a good movie.
Someone's gonna have to get up towards top side and eventually answer this Annie. But FlyQuest have got to be quite happy, I think, with how the early stages have gone.
Inspired is 3-0-1 on the Pantheon, almost has the ulti off cooldown yet again, and the Rift Herald is going to spawn in 30 seconds. I expect FlyQuest to have their eyes set on this, and then the question just becomes, do Shopify want to fight for it? Do you want to just try to trade a turret somewhere else on the map? How confident are they feeling?
I say fight for it. Don't be a bitch.
To find what they're looking for in these fights with that lack of CC that you're talking about.
And I do really think they are on a bit of a timer here. You know, you want to be able to actually
Sadly,
get these
draft
skills on
gap too
Masu,
bid
win
this
team
game.
fights before you can get towards you know, the 3-4
We had a
item mark,
fine
where he
early
starts to
game.
get these
We just
defensive
had
in, right? Like almost guaranteed he's going to play the Rage King, he's going
one
Rage Blade,
bad
this is gonna be the first
call,
two.
I would
But
say.
if
No,
he
not
gets
even a
to,
bad
you know,
call.
wits end,
There's one
and
call that
he
didn't
gets to
go our
some of
way.
these, like,
I think
tank
it's still very
items that
doable.
are
It's
really
only a
making it
1k gold
difficult
lead.
to
It's not
actually
that
burst them
bad.
down, you know, with what we're assuming is going to be a Locket and so on coming in, and the Galio ulti shield and all these things.
There's a
I
lot.
think it's just not going to be there.
SR
as far as
capture
the
ties
damage
up
you need to hire
1-1.
Zero.
Nice.
Well, that will be the challenge here for the Rebels.
Go, minions, hurt him
Looks
more.
like FlyQuest is already ready to start up this Herald.
And Inspired there even funneling an extra cannon wave into their Varus, into Masu's hands to further accelerate and feed as much money as you can into the AD carry. This is something Inspired has always done.
I think we're just going to give Herald.
On EG, did so much with Danny.
Yeah,
trying
in
to
fact,
get
we
as
have to
much
give
money
Herald
for his AD carry as
100%.
possible, so it's going to be a rotation.
Well, we're getting red buff.
Herald easily
Pussy.
picked that one up. And he has the 1,000 gold individual lead, now even more than that in the jungle. And Ultimate will be ready to roll here for him as well. See, as far as the flashes go, Fudge is kind of the primary target again, since like you're talking about, that one was blown, and Fudge on the bottom side of the map does have to be very careful with his positioning. No flash on the Rumble has been a primary target. Dragon is coming up very shortly, so everyone's going to be looking.
Yep, 10 seconds until that Drake spawns. Again, this is a very slow Drake game. The first one only being taken.
I feel like we
about
definitely can't
11.5
give next
minutes into the
Drake
game.
for free.
Means that there's
I think we
only a
have to fight
single
for
Drake
it.
Thus far, possessed by FlyQuest. They also have the Herald alongside the Drake. They lost out on the Grubs, so they need one more neutral objective to claim that feat, claim the empowered boots. If Shopify can take this Drake, obviously they'll be able to stop that for now, but it's FlyQuest first on the scene again.
Nope. I don't think
Yeah,
we're
it
even
looks
going to
like
contest.
there's no way
Yep.
they're even going to try to contest. You can see contracts.
Ah!
He's going to be pushing that top lane down, you know, trying to at least deny a little bit of farm. Just going to be an easy Drake there for FlyQuest, their second of the game. So it's not like it's going to be ultra fast soul that they are facing down here, but they are going to be slowly working towards that. They have the feats of strength already completed, and that's just going to make things that much more difficult.
Seo's trying to jump forward there, throws up the Unbreakable, tries to tag Masu with a winner's bite, but it's not like there's really a whole lot of threat behind it, even if he hits him. We still have another 3 minutes or so until the Otacon spawns. Will be the bot side Otacon this time around. Honestly, it's not a super high kill game, but pretty much every kill that's happened has been Inspired.
Yeah, Inspired involved in all of them. A lot in tandem with some of the other ultimates. You know, Whippo's Ornn provides a lot of
It's
setup
not
value
that
there.
bad yet. It's a
Honestly,
less than
it's been
1k
really
gold
close
lead.
passing
Like, it's
from the
fine.
top.
It's very
Talking about dealing
doable.
with the early invade, keeping up his farm, going for the counter invades, preying on people
But
with no
it...
flashes.
Oh, boy.
Yo, Inspired ready to make the dive happen as Whippo goes in for the ulti, and they're going to combo Palafox down.
Yeah, there's just
before he can
literally
do a
nothing to do
damn
about
thing
that.
about it.
Actually is just a draft difference there. 100%. Holy shit. That's GG.
FlyQuest just murdered Shopify.
Yeah, it's super GG. That's just rough.
And they've got a lot of it. FlyQuest here go for the tower dive, and instead of tracking like time CC'd for these people in their death timers,
Not CC'd.
yeah, exactly.
All right, that's a go next.
Probably very, very close to zero. So FlyQuest get the tower afterwards, after the bounce house goes on fire in the top side.
Yeah, I mean, this time Palafox did have the flash, but I think he's saying, okay, Contracts is with me. I can survive the initial damage, then throw out my full combo and maybe live. He even got his self-Eon, but he just gets basically 100 to 0 in the CC there. Then Contracts is here trying to hold on. He pops the W, but look at the quad. He just repositions with the move speed there from the teleport, able to get in on top, hold that taunt so long that he catches
That's just
Contracts
sad.
after he comes
You
out
hate
of
to
the
see
game,
it. You
gets
hate to
Fudge
see
as
it.
well. Bucio arrives, the whole team arrives, and they just wipe him off the map.
I love tanks.
I love the fact that FlyQuest brought everybody up there because Fudge's teleport, which would normally be the attempted punish of the dive, just ends up being more free food for FlyQuest. And now they're summoning up the Herald here in mid.
Oh!
The turret is about to
Nope,
be taken
still
out.
don't even
They
get
try to
that.
use the Palafox ulti to make an engage, but it ain't gonna happen. And now Contracts is already in danger. Bucio looking to keep going forward with the
Yeah.
knocks Palafox
We go
out.
next.
Contracts will fall in a grand entrance for quad. Locks up 3. Palafox about to drop. B-Boys on the run. Seos is heading straight into the dirt.
Man, I gotta tell ya,
FlyQuest
that
just
Jhin, not feeling good into the 4 tanks.
Value taunts here. He is getting multiple people on every single tower dive that they
Woof.
go for. I was kind of hopeful, Flowers, when I saw Palafox sitting on the super blast cone. Those are some of the coolest plays in the game, but they were only 4v5, and Fudge didn't have teleport.
Let's check in on Halo, huh? Let's see how that's going. Yikes. Ah, not good. Rough day. Rough day.
Run away.
Going to game 3. Or game 4.
Whippo is on the side with Inspired, chasing after the Fury. On the other side, Busio is just marking Palafox, so he can't spend his spells on anyone except the Alistar. He's just getting pushed back. That leaves Masu free-firing the entire time. We're back to live, but there's just no shot they can actually start up an Otacon here. I mean, it's desperation hours for Shopify, absolutely. They've got to look...
Desperation, we've got them right where we want them.
Flip on objective. But FlyQuest is giving them no opportunities to make anything happen.
And we kind of saw what you guys were talking about earlier in the last fight. That was Palafox making the engage on Masu, trying to get the kill on the Varus, and he got him to half HP.
You still play League? Not really.
Midnight here on the Shopify game plan.
No, I just watch. It's much better that way than I'm not fucking miserable.
FlyQuest had the confidence to just hard force that play because they've been
another one of those days.
You know, all the summoner spells.
Another one of those days.
Be very, very commonplace, but they're like, Fudge can't join. If there's no
huge, look at that!
The Keenan Crooker with his full combo.
All right.
We almost moved his health bar.
On Masu, in addition to the Annie, if there's no, Nefiri also, ulting on
Brother, I'd be spamming FF. I'd be out.
Then he's not scared. So
we just have no way of dealing with it. Like we needed to just stomp early game, maybe to have a chance, which didn't happen, so it's just over.
Push on forward, and they collect so much more every time they do.
We need to just go next.
They really just have Shopify in the stranglehold at the moment.
And I also really like that Quad is actually going Riftmaker second here. I think it's quite strong on Galio. And when you are playing with a team comp that clearly Masu has to be prioritized, like he has to be killed, you're going to get ignored. So you can deal a little bit more damage. You don't have to be a pure tank or anything like that on the Galio. If people are trying to run past you and ignore you, and you have that Riftmaker, you have some reasonable damage to punish some of these squishy characters.
4.7 thousand gold lead for FlyQuest.
That's nothing.
22 minutes into the game. The next Drake has spawned. Objective bounties are active for Shopify. Contracts is down here, but it's just way too risky to try to start anything up.
And Bwipo has actually hit all 6 swaps on the spellbook, so now he's going to have that minute and 30 extra summoner spell cooldown that he can actually be swapping through. So for a lot of these fights, he'll have a heal, he'll have an exhaust, he'll have something that is going to be really useful for his team.
And Shopify now are in full defense mode because they are so out-itemized at the moment, with all these members of FlyQuest having multiple item power spikes. They cannot fight something.
It should be fine though.
As a dragon number 3,
we're in a good spot.
Give over soul points and just pray and hope that you can get a better angle. For the actual Dragon Soul fight, or some sort of pick off in a side lane, which also your chances aren't
great. Can you fight over something little like an Otacon here?
Maybe you
boys. We got Otacon starting up.
We literally have to try. Oh man.
Want to give it away, but FlyQuest is already done. As Busio looks
okay, now that's game.
Headbutt pulled over the wall, a nice chains of corruption to follow it up. B-Boy's already in danger as the Grand Starfall is about to seal his fate. Masu trying to get away from Palafox off to the side as B-Boy also barely survives. Fudge on the run as Bwipo takes out Palafox, and the fight's not done. The re-engage as FlyQuest continues looking for more kills. Quad jumps forward, but he doesn't have.
Yeah, it's just absolutely brutal.
2 dead on Shopify's better than it looked at the start, but Contracts now has to fully retreat as well. FlyQuest, they'll take the Otacon, they'll take the kills, they'll take the.
Is Halo back yet, please God?
Yeah, they get that bottom lane tier 2. They are 7K ahead now. They take the Otacon. And FlyQuest says, let's just fight. Even with Palafox getting onto Masu again here, they don't have the juice to do it by themselves. They need the full team onto him, and they can't make it happen. Everyone dives into the backline. This engage was beautiful from Busio. The Chains of Corruption there to follow it up. And here's now Palafox, full combo onto Masu. No one else is there with him, though, so even though he gets him low, Bwipo arrives, hits the ulti, flashes over the wall, and is able to finish him off, while Masu has a battle to the death against Tibbers, which he's able to take down as well.
Yeah, life stealing off.
Thanks, Resubs Kentucky.
Had a good combo there.
Yeah, it's only game 1. That's okay.
And the rest of the FlyQuest team, meanwhile,
as we always say, you never want to win the first one. It's usually best to get bent over hard in game 1.
Stars. Quad is starting.
Check out this catch on Quad.
Okay, Fudge calling in some backup from Palafox, but again, it's two mages against a tanky Galio. It's not looking so great. They get him low, but they can't quite kill him off. The
Yes!
finally burns him down. Palafox gets
A kill!
one is now Masu might
2!
be as well. A nice shot from B-Voy to make it a positive trade for Shopify Rebellion. Now Palafox in a little bit of danger, but inspired to the 1v3, trying to escape or at least take.
Wait a minute.
It ain't gonna happen.
Wait a minute.
FlyQuest have lost.
Wait.
And Shopify wants more.
It's doable.
As Busio barely survives the unbreakable will. It's only two very tanky.
Nice. Good flash, Seos.
Left, but the guns aren't really firing anymore.
No. Damn it.
Who's trying to combo him down.
Yes. Get him. Get him.
Godlike, but he's the only man still
Do it.
FlyQuest colors. Contracts trying to chase him down and complete what'll be a delayed ace for the side of Shopify as Bwipo about to go here. Quad gonna arrive with the teleport.
Holy shit.
Bwipo's still barely alive.
I can't believe that. They gave us a few picks there. I don't think there's anything that does to help us win this, but the scoreline looks a lot better now.
We'll have a long death timer here. Maybe Shopify can try and chain together comeback plays. That is always your hope.
We can't even
When
get
you
objectives
one
off it
kill
though is the
decent from
problem.
the other
Like we
ones,
can't push
they
out
want to try
bot
and force a pick.
or
The
mid or
problem is,
anything.
Bwipo had
But it
swung
looks a
over
lot
to
better on the
force, so
scoreline and
he'll
it
have
chips
that
away
ready
at the
when he
gold
does
lead.
survive. And the timer is actually going to tick down fairly quickly as we go into the replay.
I mean, this just felt like a little bit of overconfidence. You could see the redemption came in from Bwipo to try to keep Quad alive. And then Masu's just standing and fighting against both the solo laners here by himself, you know, without anyone around to actually protect him. And when Masu dies to this Jin W, all of a sudden, Inspired's stuck on the side. You don't really have any damage left. And it's just some overconfidence, a little bit fast and loose there from FlyQuest.
Yeah. They have to be a little bit careful about the gold that they give over because now it's getting more competitive as far as this dream fight we've been talking about for Shopify.
This chase was something.
Dragon Soul, now they actually, you know, will have some power, some items behind their fight. A couple of extra ones now being completed and coming in.
No, the problem is Annie can't get a pick on Varus during any of the fights because they lock her down. They've done a great job of locking her down.
They still definitely have a lead. They're definitely still in control. But the gold lead got cut in half, right? It was a little bit over
There's a
5,000, now
resub
barely over 2.5. And contracts.
But I mean, that helps. That does help.
He plays this champ every time he gets the opportunity to. Now he's got to jump back out of the Baron pit. The Dragon Soul for FlyQuest spawns in 20 seconds.
We can't give them Soul. Absolutely can't do that.
To get a hold of, generally considered lower value than others, but it's still a big power spike. It's still going to give you a decided and market advantage in the following fights, and Shopify are going to have to think on if they want to allow FlyQuest to have this.
Especially when you see how hard it is already. Like, look how long it took them to take down Bwipo, right? You're just going to be even more durable, more difficult.
We have some armor pin going on now. Wait, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just sitting here saying shit. Like it could, you know, dare to dream.
Through here for Masu, which is going to make things very, very difficult. And it looks like Shopify want to try to get down here. Bwipo's up on top side still, but it's going to be very difficult for them to get in.
Okay, FlyQuest, they started to aggro the Drake, but now they're going to leave it. They don't want to split their attention. Inspired now going to restart the objective, pull that one out of the pit a little bit, and you've got everybody else on FlyQuest playing defense for now. Quad,
oh, we're just going to give that, huh?
Brush, making sure nobody from Shopify can approach. And it looks like the Rebels are going to call this one the Dragon not worth the fight at this point in time. So it's Chemtech Soul over the side of FlyQuest.
All right, given over. They don't want to walk
Well,
through these dangerous jungle corridors into this CC heavy FlyQuest setup here. FlyQuest opt to give over the power in exchange to hopefully get a better setup for their team fight, hoping that the position will actually make up for the difference.
You can see Ghost and Exhaust now ready for Bwipo, so he has a double Spellbook Summoners ready to go. And the Terminus is done, which is going to be some armor and Amara that's going to be stacking up for Masu. And he has a Ruby Crystal in inventory, so I think he's going Jack-Show next. And I feel like that really is where the clock strikes 10. You know, you're probably never going to be able to 100 to 0 him.
Hurt him, Baron!
Everything else coming through.
Well, I do want to point out a lot of the Shred, too, invested on the Shopify side. So Bloodletter's Curse got buffed, which is quite nice for Rumble shredding, also for Annie. You have your Void Staff now completed. Your Lord Dominix was completed for the Jin. So the hope is there for Shopify to try and get through some of these tanks.
All right, Bwipo's leading the charge, and Seos is the target. Continues disengaging here on the Braum, though, as the rest of Shopify has to scramble.
Come on, boys. This would be nuts.
As Busio using his
Oh, this is a really good Rumble ult. That's such a good spot for a Rumble ult, but it doesn't matter. We got fucking melted. Holy shit.
What a fight from
Wow.
FlyQuest. The explosive engage comes through and they give him no shot whatsoever in that one.
They stop the end of this game here emphatically in favor of FlyQuest. Clean ace.
Right when it was looking like Shopify might still have one last chance, one more opportunity to maybe dig in and look
Woof.
for a comeback.
Tough.
FlyQuest
How's Halo looking? Looking really good, actually.
And boy, did he have to win it as well.
Another 1v1. Renegade gets taken down. Here comes Cycle 2 dead for Optic.
Hello,
yet again.
quality. Thank you. Quality, hello. Thank you.
Legend no shields. Cycle should be able to clean this one up. It might be an opportunity for Shopify to double up on A here to flip this back into their control. Desperate push coming in from four,
Nice.
etc. But Renegade is last alive.
GG. All
Nowhere
right, one more.
to be seen. He's taken out in the kill feed, and we're going to a game 5. We go
Good.
the distance once again.
It's always game 5.
As Shopify and Optic fail to disappoint. It is game 5 once again.
Good shit. Let's check the highlights from this
I
one.
was like, I remember this draft, and it ended up being one champion off of a draft Gen G ran against T1 in game 2, but we have some champions.
We're gonna add to the board.
Yeah.
Add to it a little bit.
I drew an Ornn. There we go.
Oh,
I know,
it's
Brad,
good, it's good.
you did some art too.
Okay, I did Gallo.
Yeah, it was game 1, so we still got a little bit to go. This is going to game 5, though.
From Royal 2, from Best Man during that listening, being like, wow, this is unbelievable. They were not only getting 4 dead, they were getting the 5th and 6th. And honestly, often getting back-to-back 4 deads, picking up unbelievable no-scopes, team shots. They did it all in that game. And we have to stay on the scoreboard for a second because
Holy
this is
shit.
unbelievable. When's the last time a team in a full Strongholds match kept Formal to 3 kills and Renegade to 5?
Oh my god, what a fucking
Unbelievable
stomping.
Two of the best players in the world.
Absolute domination. The blender in full effect, and the blades were felt by Optic Gaming 250 to 83. Remember, it was Optic who were up about 60-0 in that game as well. So it was around a 250-point run.
Silas
essentially,
cosplay win.
that came in from
If we make it to MSI and win, I'll become Silas IRL. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not a cosplay guy. It'd have to take something huge.
After getting poked by Annie, and his Jack Show stacks up is 312 MR, which means he takes 76% reduced damage from magic. Annie was who was matching him in the side lane, so Annie's Q at this stage of the game does 374. Yep. The W does 413.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think there's a whole lot to analyze here. We got fucking smoked. They rolled our cocks and smoked them.
Reduce that by 76%.
Ooh. It would. That's 285.14 for a full combo from Annie.
A physical altercation just happened on COD stage. What a big day! What happened? A fight? Let me see. Where? Where are you seeing that? Happy birthday, guy.
First was ever cutting through.
Yeah, that was disgusting, and it wasn't just the Ornn. I mean, like, they were all beefy, right?
They were. It was
I didn't see anything from a Call of Duty fight just now.
All forgetting. All right. Every one of us is forgetting this one very fact. Cameraman, follow me.
Okay.
It's just
we're going on a journey.
Yes, and we don't have to start this. This is before the game, by the way. First amongst all top laners. First, KDA, damage penalty, goal difference, all these things, CSD, and there's one thing.
Pat statting, Jesus, stat padding. Those are fraudulent stats, not real. Don't believe in them.
All right, he's bonking Shopify Rebellion, and he's gonna be bonking anybody that even disagrees with him. That's not gonna happen.
I disagree with him. Wait till game 2. Surely that one goes better.
Continues on the winner's side of this bracket, who moves into the winner's semi-final, or who goes down to the elimination side where Complex will be watching.
Yeah, I might play it at some point, Sonny. We'll see.
If we play right now, surely going to be pretty exhausted.
And let's be honest, we should mention the Game 7 Grand Finals Slayer that we saw these two play in Arlington. The prize money on that game alone was a $40,000, essentially, wager match. This Game 5 similarly has a lot of cash riding on it because you will stay in the winner's bracket and it will determine how much more Halo you have to play in more ways than one. Let's check in now with FaZe and Space Station to see exactly what's going on in this side of the winner's quarterfinal. And as we said, it was one.
Must be a long break before the next game.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Ready, set, go!
You watch any of the Dota Squad games? Yes. I didn't watch all of them, though. I tune in when I can.
I'm at 47%.
Oh, I'm on 63%.
Man, I'm at 50%.
Boom!
80%. Winner!
The Kia EV9 can go from 10% charge to 80% charge in just 24 minutes with DC fast charging.
It was hardly a physical altercation, they were just in each other's faces for a few seconds. Cringe! Not a fight. Not interested. You want a real fight, you watch Death Sentence. This is what combat's meant to look like. Now this is fighting. Rebellion laxative. Yes! I love this fight. Mouth guard is a crutch, he doesn't need it. Yes, keep knocking on the door. Nothing but blows to the back of the head. His one weakness. The butt cheek hits everything. It all adds up. And a champion is crowned. What are you talking about? Ultimate? Easy. See, that's fighting. That's real fighting. Oh, here we go.
2-1, but man, the small talk from Shopify Rebellion was the difference maker. The only way you trip cap that perfectly for that long is perfect communication, and as you said, Mark, prioritization of the key kill in the exact moment. That's what they did perfectly. They've already won the game 2 Slayer. Can they do it here in game number 5? One came to decide it between these two.
One of them will stay in the winner's side of the bracket. One of them will fall down to face Complexity in the elimination bracket. It's a game 5 here. Whoever takes
all right,
this one,
boys, let's get him. He's one shot. Nice.
The POV we start with. Once again, just flies right in. Not afraid to get into the thick of it off the rip. First camo will go to Shopify.
Sniffed out.
It's alright, good trade.
From Legend as well. Doesn't even get traded out. Stays alive bottom middle.
Oh, he didn't get traded? Thought I saw him get traded.
Make that 3-3, excuse me.
What a great stop on the camo right away.
Finish him.
Last shot could have put
Good
together
trade.
a whole string of damage off of that.
All right, come on, boys.
You check that hard right out, as you so often need to with the
nice.
camo. That's why your Slayer practice.
That was clean.
That's where it pays off, is knowing exactly which scenario to play to shut down camo like that. 6-5 off the opening, now 6-6.
Again, Shopify just keep pushing. They keep this pace up. They want to be aggressive. They want to make Optic feel uncomfortable. And no surprise with how that last game went. They want to try and take advantage of that.
When is the next nut race? I don't know. It was fake though. It was all CGI.
And Optic still getting their trades in this situation, even though we are seeing Shopify try and push the pace.
Like we said, so much riding on this. This is not just a standard winner's quarterfinal match. This will determine how much Halo these two have to play all weekend and how much they have to beat one another thereafter.
Okay, trade that. That's fine.
There is, you get some help from Renegade, 2 dead.
Let's go, Royal. Oh, finish him. Nice.
Shields. Royal 2 with some great cross-map shots with that bandit.
Put some damage on him.
And also manages to, most
Put some
importantly,
fart in that
keep
butt.
himself alive.
Attaboy.
Re-engage now that the
Way to
shields are back.
survive.
With the
Royal's
pushback
so
into Optic
slippery.
Gaming, a 1-kill advantage here for Shopify Rebellion is slender. But if you finish this game with a 1-kill advantage, you'll be winning the series.
Watch top mid here. 3 nades coming in from blue as they want to get Shopify off at top mid. They do well, and they get the damage to play off.
No!
First 2 kills going towards Optic. Camo
Gentlemen,
popping in
please,
5 seconds.
if you don't
This
mind,
is gonna be a big one. Maybe a go
let's
ahead
start
opportunity.
winning again.
2 dead. On the side of Shopify Rebellion
Thanks,
as well, you
membership,
can
Noah.
hear that camo has just popped up top middle, and Frosty cannot challenge it. As Optic have eyes on him, and Formal will grab this camo. And not only keep Legend alive, but has a chance here to inflict so much damage onto Shopify.
Let's go to Liston right now. I want to hear the comms. How does Formal play this camo?
Flounder, and blue. They're gonna try to me. Look at me.
Damn it.
Matt's working the camos. Watch out.
Oh, good stick. That was clutch. That was clutch. Now we got to bring this back a little bit. We got the camo out. Come on, boys.
I want this first.
Oh.
I can't see if they spawn this one. They probably spawn this one. Yeah, they go posters, John. They go posters. Shock is coming, guys. 10 seconds.
I hear you. Can we just go left and push snipe? Can we go left and push snipe? Can we go left and push snipe?
Yeah, watch posters. He saw me bounty. That's where. I can't. We're not pushing you. I can't go bound. That's quick. Yeah, I'm winning. We're pushing this. Try left.
One's in yard.
No, come on, boys.
Top gold, watch out. After yard. After top gold. Look at the top gold, guys.
We're good. S4. Yo, bottom mid and S4. I'm wrapping with you guys.
We had a good start to this, but we're kind of floundering a bit now. We got to get back in the driver's seat.
Does
he suck?
Let's start paddle shifting. Oh god. Now we're just getting picked for free. Oh god. No!
Camo 20, guys.
Going through some freshness.
Hotel. Hey, man.
Posters to me. Posters to me.
We're coming.
Posters. Two posters. Two posters. Cycles with tap. Two guys posters.
Okay, there's one finally without getting traded. Good.
Two pushing you bound. Play trade bound. Nice, bro.
Alright, camo, guys. There's still a loop somewhere.
Oh god, no, cycle. Hang in there. Nice. Oh fuck, that was clean. That was good. That was good. Chipping away.
One's in the corner to your left. Blue.
Come on.
He knows you there, man. Where is he? He's on me.
Ugh.
I mean, the comms from Formal, he's just
Oh man.
at the moment. Optic Gaming find
I don't know what that
themselves
plan
up by
was.
4 as we
He just
cross the
really
halfway
wanted to
point
trade
in
that
this game
desperately.
5 Slayer.
Amazing there. You heard Formal stressing the posters call out repeatedly.
We got camo though. Come on, let's get something big out of it.
And thereafter, they still kill cycle at yard BR. Really nice job once again from Optic to make sure they're picking up those kills and those trades in the scenarios. However, just like that, now
Very
only a
nice.
1-kill game.
Very
Here comes
fucking
Shopify
nice.
Rebellion, right, 2 dead for Optic. It's a 1-kill advantage now. We cut down in the last few seconds.
Imagine that sticks.
It's a tie game. Optic a little bit trapped to the back of Tram and Loop as well. The
Nice.
damage from Frosty is more than you can ask for most players. He is shooting anything that moves. But Optic
Oh, clean.
still gets the kill
That was big.
with the perfect fight. Renegade manages to output damage onto last shot, but not without Royal 2 taking him down.
Yeah, big from Royal 2 there. You even saw Frosty raising his own eyebrows at that play because he was even impressed with it, what he was able to pull off, as you said, just dealing so much damage.
Nice.
Last shot stays alive. You're tied at 29.
Come on, last shot. No!
Aggressively pushes
Damn,
out bottom middle.
damn that push. Alright,
Will be
good.
traded out. As Frosty now spots out the 2 players from
Nice.
the driveway. Another kill gets picked up. And now Shopify
Noob combo.
go into a lead.
Jake and Jackie.
1 kill. But it might be 2 if he can finish this
Ugh.
one off. It's just a
That's
trade
alright.
here for Frosty.
Nicely done there. Frosty knows
Nice.
how to
Way to win your
well
ones.
get the trade, especially when you're going up against Renegade. That can get dicey pretty quickly. 2 dead for both sides, and still a minor lead for Shopify.
Game's never got out of hand.
Oh,
Either side at the
that's
moment.
not good.
It's a
That's
tie game again.
not
Optic go
good.
into a
Come
1-kill
on,
lead,
why?
though. And the timing of the kills means that Bao can move through. And he can collect this camouflage. Now, how important could this be? The execution of what Bound does with this camo could decide where this series goes.
Look at this. Doesn't want to get too greedy. Slowly coming around the corner. Cycle is cleaned up, by the way, so that's the shot down. He's playing this so carefully.
Checks this one. 2 dead.
Turn around, listen to me.
Shot will find one. Bound's going to fly forward. Bounce should be able to clean this
No.
one up. The camo would dissipate though.
Please.
Giving his position away momentarily.
Jeez, Rick.
Camo now comes back and finally runs out. As Optic have still just a 1-kill advantage. Scrap that. It's tied up again at 37.
Ooh, gets pinged from a blue angle though. So we have to play this
Nice.
very differently.
Good catch. Good catch.
Was not aware of.
Nice.
Royal 2 actually from a dip angle, and it's 3 dead as a result. Look at that angle from Royal 2, and Shopify will now go into the lead here at 40-38.
It's 3 dead, like you say, with just 10 kills left in the game. That means Optic are going to be squad spawning together. Shopify can surround them here. They can create angles where Optic are going to have to be on the back foot firing out.
Legend is out, by the way. Legend gets out by
Legend
himself.
That's
Toaster.
so big from Legend. He gives Optic a way out. Renegade
Nice.
gets another, but Royal 2.
Oh, he's so low. Can we clean that? Make like my fucking butt cheeks, clean him.
Yeah, it buys them just a little bit of extra time. Legend might get taken down here,
Nice.
presumably he does, but keeps Optic in it now. She's still a 2-kill
Nice.
lead now at 44
No.
to 42.
It's alright.
6 to go here for Shopify Rebellion. Renegade, though, last alive. Needs to get a trade in this situation, at least does so.
Okay, we'll take the
Is
trade.
trade going to be enough for Shopify or Optic to make the comeback or close this game out?
4 grenades right now on these two.
Required for Shopify
Carpet bomb
Rebellion.
inbound.
Trying to put pressure onto Royal 2 here on the snipe side.
Camo in 5 seconds. Could
Renegade got a
very
pick.
Nice, good
well
grenade.
decide the game here, 46-44.
Another good grenade. Got a boy cycle.
From Cycle. That's going to find
He's got some
4.
damage on him.
Optic a little bit trapped here in and around the RPR. The signal is to go hit from Shopify Rebellion. They just need 2 in this situation, and Last Shot has the camo.
Game in his hands here. Deja vu from your winners quarterfinals in Arlington. Can they collapse here? 48-45.
He's on the flank. It looks like Optic know that they don't have the camo. Avoiding those grenades. Renegade's trying to spot him out.
Come on, come on,
They're
come on.
all trapped here, Optic.
Oh.
What's the call?
The whole team is in front of Last Shot. He finds the kill, surely onto Legend here.
Nice.
One.
One more.
One to go. Renegade on the RPR. Trying
Come
to
on, come on,
survive,
come on.
survives, but
There we
it's
go.
Frosty
Clean.
who will get the 50 in.
That was clean. You love to see that. Alright, we'll take that. We will take that. A game 5 Dubsky.
Not the first time we've seen a main stage player
Thank you, Membership
gesturing
Jackson.
to the Optic fans in the
Good.
building.
We stay
How
winner
about
side.
the composure from Last Shot. A target-rich environment for him with the camo. And he plays it
Very, very nice, boys.
before, plays it slow.
Alright, now it's the league's team turn. Man. The league team's turn. And we got Yorick. That's for me. That's for me right there. She said, you know what?
Okay, I mean, I don't think
We'll grab Yorick for
player,
Charles.
but Aurelia is legitimately unplayable. Like, you summon your ghouls and they all just get instantly one-shot and stack her passive. Another matchup that I think he would play is something like the Scion. Scion is quite good. Mordekaiser, you can actually ult them.
His membership
and
Paul.
the maiden
Yeah, it was a
does
Yorick
ult,
one
but the
trick.
ghouls do not, so that's one of the interactions that people like. The cage also does not follow you into it, so if he throws that in the cage and he gets the
No, I
cooldown,
haven't
the
watched
maiden
Kuma's
will follow
backstory
for
yet.
the
I'm
rest
still
of the
behind
time.
on
There are some
One
specific
Piece.
matchups like this. I don't think this is one of the like sharp counters or anything like that, but it is a good matchup. Whippo definitely not known for being an Aurelia player, so I think he wasn't as worried about that, and maybe Whippo wasn't as comfortable going to some of the other matchups. But things like Scion can be really powerful simply because you're getting full HP stacking from the Soul Furnace off of the ghouls. So I am very surprised to see a Yorick blind. I do wonder, is Fudge partially playing towards Fearless by doing this? And saying,
Yep,
you
we
know
just
what?
watched our Halo squad take that in Game 5.
Pick it later, and next
Very
time,
happy about that.
something like a Jade
And now I want to be
Knight
happy on the
and
league
on a
front.
Yorick. It's going to be interesting to see, how that develops. But that being said, you are down
Thanks
to
for your
game,
sub shadow.
so even though you got Yorick off the table, if you
You haven't
lose
caught
this
up yet?
one, you
Well,
have
no,
to
I'm
progress
caught
through.
up. I'm just like 5-6 episodes behind. Like I'm on Egghead Part 2. It's just I'm like 5 episodes back.
3 shots, so we'll see how it pays off here for the side of Shopify, locking in that blind Yorick.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting to actually see how it goes.
All right,
Please reset
subscribers,
Helix.
we'll see you in 30 seconds. For everybody else, it's time for Shopify to try and fight back here. Will the Yorick be able to find success in the face of this Mordekaiser? Will we be able to see some more options for Shopify to take fights if they want, now that they have some more solid engage with contracts on the Skarner?
All right.
I like our draft a lot better this time around. We have a Skarner and a Yorick.
Number 2. Let's heat this best of 3 up. They
I'm
did
much
take
more
that game,
enthusiastic about
previously
this round.
in the best of 3.
I think
This
Game 2
split
here is going to go
versus
much better.
FlyQuest. See if they can do another one.
Yorick gonna get fucked? Dumbest thing I've ever read in my life.
All right, reminder,
Yorick
we
is the
have
one who
swap sides
fucks.
on this one. FlyQuest now playing from the red side after Shopify lost on there that last time around. FlyQuest with an early little bit of a low-risk invade here, just stepping inside the enemy jungle, placing the ward down at the red to just keep an eye on contracts.
A lot of Yorick doubters in here. You're gonna feel real silly.
So they're gonna know, no matter what, exactly where that Scorpion is and where he's going.
People really highly prioritize tracking contracts versus Shopify, rightly so. So very, very deep vision. Both buffs covered, Flowers. You know where the Scorpion's gonna be, not only just for the start, but for the full clear first time around. And when you have full vision of the first clear, you're going to presume the second clear as well. Skarner is a champion.
A leash.
that consistently got the damage boost, and so
Oh my god.
really
Pathetic.
are about team
Huge lead for Yorick inbound.
picks for your team.
And you see Bwipo gave Inspired a pretty heavy leash here to try to accelerate him, try to get him ahead. Even got, you know, the multiple autos in for the passive. This is going to mean he's going to lose the shove, but you're probably going to lose the shove against Yorick early on anyway. This matchup is very heavily just about...
Oh, I like the cinematic camera angles we're working here for the LTA.
Constantly poking and prodding. But Mordekaiser has a pretty easy gameplay pattern to kind of answer the ghouls, where you basically are...
No, we lost a caster minion.
You sit back, he hits you with the ghouls, you pop your W, you kill off the ghouls, and you kind of just do it like that. Mordekaiser can definitely win the 100-0 all-ins once he has his ultimate, so Yorick kind of has to chunk down the Mord to basically make it so you can't go
Good
for that
poke.
type of a fight. And see, here it is, he levels the W, and you're just going to do that over and over
There's
and
Prime
over.
Grim.
And so it becomes a bit of a fight of just kind of how many of those E's can you hit. You got to hit them non-stop if you really want to pressure him.
Just a little bit of a dance back and forth. He steps forward, you step back. FlyQuest in the mid lane, Quad having that early shove against Palafox to make
God,
sure
I love
they have
Yorick.
that priority. And I like the fact that
That's
you
my
mentioned
fucking boy right there.
Inspired getting the heavy leash from Bwipo. I think a lot of the times these days the standard is just no leash whatsoever, but I like the fact that you're also doing it against Contracts, who you know loves to do this jungle invade at level 3 type stuff. Get Inspired started early so he's in a better spot to deal with that.
And especially in this matchup, because Xin Zhao just gets to run Skarner off the map. So it's going to give huge priority there. And it's kind of a synergy like we saw in the first game. Bwipo was setting up Inspired a whole bunch. He was playing Ornn for Inspired's Pantheon, you know, blowing the flash, setting up for easy ganks for him. Consistently, these
He misses this cannon minion. Check it, check it.
Really had a symbiotic relationship playing.
Cannon minion's gonna hit him with some crazy fucking orb walking.
Added to the list after that last game, but look at this, 48.
We changed
different
camera angle, but I was
champions
right.
here, played
We
by
missed
this
it.
team in Fearless. They really have been so flexible, and that's why I've been so excited to see them best
Ooh,
of 5.
big.
Ooh, nice little gank here from Contracts. Finds the slam
Nice.
into the wall.
Flash.
Bwipo. Now the follow-up with a cage.
Good work.
Bwipo
Flashed
forced to
down.
flash away
Big.
and faced certain death. Nicely played there from Shopify to knock Bwipo low on HP. He's gonna need
I'm
to
already
come back.
liking our
FlyQuest
early
is
game
making their move on the
much
other side
better
of the
right
map
now.
at the same time. Seo's the first
We don't have a
out.
gold lead or anything yet? Okay. I don't like our early game much anymore. I wasn't paying enough attention down there. I thought he was fine.
How they move up and
No!
then Busio easily able.
I thought she
to
was
get
gonna
his
survive.
CC while tanking the tower, just walking out of danger
No.
there. It seems so calm and collected from FlyQuest every time they make these early game decisions, kind of executing with precision. Nicely done from them. The cross map there, and Quad being able to roam down from mid lane on the Taliyah, the extra person does make a lot of a difference.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, that was just perfectly executed on the dot.
Save us,
No danger
Yorick.
for them whatsoever. You can see again, Busio positions on the left of the tower to be able to get the Shattering Strike, and then W away from the tower. So he picks up the range. He walks out to max range here. They hit the W from the center. They hit the seismic shove. Everything connects guaranteed. Busio tanks up maximum tower shots there. That is just perfectly executed by FlyQuest, and a really nice counterplay to the good gank.
Not great, Kobe. This one's not going great.
Masu and Busio shoved back here in the bottom lane for the time being. I do want to see, specifically for Shopify, if they can make good on that gank on Bwipo, maybe do a repeat
membership,
visit,
Caviar.
find an opportunity to really cash in on that.
Yeah, and that would be great.
Mord's
but
flash
even
is
just the
down. We
buys
really
are
need to
pretty
punish
beneficial
him.
because Fudge got to farm up a lot more, even though he's not.
Make
up
him
in
pay for
CS.
his
He
sin.
got a lot more CS when he went back to base, so he got a full Sheen buy, whereas Bwipo only got the Amp Tome. And Fudge has really been leveling up throughout this split. Early on in the week, he was struggling. Early on in the split, excuse me, he was
Ooh,
struggling.
that's
These last couple
bold.
weeks, though, he has been fantastic, including a great series against Fudge.
Very
or
aggressive
excuse me,
play. I
against
like
Bwipo
that.
himself. So it'll be nice to see how he does on this. This is his first ever York game in pro play. And he's busting it out against the York guy himself.
Yep, I mean, having no flash on Mordecai is going to provide him the opportunity
Okay,
for
that's
some
fine.
easy cages. And so
We'll
maybe
trade
they'll
that.
Get a reset up there and continue on in the pressure. The only problem is, if you go and gank a Mordekaiser post level 6, guess what? It's not really a 2v1. He is definitely going to be able to have the ultimate. So
Thanks,
it
membership, Brock.
does make those opportunities to try and punish flashes fairly small windows, and you really have to bring a lot.
The maiden is here.
Again, something with
Yes.
the flash is about 50% cooldown on Whippo. It's not
Feel her love.
again, these things are showing back a little bit too early.
All right, FlyQuest starting up the first Drake here, but are going to be forced off. His contract shows up. Nice slam into the wall there on Quad.
Nice.
Palafox is ready to follow, and the Talia. Quad gets away. Shopify don't finish the job. Now Inspired and Busio are coming in to help.
Why?
Tries to throw in a little bit of extra help to
Nice.
Garner, but it ain't gonna matter.
Come on,
because
Seos.
Seos is ready to lead the charge. Busio.
Why?
Quest get everybody away. Shopify.
That was our chance. No!
Just use it on Quad.
Why didn't Palafox rip the ult?
And instead he holds the ult for so long.
Oh
here.
God, why?
DC expires, Quad gets away.
Jesus, why?
About him and being able to reactively flash, but I feel like he could just go in and spend the ulti right off.
Yeah, just
bat,
rip
like
the.
right there and probably just kill him.
Yeah, Contract set it up so nicely with the Skarner, and it's not easy to do.
Palafox, why?
Drives in time.
Hey, glad you're liking the cheeky
Look at
Noah.
these margins of health that they just barely don't get kills out. Busio as well gets chunked down. It would have been like one more Mystic shot after this one to be able to take him down, but FlyQuest, they get every person out alive.
And Azael, I know you talk about this a lot, but League of Legends is a game where small things turn into much larger things over time. Maybe the extra little bit of damage that you needed right there is the difference between now the next time you almost get a kill, it could be a kill, and it turns into something
That
really
hurts, man.
snowballs out
That
of
was such a
control.
good
It all
opportunity
leads
if you had
back
just
to
ripped
why
that
didn't
ult.
we get that last little bit of damage.
I mean, it's so tough when you lose a fight like that. You know where it is.
It's all right. Don't let it tilt you. I'll take the tilt from you.
And now you're down.
Let me wear it.
You're down a longsword, and they live with that much again. Now all of a sudden you're down 1,000 gold, and now you can't have those close fights anymore. And that is definitely one of the difficulties of League of Legends. So you got to really be able to execute when it counts. Shopify here on the grubs. Looks like it won't be contested. It is just pings over towards that dragon. So FlyQuest looking like they want to eventually trade the dragon, but for now, Inspired's just chilling and farming his jungle, not too concerned.
Yep, Grubs over to Shopify is a nice little bit of a bonus for them here. Contracts already has that first one. Should be able to grab this second before anybody from FlyQuest would even be able to show up. Remember, last time around, we did end up getting a pretty big fight around the Grub pit, but it looks like in this one, FlyQuest will just let it go.
We'll
And
take
especially
those
when you're
grubs.
playing York, who really wants to live in a side lane. Getting grubs is actually so nice to help you accelerate the game, to be able to put pressure on that tower. But Fudge, for him, the difficulty has really been his mana is actually sending him back to base more often than not. And Whippo is just really able to withstand that pressure that he's putting on.
We have to point out that both Masu and Quad do not have flashes here, and the Skarner is ready to punish.
Okay, FlyQuest have the dragon started, but it's only at half
TP! TP!
Now his Contracts finds a nice two-man ulti. True shot barrage over the top. Ain't gonna
Do we not have TP? I didn't look at Yorick Summoners.
Even lower, both of them fall as Seos has to retreat. Palafox fighting off Busio, but
Why?
he's forced out to the right of the fight as Inspired and B-Voy now also running
When-
into the jungle as Inspired chases him away. It's
No! Oh God!
trade for only Quad on Fly.
It's on. Is it on cooldown?
3-1. The kill score for the game has now top lane back and forth goes the Whippo and Fudge battle. The Maiden might just fall, and if Yorick loses the Maiden, it's actually pretty crucial setback to not have that power. Barely keeps it alive.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really long cooldown. Fudge actually probably needs the base to just keep it alive.
We should go left side. We should go left side.
No, I see it in the top left, but I'm just really confused why you wouldn't rip it here. Is it perfect ward for it right there and just go in, bang, big cleanup.
We're going Leona. We're going
Keep
Leona.
fighting, keep fighting.
Leona's dead. Leona's dead.
Yeah, can I go back to that? Yeah.
I'm guessing it's up because it doesn't show cooldown, right?
As soon as they see the Azir coming, they're like, let's go left side, let's go left side.
That's ulti.
Yeah, you've immediately got Whippo going in for Fudge here. He's still got him stuck in the death realm for now, but he doesn't have the damage in time. Contract
Huge!
Whippo doesn't get the kill. Fudge plays it to the limit, survives long enough
Mort
to
could
back
cancel
up
it really
to
easy.
Rob.
I guess, yeah. I don't know where he was in lane, so maybe he just didn't have a chance.
Contracts gets there first though, And that was a lot spent by Bwipo. Uses the ulti, uses the flash, and now they can maybe try to pull off a dive here in this 3v1.
Inspired's not going to allow it to happen. He is going Krug farming.
They are calling for the cross map. You can see the rotation from mid here from Masu as well as Busio to try and get some money off this tower. And maybe, even though the ward was seen, the minions get some vision there. So Palafox knows I'm going to hug down here on the other side. Could be some extra pressure there from a leak from mid. And so no dive, just going to be turret play on the other.
Yeah, we can watch this one more time. So he hits the E, and he just pops the ulti in onto him, and is able to just kind of chase after him here. Goes for the Q flash, gets him pretty low. You can see the ghouls don't follow you into that ulti. They're just hitting the minions. This last Q, would it have been enough? I think it would have. I think it actually would have.
100% it would have been enough. But Yorick's too fucking slippery, baby.
Good sidestep from Fudge and great response from Contracts to come and peel.
Yeah, good stuff there. I mean, Fudge talked about how he got a lot of extra confidence in these last couple of weeks. And that is a critical play that you need to have happen to keep the hope here alive for Shopify, because the way that game number 1 went and the way that this game is starting to slip away from them, they need some area to be able to rely on for pressure later on. So we'll see if Fudge can be that lane of pressure.
I mean, Yorick from ahead is a completely different champion as Yorick from behind. If you lose that fight, you lose your ult, you have no pressure on the map for a couple minutes, and you're down in gold to where you can't actually win the 1v1. If he gets an early Triforce, they can pressure.
All right.
Oh! No flash, right? His flash still down? No, we can't kill. We need to collapse. Unlucky.
Now the teleport comes in, round 2.
There we go.
All right, True Shot Barrage even sets it up for Palafox to knock it down. Shopify have tied up the
Pretty big investment for that, but that's okay.
down the first turret. They're doing a
First
ton of
turret makes
damage
it
to the
super
three.
worth, I
Yorick
think.
and the Maiden together as Busio and Masu will try to pressure B-Boy away from the tier 1 mid, but it's first turret over to Shopify Rebellion.
This is huge. Fudge can just TP bot and actually be able to cover that tower as well because Palafox TP top, so he's going to be down here looking to cover. He has the early Triforce. He has
Who are we rooting for? My fucking team? Rebellion?
So good, and I just love that they're committing to this sort of game plan. If you're going to draft for Yorick, you need to play to Yorick. It is not a team where you have to
Yorick's got his big power spike.
And Shopify are just sending everything at Bwipo to put him down.
It definitely
hurt him.
Look, Shopify being proactive this
Do
game.
it to him.
They cannot sit back
Kill
and
him.
let Fly
Kill him now.
determine all of the early plays, so they do force some of their own.
All right, Fudge chasing after
Oh! Just barely in W range. One more Q? Oh, so close. Yo! Yorick, I told you! That's my fucking boy! And he gets the flash out. You love that. See, don't doubt the Yorick one trick. I know what I'm talking about with this champion, man. I love Yorick.
Got the kill plus the flash off of Quad. Contrast has been so proactive on this Garner.
Everyone fucking... Well, actually, not everyone. Yorick's in a really good spot right now after the most recent buffs to him. But people have been sleeping on this guy for too long. I've been saying it. I'm always saying that.
He didn't know how Yorick worked there, because when you get hit by the E, flashing does nothing. The ghouls are going to come. The ghouls are going to jump. And so he flashes. The ghouls just jump after him and finish off the kill anyway. And when you have the Maiden out, you know, every minion that's dying is another ghoul. Every Q on an enemy champion is another ghoul here. So with this late flash, he was never getting away. Barely gets caged in here. Gets tagged by the Q, and after this last E, one more Q, last E, you can't flash at this point. You have to flash the E or you're dead. The Q hits, you flash, the ghouls are jumping. You see that one spawning, it's always going to follow.
That's so good.
Fudge has been really good with all of these cage placements too. His earlier ones onto Bwipo, you know, forcing the flash.
Where's the enthusiasm? What the fuck? That was a great Yorick play.
That one very
the hell is that?
now. B-Boy should be just fine. Ezreal.
Why did we cut to that? That made me feel sad.
Difficult to engage on, but FlyQuest are refocusing on the Dragons, trying to get one for themselves.
Look at top lane though. Azir's just going to go for the tier 2 to try to pressure this. I think this is actually really smart. They already have a gold lead. You want to play through sides, just play to extend this. It's only the second dragon. Honestly, who cares? If you can try to continue extending that gold lead, it would
We have
be
a
massive.
really good gold
And now
lead right
everyone's
now.
gonna have to go
God,
to
yeah.
Palafox, which means Fudge is going to have an opportunity to push through bot, and then they're going to have this kind of tempo on the map where everyone's committing. We'll see if they
Nah,
can
he's just
get
gonna
up
rip
with
ult probably.
Yeah, Bwipo immediately going in after Palafox here. The Sun Disc summoned up to try to protect the Emperor as Bwipo may have gone a little bit too far. Palafox.
Oh my god, Palafox, the fucking moves! They have to send all 5. Can we get turret for that?
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane,
Okay, wait. We're here in a good position.
The tier 2 turret is already halfway down. As Contract swoops into the top side of the nice 2.
Nice. Oh, that's bad.
But Contracts is tanking a lot here with the front line. Seos and
that wasn't very good.
It's a 1-for-1 here in the long extended fight top side.
Fudge is just pushing everywhere, though. They had to TP down to answers, then they attacked them top.
Yeah, of course I've seen the Battlefront 3 movement.
Some pressure onto this tower as well.
It's not going to lead to anything, but it's cool that people are excited for Battlefront 2 again, because that's a good game.
The top lane tier 2 is also softened up, so now you're one demolished proc away from losing either of those side lane tier 2s and giving an additional 700 gold to Fudge, who's already closing in on a 2,000 gold lead. This Yorick is going to be a problem.
The split push hope is alive. Here's Palafox going for the fight with Whippo under his own tower. He did invest his flash to try and get closer and do that one. As we know how it turns out, though.
If they didn't send, like, all 5, actually probably would have been able to survive. Like, I actually think he would have made it out.
We can win. Focus card and we'll win.
So that was comps for the second half of it once the counter kill came in, and that one did end up being another kill over. Traded towards the very end, but we are in a really scrappy one here. FlyQuest.
God, we had a 2K gold league. It's been cut down a little bit now, but that's okay.
They still have those dragons to rely on, so quite dangerous yet.
So, it's about a 1,000 gold lead for Shopify, but it's about a 2,000 individual gold lead for Fudge, which means the rest of the
Told you, man. I told you Yorick was going to be fucking instrumental here. People doubted me. You shouldn't have doubted the Yorick one trick.
Very careful about it, and I say this specifically because your advantage is on this split push character. He generally doesn't want to be grouped up with everybody else, so I want to see how well can Shopify navigate this win condition.
And you can see Masu is getting quite strong. He has 48 souls, so not really a quick pace for the souls, but does have the early Shiv. He's going towards an IE second. The Shiv is just to try to alleviate some of the wave clear issues that the AD carry Senate does have. And then when you get that IE, you really start to ramp up. But they are just continuing to pressure Whippo here. They want to knock down these tier 2s. It's such a big injection of gold that they become a really important objective for both teams.
All right, Shopify also having the Herald in the inventory. Going to go ahead, summon that one up right around mid lane here as Quad rides in the Weaver's wall.
No!
Shove to find B-Boy,
Okay.
who immediately has to pop his barrier,
It's all right.
trying to stay healthy enough as the pressure continues from Shopify Rebellion. Herald about to slam into the tier 1 turret with plenty of void grubbies. Contracts swinging a miss there on the ulti means Shopify is going no further.
Yeah, he was thinking there was going to be an attempt at his life after popping out of the Rift Herald, so he's kind of pre-planning that play. They don't actually catch anybody, but again, they're whittling away at these towers. They have not actually dropped on the tier 2s on the sides or the mid one, but very close to a lot of extra standing gold going over their way as Whippo does get a little bit aggressive here.
Yeah, Whippo going in
Oh, that damage.
Man, that shovel hurt.
Woof!
Whippo losing half HP from a big old smack upside the head.
Sight's pretty realistic.
God, I love that champion. Do it, Yorick. Come on, Fudge.
Look at Mordekaiser's giant mace. That thing definitely looks like that hurts.
Okay, that thing's going to hurt too. Every big object that could hit you in the head is probably going to hurt. As FlyQuest are still trying to defend here.
There we go. Tier 1 mid.
Finally succumbs to the pressure.
We should be able to get tier 2 bot as well here, I think.
Slightly more than a 1,000
It's just one shovel away. Oh, I didn't even see Fudge left. Never mind. Map awareness. Fucking bronze level. Sorry, guys.
Surely the gold lead is disappearing over time for FlyQuest.
I mean, that is the other side of when you overload one side of the map, right? If you're saying, okay, we're going to send 4 here, we're going to keep attacking Whippo, and we're going to keep trying to get Fudge ahead. Well, you're going to be dropping minions. You're going to be dropping camps to be able to make that happen. So FlyQuest are just playing efficiently, playing on 3 lanes. They will be slowly but surely closing that gap. And they don't need to be able to kill Fudge in a 1v1.
What are the esports you want to start to eventually compete in? We're in pretty much everything. The last one we're missing is Counter-Strike, which we're working towards.
Try to defend those tier 2s. Don't allow them to get so strong that he can just show up to a 5v5 and actually be effective.
Yeah, and if they can do that, then they can continue to stack dragons, and you get to try and pull them to you and try and put a stop to it. See if they can actually, hold out for the kind of the mid bridge though, because this dragon looks like it will not be stacked in the favor of FlyQuest.
Yep, looks like that neutral objective is going for Shopify. But speaking of neutral objectives, Otacon has spawned, which has triggered a special Uber Eats offer that you can check out in chat or the Twitch.
That triggered an Uber Eats offer.
Other than turret plates like this,
Holy shit!
all game long. Otacon there, Shopify have control over the area, and Contracts is going to immediately start it up. While Fudge is pressuring on the other side of the map, the other 4 players on Shopify Rebellion are going after the Otacon, and there's a teleport into the top side river from FlyQuest. So
Come on.
now you can see FlyQuest starting to move down there. Quad
Finish it. Nice.
But Shopify already got what
Great call, actually.
That was really good call. Fudge backed off really quickly. So then, the teleport up towards the middle of the map, they actually can just turn towards this tower and get something back for themselves.
He's membership Emil.
The Flower adaptive force picked up and bits of experience there for Shopify will be nice. Yeah, it's not like as powerful as the old get up 30 petals on the ground afterwards, but it's still quite nice, plus the little on-kill effect that you
FlyQuest are all moving towards topside. This could be a straight-up brawl.
All right, Shopify starting it off already here with a 1v1 in top lane, but
please, Fudge.
Before anything else happens, he barely stays alive. As now Inspired
no, Fudge. Oh god, that's bad.
Fudge wants to get away from Quad, but a kill is already
that's alright. Worked out really well for us.
Fudge is dropped as well. Seos only at 100 HP as FlyQuest tries to continue their retreat. Whippo is barely hanging on.
Nice dodge, Palafox. Big fucking ace.
Shopify Rebellion just out team fought FlyQuest.
That's so good.
Huge, and that means they're gonna get some of the standing gold on the map. Palafox immediately trying to cash in on the.
This is a much cleaner game here, and it all started with York.
Because Seos
clearly
a critical flash. There's a controller in this rush. And so he is he actually gets a little bit of an extra bump there. And Palafox says, you know what? We're not letting Inspired get away. He goes in right after it.
That was so fucking good right there.
As he goes down. So the fact
and
that
Seos lives. That's crazy.
The fight over, even though FlyQuest did get their kill on the York and they take down Fudge, the reinforcements from Shopify gain so much more. This is a huge swing in the game.
It is, and I mean, you saw how much they're having to actually.
You've been working out there?
Oh man. That's some fantastic reactions on the coach cams.
The Revan cam is one of my favorites.
Revan is a top-tier coach cam for sure.
He's a very animated coach. As now, Shopify Rebellion, we're not messing around with these.
Look at that poke damage. Fuck yeah.
That cute little stuff where you can be like, yeah, we got
go home. Really scram.
We're talking about 3,500 gold ahead now. This is
tier 2 bot. We're setting up.
Rebellion. Look at the individual gold trackers on the scoreboard right now. It's a whole ocean of Shopify leads.
Yeah, because they got all the kill money, and then they also got the tier 2 on top side, and they get the back out onto the map, push tier 2 on bottom side, another bunch of gold going into the shop.
Nice. Very nice.
The war fund is going quite well for them.
I will say one small thing that did look nice for FlyQuest in the last fight is Whippo looked like he had the 1v1, and that is kind of the power of Conqueror later on in the game, the power of being able to eliminate the ghouls from that fight in the ulti. Quad did have to come to actually finish him off, but Whippo was doing pretty well, and Whippo right now is on 2 completed items, so the actual item power in inventory is just about even. So if Whippo could actually shut down Fudge in a side lane and find a way to get a solo kill, that is definitely a way to get some pressure back in their favor, because if York
it's a game 2.
Especially if York has to team fight without the Maiden, even if you
we don't talk about game 1. No one talks about game 1.
Lower than what the Mordekaiser is going to be.
Shovel's heavy, but it ain't that heavy. Whippo's still going to be a problem here on this Mordekaiser.
Can we get a side-by-side of Mordekaiser mace?
The hammer versus the shovel?
The mace may be bigger, but if you can't swing it, maybe it's too heavy.
More matters than just size. Exactly. It's about strength, too.
Yeah.
You got to be able to handle the thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're in there.
York has a lot of shovel experience.
he's been digging those graves for a long time.
Exactly.
Okay, but was the first mace a shovel?
What?
Where did the idea of even using a mace in the first place come from?
It was probably a stick with a rock on the end of it.
I think shovel came first.
I think cavemen were probably bonking each other on the head before they were digging holes. Priorities, man.
Which invention?
We just need to keep Fudge in a side lane.
So probably the mace.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's like the most foundational thing. Anyway, Shopify are starting up the bear, and that's a pretty foundational thing to closing out a game in League of Legends, but they are not going to stick around the area as FlyQuest have already
oh, the flash from Seos. Holy.
From Contracts is perfect, and Masu is dead.
Nice, good pick.
Before the rest of the fight can even bother starting. Contracts putting a little bit more.
Wait, no, watch out for Bwipo. No, 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 we're too deep. Why? We didn't have to chase like that.
Too far. Now Fudge teleporting in to try to back them up as Bwipo goes into the death round and wants to chase after an isolated
Nice.
target.
Oh,
He's not gonna
fuck.
find it. A little bit more damage should be able to take him down as Palafox nearly
Come on,
down,
boys.
but
Come on, boys.
out on top as Busio and
Stay on his ass, Fudge.
Fudge is on the hunt. Busio tries to find his counter engage there with a crash down Magnet Storm.
No!
Dies to the turret. FlyQuest managed to outplay the follow-up. It's a 3 for 2, still favoring Shopify.
Oh, Shopify.
Hey, grab that tier 2. Wait, no, we can get that.
To go back over the snipe.
Ah!
So close. Okay, but the dragon should still be taken.
Damn.
Even though they don't have their jungler, they don't have their smite. Palafox can kill this thing fairly quickly, and that is another dub for Shopify. Look at the beginning.
Important to note.
Man, that could have been so much cleaner,
Showed
too.
that he did in game, but it is not up, so it's not like he could actually have reactively flashed anything. He gets locked down very well by Seos and Contracts. Great CC chain. They eliminate Masu, and then they're just going to force the fight.
I think we're going to get a comms listen in towards the tail end of the team fight as well. But we'll see the separation. Contracts is fairly tanky, but as Bwipo goes for the 1v1 with Palafox in the death realm, the rest of the team can push forward. Sales lands a nice snare onto Inspired to be able to get that kill and flashes the Q.
That was
from
so
Busio
close.
too. Here is that comms listen in.
Okay, let's go.
What a battle cry! What a battle cry!
That was very intimidating. You love to hear that.
Man, all right, so we've got the Shopify war cry
out a little bit. You know?
Yeah,
Let's go.
We're like, we're winning. Okay, now we're dying under
Maybe
tower.
the end was seeing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, let's go. Wanted to get another kill there. All right, Shopify starting up the Baron. FlyQuest on the approach. Inspired and Busio are going to be the first two around the area as the teleport will bring Bwipo over to the mid lane quickly to join up with the rest of the squad. Now, Fudge doesn't have his teleport, but he is up there in the top lane right about at the halfway point. Busio
Oh,
goes forward,
nice.
looks for that shattering strike, but cannot find a target with it.
Good
As
poke.
Masu nearly dead again. True Shot Barrage isn't going to hit him to finish off the job, but
Contracts is
Masu's still got to
hunting.
try to escape. Contracts looking for Masu. 200 HP left.
Nice.
in Senna, and Fudge
There you go, Fudge.
them 6 feet deep. Shopify Rebellion have already
Bwipo's,
found their
yep.
first target,
He's
and they
fucked.
wanna
Baron.
make it a 2-for-1 special. B-Boy goes on a rampage, and FlyQuest are hurting as Shopify go after the Baron.
Wow, 3-item Ezreal hurts.
And the ghouls!
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
ghouls!
Fudge, this was back a couple weeks ago, before their last matchup. He said, I wonder, is Bwipo going to shit the
Maiden,
bed if I play
solo him.
Today we had nothing to lose. He already
Jarvis,
got the worst player in
fuck
the
that
league.
man
What
for
am I
me.
so scared of? This was him talking about his mindset going into it. He wanted to play with confidence. He's saying, you know, he can't do anything worse to me. He already trash talked me. Who cares? Let's get in there. Let's play some league. He's showing up big in this second game. And
Easy
Shopify
tier 2.
now are looking like they are fully in control. 7,000 gold lead here. They are very close to tying this one up.
All right, Contracts.
Oh, that might be a little too much dip on our chip with that. Why did we do that?
Crashes down for a Magnet Storm, and Contracts drops. Quad goes on a killing spree again. Dives towards this Talia are not working out for Shopify, but they still have a 7,000 gold lead despite being forced back for now.
That was just super nicely played by Quad because he throws down the seismic shove. Contracts has the correct reaction, which is to ult so that you still can channel it and still get the grab. But then he flashes that, and having that extra mobility there is the big determining factor.
TP's almost
So
up again for
now,
Fudge.
They put a stop to the Shopify push, but Flowers, I don't think that stop is going to last very long. They still have that Baron. They are right back out onto the map. They have super deep vision.
Imagine.
And they can just push FlyQuest around.
Yeah, look at B-Void, 4-0-9 on the Ezreal. You talk about a 3-item Ezreal hurt, and he has been a part of all but 2 of their kills, has not fallen a single time so far this game. Really just an awesome performance from the Shopify AD carry in this one.
And as much as a lot of the game has been about Fudge and the pressure that he's putting on and all of the focus up there that Shopify was putting on, that bought time for Bevo and for Palafox. And now, you know, it's not just
Is this
B-Boy.
best of 3?
Palafox has his death cap.
Yeah, it's
done.
best-
He's
it's
on
best of 3
3.5
still,
items.
right?
Both these guys are working towards 4. They are
I don't think they-
very
yeah,
difficult
I'm
for
pretty sure.
FlyQuest to actually deal with here, and FlyQuest is
No, it is
gonna have to
BO5?
have problems.
Oh, okay,
How are
okay.
they
I didn't
going
know that started
to
yet.
really
Okay.
find a winning fight? You know, they're not super under pressure just yet because it will just be Soul Point, not actually Soul itself. That Shopify could grab here in a minute, but you know that is going to be the big question mark.
and this is one of the really fun things that people love about watching Shopify games. They can punch up at the best teams in the LTA. See if they can finish.
Okay, immediately going in for the Weaver's Wall. Inspired wants to
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
almost dead. Contracts only
Oh,
gets
God.
one full. The Palafox has fallen. FlyQuest have found their first kill, and it's the enemy mid laner. Fudge can't join the fight in
Natalia
time.
ult
So
just really
FlyQuest
fucked us.
again are going to stop the Shopify
Damn it.
machine in its tracks. Nicely played.
Again, a huge seismic sub there from Quad. He's able to snipe Palafox as Palafox went in, used the flash, used the ulti. It does put a stop to it for now, and every time you put a stop to one of these Baron pushes, does open up the question.
We can't throw like this.
How far do you have to go?
Please, no, not like this.
To fully neutralize.
Not like this.
The Baron power
Not for our city.
is actually negative in gold value because of these constant outplays here. A lot of them from Quad.
Absolutely, and we'll see. You know, it should still be a dragon, you know, for Shopify here. I don't think that we're going to see FlyQuest going too aggressive for that, but they're buying more time. They've protected the base. They've kept all the inhibitor towers alive. Death Gap's in there for Quad. Quad actually has a pretty big individual gold lead himself now. He's on 4 items, and slowly but surely, Senna is scaling up. 99 souls now. The range is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Obviously, if you have the IEs, you're well over 100% crit. You're getting a ton of spell vamp there, Omni Vamp. You know, Lifesteal coming through with that passive, and they do have some real threats on their team as well. So Shopify has got to be careful. You know, when you are playing these split push style champs, it does open up opportunities to get engaged on without your whole team there.
Important to note also, as we're keeping track of these items and these power spikes, Zhonya's Hourglass now fully completed.
A 3-level lead on their ADC is so nice.
The game hasn't really been about him for the past 5 or 10 minutes, so it's not like he had to use that arm guard actively. Never even got to destroy the thing before it became the Hourglass, but now having that in every single fight could open up some serious outplay opportunity for him. We already talked about it a little bit earlier, but it's not like he's out of the game just because Fudge has been ahead the entire time. Bwipo still has an opportunity to really make a huge impact with a meaningful ult in one of these fights.
It's absolutely true, and one of the things I know when I was playing a lot of Mordekaiser and watching some of these really good one tricks is sometimes late in the game, you know, when you're playing Mordekaiser, you think, okay, I want to ult someone that I can beat in a 1v1. Oftentimes, a lot of the one tricks would actually ult the strongest person on the other team, and just to take them out of the fight, to use it as a CC. If B-Boy is the only problem,
Yeah, it's a classic use of the Mord
you
ult.
them, you start losing, you just sit there in Zhonya's while your team wins the 4v4. It can actually be really effective, even when you are behind.
Yeah, I guess that the fight where
Thanks
he
for your
ulted
sub, Tex-Mex.
Palafox and then also to Palafox, that's not the ideal situation I hear.
Does Fudge win that 1v1 right
You're
now?
hoping that you can win.
I wonder if it'd be
If you
worth
can't
just a
win, you're hoping that
challenge.
you don't die. But sometimes if you're
I don't know.
behind, it's okay. Just take the strongest person out of the fight. Try to just keep them. Use it as a CC, right?
Yeah.
If your team is better off in the 4v4, if you and B-Boy both don't participate, who's it better for? Probably FlyQuest.
Yeah, how are they going to actually deal with this as a real problem? Because B-Boy is so
It's
mobile,
tough.
he's so long range. It's going to be a problem that FlyQuest have to come up with a solution with very quickly.
I will say, if the game keeps going and going and going, Senate does eventually hit a point where your Qs are so long range, your autos are so long range that you can just start chunking people with Q autos, and it becomes really frustrating, where Senate just kind of hits this break point where all of a sudden, it feels like she's 2 screens away chunking you.
And the thing is, though, I really do want to applaud Shopify for how well they've found Masu so far this game. Normally, Masu is a player that you very rarely see enemy teams be able to find those opportunities for those angles on him to take him out early. But Shopify
really
have
can't
already
just
managed
keep
to pull it
dancing
off a
around
couple
doing
of times
nothing.
in these critical fights. And
We just
now
really
Baron is
waited
about
for
to
the whole
spawn
Baron again.
and the Rebels are
Which,
immediately
maybe that's the right
in
call.
the pit. FlyQuest trying to see if they can stop this. but
Maiden, keep hurting him.
Everybody else still has to make their way over. The Baron is already down to 20% HP. The Baron is already claimed before the fight even
Nice. That's so good. Come on, boys.
now, but Seo's got to be careful, flashing back over the wall, keeping himself safe, as Inspired has lost 1/3 HP. The Maiden's coming around on the flank as the Weaver's wall has disappeared. Fudge looking for a chance to get involved in the fight, but
Oh,
Bwipo has
fuck.
pulled him into the death realm. The Mordekaiser is feeling strong here in the 1v1 as everybody else on Shopify tries to scramble to save Fudge in the aftermath. Bwipo can't get the kill.
Okay. Okay. We don't have to force this. We have Baron. Okay.
They don't stop the
All right. Huge.
Might have got a
Huge.
couple summoner spells, but that play still favors Shopify Rebellion.
Okay. Good. Good. Good.
Determination from Shopify here. They commit to the base,
Yeah.
they
York
burn it
kind of
down,
fell
they
off
do
here.
everyone out. I
We don't
think
want any
Fudge
more
just got
1v1s.
under the tower. He was like,
That's okay. That's okay.
one more Q on this guy,
We just need
maybe,
him
you know,
split
the
pushing,
team will be able to do
or
something when I get
exerting
out.
pressure side
Now,
lane.
without the flash, he's going to be a little bit more vulnerable, but with Baron buff, Shopify can push so effectively here. They can just trap FlyQuest inside their own base. And
Yeah, I'm still
they
watching
have the
Andor.
sieging power
I'm
to
really
actually
liking
crack
Andor.
those inhibitor towers this time.
They absolutely do, and importantly, the Baron buff will still be there after the Soul Dragon spawns, right? So they can be going for Cloud Soul. You're going to be stuck in your base unless FlyQuest can find an opportunity to find and engage, get picks, to be able to get it on the map. Because look at the map, they have no vision over by the Dragon whatsoever. Even if Shopify go over there, it's so hard to actually get there to even contest.
All right, FlyQuest defending, 4-man unit here in the mid lane. Whippo dealing with the split pressure
Come
in
on, boys.
bottom.
Come on, boys. Let's close it out.
The Talia defense has been critical so far for FlyQuest, but the Baroned up minions, the super low HP on the turret.
Oh my
Shopify,
God, that
look
poke.
at the damage there on the Masu from B-Boy hitting the Mystic shot, as FlyQuest will lose their first inhibitor turret here in mid lane. The Sun Disc is about to fall. Seos wanted to flash over the wall for the surprise engage there with the Zenith Blade, but does not have the range to land that one onto Quad. Now Shopify, having got that tier 3 turret in mid, they know the Dragon is about to spawn here in about 10 seconds. They're going to work their way down to the Dragon Pit and challenge FlyQuest to try to approach.
And B-Boy is basically full build Ezreal. With the QSS in inventory, like, yeah, he can upgrade it to
Cola
Imperial
131,
Scimitar,
love that.
but that's just like a little bit of extra damage. With Cloud Soul, with the extra range advantage, with the extra power advantage here for Shopify, this is gotta be the moment for them to crack the base. Here they come. Baron empowered wave.
One shovel.
B-Boy is gonna be able to chunk this thing very quickly. Couple of autos on the tower.
Nice. Oh, he just burned his flash for that. Or, no, it wasn't flash. I thought I heard a flash.
Done that to his health as Masu's half HP now too. Shopify Rebellion keeping their foot on the gas pedal as 2 inhibitors are now vulnerable in the FlyQuest base. 15 to 10 for Shopify, 6,000 gold lead. Masu very strong with a lot of range.
Nice. Let's go, Contracts. Oh, that's not good.
But Inspired's gonna stay alive. The defensive ulti from the Xin Zhao, keeping him strong enough to get back to the rest of the team. But Shopify will take their opportunity to continue pushing.
Fudge really wants to hit it with the shovel.
On B-Boy, but he ain't gonna find it. Fudge trapped in the Shadow Realm yet again as Whippo tries to beat him down, but he needs a little bit
Why?
more damage
Okay,
to get
I'm a
it
little
done, and
confused.
Whippo comes up with the kill.
That was actually so well played. That entire series from FlyQuest inspired the timing on the Crescent Guard right as he's getting lifted from contract.
I don't know why B-Boy wouldn't at least put a little bit onto Whippo there.
All the damage, Contracts gets chunked out.
I know he's trying to like hold off the others, but I don't know. I feel like he still could have hit Whippo a little bit there.
So well played.
He was side by side with him.
From FlyQuest. This team will not go down easily. Whippo gets the last pull.
Oh, he was in ult? Oh, I didn't even hear it go off. Oh, okay. I didn't even hear it. My
They
bad.
defend the inhibitor.
The inhibitor bot lane. The inhibitor mid lane, not so much.
Okay,
Yeah,
no, back
Pikachu's.
then. It's not good, not good, not good, not good.
Yeah, I can't really tell from the replay. I can only go by the sound cues.
Wanted it to go, but B-Boy now under a little bit of pressure as Quad flies in, and B-Boy flies right back out. Contracts tanking up here on the front line in the middle of 4 FlyQuest players. Palafox looking for his
Oh,
entry
God.
into the fight, but it's
Oh,
Spard.
God.
Made his way back towards B-Boy, just barely misses out of the kill, but Palafox has been killed in the back line. Shopify Rebellion have already lost 1 carry, and the second is down to 100 HP. Contracts takes out Inspired, though, and continues to try to retreat, but he will not make it. FlyQuest get a 2-for-1.
They got B-Boy
Their
too with the
base
ulti.
is in trouble. The ulti beautifully shot there to finish off the kill onto B-Boy, and FlyQuest just killed 3 of them.
The FlyQuest comeback is being
I can't believe we're about to throw this. I can't believe we're about to throw this. I'm sick. I'm sick.
They chased them down the top lane. The beginning of it, we didn't actually get to see the origins, but look what they can take in the aftermath after the extra snipe. It's 2
What a
towers
damn shame.
straight down this top lane, and they're gonna get inside the base.
There's still 20 seconds left on Palafox. Okay, FlyQuest deciding to back away. Discretion is the better part of valor and all that.
What a crazy throw.
You need to get your reset off. You need to get preemptive vision leading up to this thing. Make sure that you can go contest.
All right, we gotta watch this one more time. This is B-Boy. Looks like he was the one getting aggressive. Gets tagged by the wind, becomes lightning. They call for the TP immediately. In comes Quad. In comes the Mordekaiser. He's getting chased after. But the problem here comes when Palafox tries to come around on the flank. He's looking for an angle. He gets spotted. And watch Palafox get rooted by Masu. He tries to go aggressive, but he gets hit by the root. He's stuck out away from the team. Palafox goes down for free. And then on the other side, Inspire just lives forever.
Yeah, he's barely there. Gets hit by one more
It's the Skarner passive
tick down with the previous Skarner passive being procced onto him. Regardless, though, FlyQuest chop that gold lead.
That's, I think that's curtains. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Shopify, they still have
I cannot believe it. What a damn shame, man.
They're setting up on the Baron. They're going to try to force FlyQuest to come.
Our third Baron.
B-Boy again on the front lines trying to poke.
Okay, FlyQuest on the approach. Lucio taking a little bit of damage here as Quad goes into the back line. Fudge is going to be zoned away. B-Boy sidestepping away from that seismic shove as Contract slams Inspire.
Maybe. B-Boy's in a great spot. Come on. Nice sales. Yes. Oh my god, thank god. Nice. Oh my god, he just got melted by Senna.
Fudge who falls again, beautifully played from Quad.
Well,
and Masu is getting ridiculously
he's
strong.
too strong now.
He
We lost.
No,
we actually super lost.
Is getting out of control. Nearly 150 stacks on the Senna. He is
Wow.
killed here, and he is going to be such a problem for Shopify. The amount of lifesteal he actually has at this point in the game is getting pretty crazy.
Yeah, the amount that he was able to come back in these last few fights was huge, because at one point he was down 3 levels to B-Boy. And even in the beginning of this fight, B-Boy is able to escape, so over the wall he adds the damage onto Inspired for them to be able to answer. So as Contracts and Inspired both trade kills there, they still have the extra advantage to take down the extra person here with the chase.
We got our third Baron though.
The Baron during the replay, they get the real objective here. Baron again in the hands of Shopify to try and help out with their push.
3 Barons.
Masu now has almost 500 AD and 31% lifesteal with the passive. So if you do not insta-kill this guy, he is healing for a ridiculous amount.
And you can't insta-kill him. He's got Guardian Angel now. Very, very powerful defensive option. These types of items, these one-shot wonder type of things, like the Guardian Angel, like the Zhonya's, have so much value in these late-game team fights when the lethality of every character is so high. FlyQuest now.
What are we looking for here?
A symbol. Make sure they can defend against the Shopify push. Shopify
we're just marching.
continuing now to march down mid. That inhibitor is still dead, but just about now respawning. So inhibitor vulnerable in mid, vulnerable in bot. Shopify making a push for the inhib, but now FlyQuest is on the approach, ready to go. Seos trying to get away here from the Weaver's wall. Fudge is going to get caught out by Inspired. Seos trapped inside the death realm with Whippo, just trying to buy enough time. Gets stunned there at the very exit, as Inspired's got to deal with the ghouls on the other side of the fight. Seos getting away, Contract covering his retreat.
Okay.
Honestly, Shopify, it looked a little bit dicey, but they got their inhib and they got everybody out.
The Elder Dragon is on the map though, so priority to get over to this bottom half of the map.
Fudge got TP.
Small victory too. We've got a lot of
so we can
Shopify
push
on
and be
top
ready.
side. Fudge here repeating the split push. Yorick has teleport, so he's trying to split push with this Baron while the rest of FlyQuest are starting the Elder.
I mean, if they get Elder and no one can answer though, Fudge can just end the game, so Whippo has to go top to try to answer this, so it's going to be a 4v4 for the Elder.
Okay, Inspired is soloing the Elder Dragon right now. Contracts tries to step
Come on,
forward,
boys.
put
Come on,
some
boys.
pressure onto Quad. Nice use of the True Shot Barrage to take him down below half HP while Fudge and Whippo trade up in the top lane. Inspired down to half.
Come on.
A lot of damage onto the Zinjao. As Shopify Rebellion have taken over the bot side. River and Whippo's down to 1/3 HP up at the top side of the same
Oh no, Whippo's dead. That's GG.
Masu is popping off. FlyQuest just won the fight. They might have just won the game. The Elder Dragon's gonna
Oh boy. I can't believe we threw this. Holy. Holy.
The Elder goes to FlyQuest.
The FlyQuest heroics continue with Elder Dragon. They're going to immediately push.
Yikes.
Whippo does have teleport here for the Mordekaiser. He can join too.
It's 30 seconds or more still on these death timers for the Shopify carries. Contracts is trying to get away. The Dawning Shadow.
I don't even know what
the Elder Dragon.
was the point of
Masu
that.
finds another kill. Quad may die here to the Orc.
Hey!
Fudge at least gets one back, but FlyQuest have taken what was once a 7,000 gold deficit and completely suplexed it.
That kill though might have just saved them losing a lot of their base.
We just didn't want to win.
Masu has just gotten so ridiculously strong. Look at Masu in this fight.
We had a couple good opportunities. We just we didn't want them.
Sectioned off right here, and look at Masu connects on the W. He goes over the wall. The cleanse a little too early. He uses the QSS before the root actually landed. Masu just has ridiculous range, follows after him, knocks him down. And Masu is just such a problem. The range on this character is like more than a tower at this point, and he's incredibly difficult to burst down. He's doing so much damage. They are struggling with him.
And you could see the frustration on the faces of Contracts and Palafox to now be in a game where FlyQuest has the advantage. When earlier you were so far ahead, it's just settling in that this is now no longer a given thing. This is now a battle, and they are fighting for their lives.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that B-Boy was the first to the full build and the first to level 18, because Masu, he caught back up. He's more than accumulated enough gold to fill his inventory with the luxury of the Guardian Angel, even if he wasn't able to get that solo bolo.
I mean, he sold his Shiv for the GA, now he sold his boots for the Ghostblade, and he has 760 attack range. So it is very difficult. He's gonna walk up, he's gonna Q auto. That's one auto, by the way, he didn't get his Q.
Oh, that execution! It was almost lethal there.
He's well over 500 AD. That's what it looks like. If you allow an infinite scaling champion to scale like this for 46 minutes, you got a problem on your hands.
All right, FlyQuest on the push down mid
Well,
lane. Tier 2 turret's the target. Masu doesn't really have to worry about it because he doesn't have to play within its range, but everybody else also going to choose to back up. Turret can only shoot so far, man. It's not going to go that well for Shopify. They've got to try to figure out something, but the Maiden is being sent up the top lane right now to make an extra split push threat.
Maiden, save us.
The Maiden, which you very rarely see, sends it down that side lane. It is going to be still spawning ghouls, but you can see Inspired is going up there to try to kill it off, and that is going to mean Fudge won't have that combat power for a 5v5. I think he's just realized, like, with the Maiden or not, he's kind of useless in the 5v5. You're just dropping cage. You're just
I mean, we completely abandoned the split push.
And he wants to have
We
that
kept trying to
side lane
force
pressure,
team
but
fights under their
unfortunately
turret and their
gonna
tier
get beat up by Inspired
3s.
quad.
I think that's what really fucked us. Our first Baron, when we dove Talia under turret twice, getting killed for free, I think was where it was pretty much fucked. We just couldn't close.
The Guardian Angel now alongside that of Masu. You've still got the Zhonya's Hourglass.
What a damn shame, man. What a shame.
Get out of jail free cards. On the other side, when we're looking at Shopify's options, yes, you have an Hourglass for Palafox, but that's about it. Despite Palafox's success in some of the earlier fights, it hasn't felt like he's been able to do nearly as much since the FlyQuest comeback has really started, and we'll see if he can make a big play with that stasis. Palafox looking at Bwipo down here in the bottom lane now, coming in to help Fudge.
Oh, he's, insta dead.
At the same time, Bwipo goes into the death realm to buy himself a little bit more time as B-Boy gets away from the Dawning Shadow. Bwipo using the Zhonyas to try.
Maybe though, maybe.
But Shopify have found the kill on
We have no minions up there though, or down there though. It's alright.
They gambled a lot in this. Let's see if it pays off. Contracts now on the run over to the split pushers.
Yeah, Contracts is trying to get away, but Inspired and Busio can lock him down so easily, and Masu never even has to enter the range of Impale. A 1-for-1 trade, top laner for Jungler.
There will be no smite for Shopify now. Baron is on the map again. FlyQuest here, even though they lost Bwipo, he will come up quicker and will have teleport. So Shopify
Yeah, we're going for big split pushing now.
Up. They teleport into the top side again. There is a ward still that saw them on that side of the map.
It's also critical to note, B-Boy lost both his summoners in that last fight, so he is going to be very vulnerable. He cannot even be on the same screen as Masu, it feels like.
Okay, pressure in bottom lane continues from Palafox and Fudge.
Palafox is so caught out.
Fudge is going to try to stop him, at least occupy the Rel's time. Quad loses 2/3 HP, but it ain't going to matter. Masu's unstoppable. Palafox is down. Fudge in some danger as he can't secure the kill. On to Busio. Inspired and Masu now regrouping. They'll deal with the Maiden.
Yeah, it's just getting really desperate now from us. Oh, yucky. Big time yucko. Ooh, baby. Woof.
So many Barons. We have already seen our first Elder. The clock is about to strike 50 minutes in this second game, and the score is 22-22 with a 1,500 gold lead.
And it feels like Shopify have accepted, you know what, we can't win 5v5, and that's why they're trying these kind of guerrilla tactics, sending multiple.
We were winning in a big way earlier,
can we just end the game?
and then we said, I'd rather not. So then we started diving and dying for free, and now look at us.
Push on the map for the first time here, and it is going to be really hard for Shopify to hold on.
Every Senna bullet chunks Baron for 1,100 damage, as Shopify now might be in a real bad spot. Contracts only just now respawning, and he might be headed straight back to the Fountain. FlyQuest, they managed managed to get themselves a kill. Now with the
Yorick, just push. Just we're so fucked. Just push. Just send it.
No way that Shopify are going to be able to wreak enough havoc in the side lane
Base race.
and FlyQuest are feeling real good.
This is so fucking sad.
Flashes in. As soon as he
Oh,
sees the
that was
juggler,
rough.
immediately ults contracts. You know you can win that late game 1v1. Burns him down, takes away the smite from Shopify, and FlyQuest with Elder, with
It's up to
Baron.
Palafox. He's behind him. Okay, never mind. He's not gonna go.
Yeah, I think if he goes in, he instantly dies. Masu goes auto Q, and then the Elder goes blah, and then you're dead. As FlyQuest are pushing straight into the heart of the base for Shopify Rebellion. Contract still dead for another 25 seconds. FlyQuest
They
have the Elder, they have the straight shot for the enemy Nexus. There's no way Fudge can outpush this. FlyQuest from a 7,000 gold deficit come back to hit match point after game 2.
What the fuck? We weren't gonna win there anyway, but I'm so curious what the call was.
FlyQuest, what a comeback, what a defense.
Yeah, and that one.
Palafox TP'd bot, Fudge top. Like, what was the plan?
In the playoff games as that game ended.
The momentum is
Oh, that was sad. That was just actually really awful to watch.
to break it down.
We threw a 7k gold lead.
That was crazy. 100,000 gold from FlyQuest? 193 souls from Senna?
Senna is crazy.
That was the length of their series versus Cloud9, and we actually have a visual representation of how the top lane went, because we were tracking the top lane matchup. Supposed to be the Yorick beating up on the Mordekaiser, but we actually got the Mordekaiser win the game. Anyway,
let's just listen to the last fight for FlyQuest, how they won that game.
They're fighting without Yorick, guys.
I'm tipping.
No E already. No E.
He has flash though, he has flash.
There's also a free scanner. There's a free scanner.
No flash, no ES.
Scanner, no flash.
I
still have Q. Keep going.
They should have kept splitting. This isn't even really where it fell apart for us. This was tragic. This was disastrous. What it really fell apart was when we dove Talia twice, dying for free 2 times. We dove her under tier 3 top, died, and we dove her under tier 2 mid, died. That's where we lost. Both times with Baron, too. That's where it was really over.
They got exactly what they wanted, I guess.
I don't know what we were doing. Like, I don't know why we kept doing that.
I also hear we have some rats watching this game that I hope delivered an absolutely cinematic performance, but like, what happened?
Just actually really sad.
It was just like constant split pushing from the side. I like that they were looking for a pick on towards Palafox. They needed everybody. They needed the whole team.
He's a genius. This actually was bad, I think, for FlyQuest, because Yorick was pushing the side lane, and at this stage in the game, like, this is where Shopify was just having massive map pressure across everything.
Yeah, and I actually did think for a while Shopify were doing a good job of leveraging that map pressure, right, and finding a strong point.
The set's still winnable.
As you see
Hey,
there,
anything's possible.
Oh, and this is
except that. Are you fucking kidding me, man? This is like the biggest mental ruiner as well. If we had won this, yeah, maybe there's a chance, even though FlyQuest is the best team in A. Maybe. Like, we've beaten FlyQuest before, 1 game. But after losing this, no shot. I see no world where we can win this set now.
it still felt crazy that like Shopify were at the base so many times. They almost like ended this game, what, 3-4 times? But FlyQuest just didn't let them cross the line.
This is the big fight we just heard comms for as well, and this is where I started thinking like, oh, okay.
It could happen.
It could happen. They can come back.
133 Senna souls at this point in the game.
Inspired going in, you kind of heard how he was dictating the fight. Was really, really good, even though, yes, again, he dies right there.
Yep.
But this is really where you start seeing, I mean, Quad had already been doing a ton of damage,
That
but
snipe,
then the shutdown.
that snipe from Senna at the end.
And that moment, again, Fudge doesn't TP into that mid lane. Like, maybe there's these avenues that they can play Yorick in the side lane, but it got so scary once Senna got the stacks that, like, you're just going to die if the Yorick's not there.
And just speaking to the stacks, I know that Azael had mentioned the number of, like, 760 range or something like that. With RFC, it was 910 with RFC. And, like, he went to build because he didn't go Black Cleaver.
Yeah, we'll see, Sven. We will see.
This was super important. This was where it really felt like FlyQuest was going to be able to succeed. And just watch watch Masu win this fight. Just let's roll it again and just watch how he's able to stay in range and also how much he's chunking people. He hit the contracts there from over the wall at the start of it. He's not targetable right now because his E is still running, but then the B-Boy shot down at the bottom. That's basically like a one-shot. B-Boy didn't get to enter that fight. He got completely
They can still qualify for MSI though, right? They just need to make the finals. I don't know what the path to qualify MSI is right now.
And like, he had so much DPS.
I'm not positive.
IE, BT, RFC, like he sold his boots for Yomu's. It was not possible for them to win a
Emily,
fight
you were
against
extending the range of Senna throughout that game.
I'm like, okay, we can do a visual representation of this on camera, right? When it comes back to us, I'll show. As we see Shopify kind of...
They got to be defeated, but yeah, you were hitting Raz at the start of the game.
You start off, right? Like, this extends it more than my finger, right? I can hit Raz. And then by the end of the game, I can almost get kicked.
I can definitely get kicked. I can definitely
dying at the Elder Dragon.
This sounds like
Senna's just collecting souls.
Nothing. Okay, go on.
Let's just reset if you're Shopify though. Like, how do you recover from a game like that?
Man,
I don't know.
He's smiling.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's one of those.
He's having a good time. Maybe it's not that bad for them.
Emotional team where they can ride momentum, positive and negative, and that's such a close one that turned into such a tough loss that like they're gonna have to find some way to dig deep and figure it out.
Yeah, they carve up.
I can't imagine we're gonna get a draft that good again, though. I'll be honest.
Was not as high.
Gosh.
No, we got more games. This could go all the way to a game 5.
What is 910 Raz?
We'll see.
Yeah, with the RFC range.
Thanks for resubbing, Noma.
Attention, all LTA fans. From now until May 28th, fans can cast their ballots for the Kia Most Valuable Player and the Kia All-Pro Team using the QR code on your screen. Participating fans can enter for a chance to win a trip.
All right, I'm going to take a piss real quick. Give me 2 seconds before this starts.
Terms do apply. Thank you for joining us here on a fun little excursion.
I want 3 more of those.
Watch some of that game. Give us 3 more of those. Game 3 coming up after the break.
AT&T has a new guarantee because most things in life are not guaranteed. Like common courtesy. Really, Brenda?
I know you can.
When they say,
I'm on my way.
No way. Pretty blue, though. Or a fun night at the movies. Yeah, that's not guaranteed.
Hold on. Let me put you on speakerphone.
You know what AT&T guarantees? Connectivity you depend on, the deals you want, and the service you deserve. Or we'll make it right. That's the AT&T guarantee.
It's for you. Do you like it? Come on, Charlie. Use your new door. Come on, let's go. I said go. Let's go. Silly dog. I'm gonna trade you for a cat.
Red Bull gives you wings.
The new Red Bull Zero is here. 100% wings with monk fruit extract.
In the ground before Dub can even get there. In time to try to knock out. As Impact gets first.
Don't feed. Get fed. Scan the QR code for LTA deals only on Uber Eats.
I'm back. Thanks, Resub Rich. You hear about the breakout of freaks on TikTok that fully believe they're aliens reincarnated into human bodies to save humankind. No, I haven't heard of that. That's kind of cool. Who's to say they're not, huh? Do you have any evidence to prove they're not reincarnated aliens? Food for thought.
I will just kill more. I'm behind enemy lines here. Okay.
Low top, keep it to A0.
I'm gonna check that out though. What are they called?
Nice guys, nice. Oh, yo, Senna's here. Senna might be dead.
They're called Breakout Freaks? Or are you just no? You're just calling them that. What's the actual movement called? Isn't that the one Oki made a video of? No, it's a secret space program. I mean, maybe it's part of the secret space program. Radal did a video on it. It's Sirius B Aliens. The strange cult of alien influencers. I'll check it out. That sounds cool. That sounds very cool.
Welcome back to the playoffs, everybody. Before we get into our third game, a reminder that during this second split, you could win a trip to a League of Legends event or a set of Player of the Week statues if you use your MasterCard to make a purchase from the in-client store and save your card on file to be entered for a chance to win. You can see on your screen that runs from May 17th to June 15th.
Thanks, membership Roach.
Right here today, Shopify have
You should definitely add Echoes of Eternity to your Eldrazi precon. I already did. There's only been one precon league video that's gone up, but we played 3 rounds. Echoes of Eternity was one of the first ads I made.
So far ahead that everyone on your team feels like you deserved it. Like, do you have to meditate?
I go play with my dog. I just lay on the ground.
Can we get some dogs in here real quick for Shopify?
That's cool though. I'm excited for the Sirius B Aliens.
All right. Well, Shopify.
Milk.
Yeah, you know me.
Lemonade.
A little bit of extra chocolate syrup in there.
Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna need all of those tools to be able to come, mentally come back from that one, because they were playing really well for so long in that series, and versus FlyQuest, that is not easy to replicate, especially as we keep getting deeper and deeper into Fearless now. So they're going to have a quick turnaround here for Shopify so they can focus, because now it is must-win games.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to think about, right? They had a 7,000 gold lead. How many times do you think that has happened this entire split against FlyQuest?
And Dragon Soul, I'd say 0.
Yeah, like it's crazy, right? They only lost 2 games, so probably only happened like 2 to 3 times the entire split. It is very rare to get that kind of an advantage against FlyQuest. They played really well to earn it. We'll have to see if they can kind of just mentally, you know what? All right, no problem. Let's do it again.
Here comes the big bounce back.
The same side of the rift. Shopify once
Surely.
again on blue. Let's see how our bans are looking. Game number 3. So Fearless is starting to kick in somewhat meaningfully here with the 10 champions from both games now having been removed. We've got Kalista and Gwen banned out by Shopify. The Vi and the Victor banned out by FlyQuest. The one that is still missing is that Yone that I mentioned in the previous game is kind of a staple ban against Palafox. So we'll see if FlyQuest goes with that here, as the Karma is the 3rd ban for Shopify.
Check this out. They don't ban Yone.
It would definitely stick out.
I bet they just feel so good about how they won that last game from such a deficit. They probably leave Yone open as like a mental fuck you.
What's your answer?
Maybe Quad will do to him what Chovy did and bring out the smolder mid.
Hey, glad you're liking the magic, Musty.
So let's see, what is the actual answer here? Because it feels so obvious. It's like, as Shopify, you're like, I want that, but you know that I want that. Like, what's going on here?
Wait a second.
Okay,
Oh.
Shopify does not want that, at least not first. Instead, they're going to insta-lock the big meatball in the top lane, the Scion for Fudge.
It's kind of like another of those takeaways of Bwipo's answers. You know, again, they have to win some games to be able to get there, but it is really cool to think about Fearless in this kind of way, right? Where you take away some of these picks that are more of the niche picks for your opponent, and you're limiting their pool in that way. And if Fudge is comfortable on these, I mean, he looked very good on the Yorick. then it can be quite effective. It is going to be the Renekton answer, which obviously is going to get pretty heavily outscaled. I'm curious to see if Fudge is kind of the similar playstyle on Sion to what Bwipo does, where Bwipo really likes the AD items. He's more reliant on the HP that's in this kit. You know, does like to go Titanic Hydra and you know, Bloodlord's Mail.
That's okay.
And try to play it really aggressive, but this is going to be a tough 2v2 to survive, no matter what jungler contracts drafts.
Exactly. Might have to make use of that zombie passive when Sejuani is...
Gotta use the whole kit.
Sejuani is paired with Renekton.
Get
that is...
Kog'Maw in there, you know? Double it up.
That is a strong top side of the map. We'll see what Quad goes with, too, because, I mean, talking about Yone being up, it is still up. You got a Sejuani, Renekton, and a Yone, like, holy.
And it could even be... Like
oh, we didn't even grab the Yone.
Silas, both work quite well. And I mean, I do think it's a little bit surprising that it's gone down to here. I feel like they're just going to slam the Yone, throw some protection bands down if you're concerned about it at all. It's such a powerful top side. It's also quite comfortable picks for FlyQuest, so this could be dangerous.
Shopify are clearly thinking, all right, we are going to invest everything in counter-engage, though, because they slammed the Xayah Rakan immediately, too. They've got the Sion here. And we are, for FlyQuest, going to pick up the big AP in mid lane, more traditional mage. They're not gonna fully index into melee and engage there. Maybe they're a little bit worried about going too far, too short range. With the buffs that Hui got, scales really nicely. Like the passive really, really hurts now, and provides you so much AoE and magic damage here for the fight.
And I feel like now if you're going to pick that, then you're going to be banning out Yone second phase for sure.
Yeah.
But Hui, I think, is always one of these interesting champions because while it is quite low mobility, it is actually pretty hard.
Oh, they did ban out the Yone.
Really good and really comfortable with their fear because you can interrupt dashes, you can interrupt people.
I thought they might not.
TC, and when they're really comfortable with that, it becomes very difficult to actually take them out. Looking for the Ahri, you're going to be having to pray for Palafox Ahri here, I think.
Well, we'll see if it even escapes the bans if they want to double target.
That one's unlikely, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get Teemo
we'll
for
try
that
our
guy.
best.
That's going to be... That's a pretty rare one.
That's like a game 7 in the best of 5 Fearless, you know?
Yeah. Best of 9, maybe we'll get Teemo somewhere.
We could. I think at best of 9, I feel confident.
Okay, maybe. Zach?
See, he's not even saying he wants it. He's just like, Zach?
It's more likely than Teemo. It's more likely than Teemo. I'll give you that.
Light cooking right now. Who's he playing right now?
All right, we've got the Yone, we've got the Jace both banned.
Underrated pick.
Caitlyn, we've got the Smolder banned away as well. Let's see what FlyQuest wants to lock here. We need to see their AD carry. We need to see their support. I would expect to see the AD carry first.
Could be going that sort of route. I mean, that's what you're expecting if they do lock in the Lucian. Milio is becoming kind of that more popular new age variant of this duo. Masu definitely has his Lucian card. He is very good on it, I think. Really can impress on a lot of these different picks. And so it is going to be the Lucian. So you're expecting it to be Nami or Milio.
There's 3-2 Peeb. 3-2 against Peeb. Nice.
And we're waiting for mid lane. We're waiting for jungle here.
There's membership.
I like that the crowd is now just shouting more options. We have like 4 or 5 different signs plus the audibles. Ooh, that one actually does seem fairly likely here. Orianna, there we go. You've got the ball delivery and Rakan already. Really good synergy.
Hey, Mundo guy!
Hey, we got a jackpot!
Whoa!
Over there.
Ooh, Mundo jungle.
Did I see those?
Gonna be coming through.
That's fine.
That's
fine. Fuck it.
Take a bow. Skewmond in EU is definitely.
I'm a Mundo believer.
We'll see.
I just don't know how it plays into that comp. Whatever, I guess.
The canister also makes him pretty difficult to pick off.
And that front line, when you have a Sion and a Muno, is quite beefy here for Shopify walking into this FlyQuest comp. I think Quad again is going to have to do a lot of work. He was very good, I feel like, in the previous game, especially on that Talia, but he is going to carry a tremendous amount in the
He's a gifted member,
So I've
Hush.
got a fun fact for you. So the last time FlyQuest was down 7,000 plus gold and came back, it was against TL in 2022 when Bwipo was on TL. So has been a while since there has been that big of a comeback from this org, let alone this.
Yeah, I guess we'll see, Goose. It's mainly just the CC, but whatever. We'll see how it goes.
For them going into what could be the final game of our series.
All right, non-subscribers, we will see you guys in 30 seconds. But for everybody else, I really, really am concerned about the Shopify mental coming into this one. Those types of games, like Game 2, are the most frustrating ones to lose when it felt like you were holding all the cards, but somehow you still didn't get the win. Hopefully they were able to reset.
Hey, sometimes that's just the way she goes.
They have a pretty stock standard team.
Very, 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 very rarely.
I guess be called a little bit of a deviation would be the
All right, come on, let's try and bounce
big
back.
tank in the top lane, traditional control mage in mid. You've got an AD carry that can peel for itself with a support that can either help with that or engage. I feel like they're not going to be put in a spot like the last game where if they get a lead, they'll feel like, oh, we can't 5v5. But also they're going to have to try to build that lead again, which is a lot tougher than it might first seem when you're against a squad like FlyQuest.
It absolutely is going to be really tough to be able to build up a lead similar to what they had in that second game. But
Moondog goes where he pleases, fuck him!
And they do have...
Yeah!
Definitely wins those.
Woo!
Q1 is really strong. And Mundo is great at absorbing engages because of the canister passive. It immunes the first CC, the canister pops out. If you pick it up, you get a little heal, and it refunds some of that cooldown. But, you know, for Sedge wanting to find an engage, you basically have to, like, Q flash and knock the canister off, then immediately ult and things like that. It makes it a lot more difficult to play around if you're trying to pick off this Mundo.
We won that trade.
Scales really well, clears really fast. They are basically a two-threat comp here. It's all about Palafox and Bvoy. The rest of them just have to keep that farm up and make space.
And I'm going to be looking at that bottom lane. Masu and Busio here, they have the Ignite in their lane. See if they can actually get some pressure going for themselves.
All right, nothing crazy at level 1, so let's go ahead. We've got Emily standing by for an interview with FlyQuest coach Nuke Duck.
Thank you very much.
Ooh.
I'm here with FlyQuest coach Nuke Duck.
We already got the heal out.
Watching this level 1 as
Heal and Ignite just went out.
Masu getting a little low there. The first thing I did want to ask you though is coming off of a game that was as grueling as that one, what's going through your mind?
That's
as you're
not bad.
watching Your team?
That's something. Couple summoners down.
Outplayed, so I was a bit upset. Yeah, I was upset. We were getting outplayed, so we were kind of prepared to lose that one with how it was going, so it was fun to win it. But we were just prepping the next game and whatnot.
And then in this game specifically, I was a bit surprised that they left Lucian Nami open after locking in the Zyrakan. Were you at all surprised? And just talk me through your draft prep a little bit.
You know, it's a game 3, so what did the ban instead? Smolder. Yeah, I was not that surprised. We haven't really. I don't think we have played it on stage yet, so you know, you kind of have to go a little bit of the enemy's like comfort as well. So yeah, I'm interested to see how it's gonna go because yeah, we haven't done it on stage yet.
All right, well, all the best. Thank you so much for taking the time, and we'll get back to the cast.
All right, thank you all very much. And obviously the Lucian Nami doing exactly what it's drafted to do here in the early game as they are slamming this bot lane 2v2.
Yeah, I mean, that was rough. I mean,
Slamming?
Sales tried to go really aggressive and
We're only down 10 farm.
Inspired versus Contracts, though, this is a matchup we've seen so
Rough.
many
God
times.
damn it. It was, yeah.
I like the achievements
Eek.
tab there. Took Gen G to 5 games. Contract clapped up G2. True. And
our international accolades.
Exactly. And I mean, it's one of those things that I just think Contract is so important for this team and what he does. You know, Inspired, obviously, I feel like he's going to be the MVP. This guy has been so good all year long, all split long, so consistent. But he does have the luxury of having 3 winning lanes most of the time.
He's a tier 1.
Contracts does not.
Stone.
He often is the guy that is having to create opportunities, create plays, sometimes taking more risky moves and angles because his team is not going to win kind of just naturally by playing slow.
Yeah, and especially this game with the matchups that we have. FlyQuest pushing on top, pushing on bottom there, so should be a lot of opportunity there for Inspired, who just a standard clear up towards top side, grab your top scuttle crab, regular recall here for the Sedge.
All right, Shopify not having the greatest start here to the lanes, but apparently they had some things to say about the first
You're gonna jump on
games
Battlefront 2
heading
for
into this
Battlefront
third
3
one.
today?
What's his name?
Brother, there ain't no Battlefront 3. And she's not coming. But I was gonna hop on Battlefront 2 last night. I just have to re-download EA app, which is cringe. So I'll eventually hop on it again. There's Resub Jingle Bug and Norbert.
Okay, draft gap. We were better, but we entered, so we call it draft gap.
We were better.
I actually like it, man. You got to be able to laugh it off. You got to be able to joke about it, right? You know, because otherwise you're just going to be down in the dumps. And we'll see, you know, how they're going to be able to go from here. Bvoy swaps up towards topside with Seos. because let's be honest, that 2v2 was going horrible. B-Boy's first buy was boots to double longsword. When you already got cooked on the first kind of 2v2, well, you're not going to be able to fight after that. So they get a call on the next base, they go top, and they're just trying to get out of there.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the grab a cull and get out of there answer to losing, so right up to the top side. And again, remember though, the jungler is...
Wait, maybe.
Nice knock up. Whippo
Close,
trying to get away
close.
from this with a slice now as Seos and Beto
Oh.
take the chase. But as soon as he sees the flash, Whippo gets over the wall, stays safe.
They waited too long. If they had flashed early before he was actually at that wall, sure, he respawned flash, but he's still in your line of sight and you can actually kill him there. Because they hesitated, he got to the wall, you lose the vision. It's one flash for two, and Whippo's laughing at you.
Yeah, if you flash into the fog of war, then you can break anything that's
true.
in the air, and 2 for 1 is an exceptional trade.
Gaster's
So
100%
They
right.
bought the call, they swapped out,
And they
got
stopped our
stopped.
backs.
Oh boy, this is gonna go from bad to worse now as Shopify Rebellion's bot side duo
Oh.
is interrupted on their recall, and oh look, it's Busio and Masu, and they're ready to keep going with the 2v2.
Oh.
Well, they're just going to base and stay still. We will not fight it. But the problem now is Fudge is
Yeah, if they
moving top.
flashed right
So
there, they would have
Renekton
been
is gonna
able
be
to.
push in this wave, so you're going to lose at least a few minions. I don't know exactly how many because I can't see the full wave status down in bot lane. Whippo laughing about it.
Whippo,
but this
man.
is going to be at least a couple that they do drop, and it's going to be another plate going over to Whippo. So yeah, Fudge does catch the wave top. Yeah, you do continue to avoid that 2v2. But, I mean, let's look at the CS. It's like nearly 20, 15, 16 CS right now just for that Lucian. And now the Renekton is actually up in gold as well.
We talked a lot about the mentality from the
Thanks,
losing
Ariso
side
Bagroma.
of big swingy games like that. The mentality for FlyQuest is just like, whoa, we're playing with house money. We weren't even supposed to win that second game. The coach was talking about, yeah, we already counted that one as a loss, and we were
You can hit
prepping
this one for free.
We were counting the next game and prepping the next one, and now they come in and it's just going to be all smiles and laughing at the plays when they do work out in your favor, just like that. So the swaps will continue though. Back up to the other side. They're trying to keep out of the even-sided
Oh,
ones.
maybe.
Ooh, nice sidestep away from Fudge's Contacts and Fudge really wanted to get these kills, but sidestep
God.
plus the perfect bubble under the means FlyQuest's duo is in no danger.
All these Shopify flashes are being
Holy fuck, our
on the top
flashes.
side of the map. Another one in the dirt. It's the Bermuda Triangle of flashes.
Oh my god.
You know things are going bad when the Renekton in the 1v2 is freezing the lane on your bot lane. That is sad to see. I'm not going to lie. It's been a while since I've seen this one.
Yeah, it's some ancient technology.
That is,
that is a rare sight.
Your bot lane is getting absolutely cooked when that is the case. They are clearly...
I'll check it out, Sava. I haven't heard of that one.
But the fact that they don't feel confident to actually push that in is definitely very tough. I mean, they're missing those flashes, so they're just worried. Well, if...
Flashes are a crutch. I've always said it.
We're just going to die.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been lobbying to remove flashes from League for years.
You know, right in
We don't need them.
and the
We don't
Sejuani
want them.
has ulti, so you're like, yeah, if Inspired does come, then they could definitely eat us up.
And there's your Dominus as Whippo engages towards B-Boy and Seos.
There goes our barrier. I've been saying, we don't want summoners anyway.
The barrier from the Xayah did not want to succumb to the combo from the Croc. But in the meantime, FlyQuest is saying, all right, well, we know that we've got the 1v2 down there in the bottom lane. It's not like Xayah and Rakan are coming up here. Easy pick onto the Grubs. They'll just grab all three of those. Inspired can easily secure the entire objective here in the top side river, as Fudge can crash the wave into top lane, but just barely misses out on the first plate.
I will say, even though all those flashes, you know, not the greatest look to having expended them, they actually haven't been punished that hard, and the swap did alleviate the pressure and did kind of work there for Shopify. So it didn't look the greatest with a lot of the you know, flashes, but
gold's still close.
There you go. Look at the scoreboard.
Just keep
Scoreboard.
an eye on the scoreboard. PMA, positive mental attitude. All right, FlyQuest have moved Busio down here to help Whippo. It's Lizard and Fish versus Xayah and Rakan, as Seos and B-Boy still just trying to catch up. I mean, You can see Masu's farm 2 waves ahead of B-Boy just from those early advantages they had, and he's now getting that solo EXP and farm over in the mid lane, so the Lucian going to be...
Hey, we'll see though.
B-Boy is just barely level 6.
Setting aside bot, we're farming well.
And he has Ignite.
All things considered.
Very aggressively.
I mean, he's going to have Essence Reaver, and B-Boy is going to be on a very sad buy. You know, he spent the gold on the Cull, he spent the gold on the boots, he's down in gold.
Okay.
Make something happen here, but I feel like Quad could probably walk this one out. Maybe not with Palafox, though.
Yeah, now that Palafox has shown up, it is certain doom.
There we go.
First blood over to Shopify Rebellion for what I believe is the first time this series.
That's a dub.
You'll take it.
We'll take those.
They got the Orianna getting paid here nice and early. Palafox going to get off to a little bit of a lead for himself on that one. At least for FlyQuest, the Hui does not spend the flash. It's not like you had summoners also get blown on that one, so you're not as easy of a repeat target, but still good pick from Shopify.
Yeah, it's great. And I mean, getting that Orianna gold is so important. You know, you need B-Boy, you need Palafox to be strong because you are this 2-threat comp. And you do have a great ball delivery system here with Sayo.
A 2-threat comp.
To be able to kind of get
Pardon me.
on the back line.
Dr.
Lucian,
Mundo,
as we
hello.
know, I feel like it kind of scales with skill. Like, I don't think it just falls off later onto the game, but it's very hard to execute on. And when you're playing against someone like Seos on this Rakan, who can just R-flash on your face if you ever dash forward and then you get caught by a shockwave, it is very hard because you're pretty low range. So,
Brings a prime Queasy.
Science coming up the river here. Could ulti.
Okay, defensive ult from Busio making it so there's no way Seos can continue engaging as now Fudge looking to disrupt his backline a little bit. Busio with some fast feet, looking to sidestep the cleavers, but no!
Nice, nice, nice.
And Shopify are grabbing kill number 2
Oh, I
of
thought
the
we
game.
could get 2 there. That's all right. That's good though. Wait a minute.
And they get paid for it.
Wait a minute.
Double flank there. Fudge
Hold the
on
phone.
River, contracts down the other side from the river, and the pincer works out for Shopify. Another kill picked up for them. And they actually didn't drop any waves to do it because before rotating up, Fudge had pushed on the bottom side. So Bwipo's trying to get the wave back into tower now, but Fudge can get right back in place in time.
Yeah, Fudge involved in both of the kills so far. You know, was able to withstand the 1v1, did fine, you know, lane swapping his bot lane out of this problematic 2v2 that you were talking about, Kobe, you know, keeping them close, and then is able to set up Palafox for the kill on top side, roam mid, help with a kill there. He's having a good game, and I think, again...
We're not getting the neutral objectives, but that's okay.
Right,
I'm not super concerned with that.
Neutral objectives so far. They got all 3 grubs. They got that second Drake, although the first one did go over to Shopify Rebellion, so it's not like the feat is going to be secured just yet. But also, Shopify is close to getting the kills feat. That has gone the way of FlyQuest
Nice.
in both previous games.
Come on, Palafox.
Quad's in some danger against Palafox once more.
He was so
Palafox
patient
gonna
for
get
it.
a solo bolo right here.
Ugh.
Not quite enough damage. Quad steps away. There's that fear disengage that we were talking about earlier. Severing Bolt, not going to really land anything there at the end other than farming up the minions. Seyo seeing if maybe he can interrupt Quad's recall. Contracts also here to join the party. Inspired
Oh, wait. Can we get that now?
Providing enough of a distraction for Quad to walk away.
They've also got the early rotation on AD. You see B-Boy was coming up too, so you know you have to give up turret plate money here if you're FlyQuest.
Oh, well.
Quad got chunked out so heavily just to buy Palafox that they earn money
true,
even
Jay.
without getting a kill.
And I really love this because not only are you getting the turret plate there, but you're denying the entire wave because Quad's base was so delayed, he couldn't just insta-TP back and actually collect that. It wasn't a cannon wave, so he lost that full 6 minions.
We're playing this really well, all things considered, man. We almost got a 1K gold lead on this now. This had a terrible start for us, but we're playing really strong.
The midfield
Smart.
genius here showing up in game number 3.
Man, I am fucking hungry.
First couple games, you know?
I'm hungry.
He's got him downloaded now.
We've got hearts.
Any of you bastards ever heard of autophagy? Because right now I'm doing a 1 meal a day diet to try it out to see if I feel any differences with autophagy, which is apparently after like a 24 hours of fasting, 24 to 48 hours, your body eats like garbage cells, turning it into amino acids. So there's a lot of like reported health benefits.
If FlyQuest wins the game in 40 minutes and 2 seconds or longer, it will be the longest 3-0 in NA history.
Yeah, we'll
So
see,
that's
Brian.
LCS, that's LTA, that's everything. So would be kind of an interesting. It's one of those things like it's the most competitive time that you've ever been sweet.
Yeah, exactly. It's a 3-0, but it was a long
3-0. Made you fight for it.
Yeah, I've been doing that for 3 days. Nice. So far, it's been feeling really good.
But you know what?
But I'm really hungry right now. Because my last meal was at 4 yesterday. So I'm a little over 24 hours.
on this top lane tier 1 turret. Palafox just getting a lot of money for himself up here. Really solid performance early on in this game, like you already mentioned. Masu still in the mid lane by himself. He does not have the same EXP advantage he once had over B-Boy. It's not like the full 2 levels, but still a solid level ahead.
B-Boy, though, pretty relevant, right? Like, he already has his first item done. The cull is cash out. He's got a BF on top. B-Boy is chilling. He's, in fact,
he's up in
almost
gold.
600 gold ahead because he picked up that one kill, plus he cashed out the cull now.
So MIT released a study showing how people who fast daily increase their odds of intestinal cancers. See, that's the thing about all kinds of, like, nutritional science. There's always just conflicting and new shit that comes out all the time. Big Orianna ult. Good shit.
Shopify Rebellion 3-0 in kill.
Even better position now that they do go in. Mundo goes where
That's pretty surprising, though. I obviously haven't read the report, but intermittent fasting has so many reported health benefits, like studied for a long, long time. The autophagy report won the Nobel Prize in 2016. Pretty much all of the science, like all of the reports say how good fasting is for the body. So if there is like a new MIT study showing that it's actually really bad, that'd be very surprising.
Using that piercing light bonus range through the minion to hit B-Boy for a last little bit of chunk of damage, but all the meanwhile, it was Rift Herald secured by Shopify. They've locked in the kill streak. They're 2,500 gold ahead. Things are looking good 15 minutes in.
Yeah, it's an exceptional state to be in because, whoa! Okay, he's fine. Calculated. Here's the counterplay.
Huge! Mundo! Aw, got the flash out. Their Ignite is also down. No, live, damn you! Huge! Mundo, get the fuck out!
Gets caught at the very end of the shockwave, but it will not kill him either. Contracts staying alive on the Mundo.
Mundo didn't realize his back got interrupted. Huge! And we slip out? Actually, massive.
Just barely on the front lines. Both of them surviving, even with the ults coming through.
Hey, CJ.
Everybody converging.
It's looking good, but we did just blow a 7k gold lead in the last game, so nothing's set in stone yet.
Frustrating for FlyQuest. Seos barely lives, then Contracts barely lives, and Fudge barely lives. There's 3 almost kills. They couldn't finish off anyone there.
The MIT study was in mice, not humans. It showed possible risk if mutations are present during refeeding, not that fasting causes cancer. Claim is misrepresented. Dude is a liar.
Masu's putting on pressure, but
Interesting.
It doesn't matter because every time there's a fight, it's B-Boy picking up the kills. Now they got first tower, so the feats are completed as well.
Yeah, this is the first time in the series that Shopify have earned themselves the empowered boots. It's a really good start in pretty much every department here for the Rebels, but now the next dragon has spawned. FlyQuest have control over the bot side river right now. Fudge is down there closer to bottom lane, Quad being the one to answer right now on the Hwei. This Hwei pick not working out super great for FlyQuest so far.
Yeah, and now just a couple seconds here, Fudge will get his ult back for the Scion. They're already in position. You have to expect Shopify here. Just start up the dragon.
Yeah, 1 meal a day was pretty common back in the day. They used to call it the warrior diet, I think. So I've done it before. I don't mind it. Like, I usually feel really good on it. I was just curious if anyone ever heard of it, because the autophagy is a pretty new study. And it sounds like a really... That's a shame we lose Scion here. Can we at least go 1 for 1? Nope, we cannot.
Now re-engaging after Fudge, and finally FlyQuest get their kill.
Get him, Scion!
But the dead body is already rampaging. He zones Busio and Masu away, but now with the Scion completely and truly out of the picture, the dragon is still at death's door, and it's still Shopify with control over the bottom.
Alright, nice, we got it, we got it, we got it. Just get the fuck out, just get the fuck out! Mundo, no! That's alright. I mean, it's not great, but it's okay, I guess. Actually, pretty bad.
May have got themselves the objective. Their gold lead has nearly entirely disappeared as the cost.
And the biggest difference there, Bwipo had Flash when he came in, and they were trying to trade top laners. Fudge did not have Flash to get back out. So if you look at the beginning of this, they basically accept, all right, fine, you want to have this Renekton teleport in, we'll focus him on this left side while we leave Fudge there, and it's basically going to be a fight where you focus Scion, we focus Renekton. Probably should be good for us, right? But the Renekton can flash away from the second blade caller there after the ult. The Scion had no exit out of it, and so they exchange, you know, frontline basically, and get FlyQuest the extra kills. Shopify then do return and they at least get the dragon for themselves, but giving up the extra kills here and the extra money to FlyQuest may be detrimental.
Absolutely, and I mean, so much of it went to Masu. Masu went back to base there with 1,800 gold in pocket to spend after that fight. So he not only has the second item, he's got 2 longswords towards his third, and it's actually a Bloodthirster second here from B-Boy. I was kind of curious because he got a Vamp Scepter a little bit earlier before that fight, if he was just going to sit on the Vamp, but he's been constantly getting chunked by Masu over and over and over and poke.
That is a damn shame.
So he's actually decided to fully commit to the BT. That does mean you're not going to be able to poke him down, but it also means his sustained damage is a lot lower than a lot of these secondary options.
And I love how aggressive Masu plays on the Lucian. He's always looking for chances to dash in, find a quick combo, and play the champion the way it was designed to be played. Seos got to be careful about clearing out some of those wards as Bwipo and Inspired are waiting in the wings. Masu going to continue trying to keep these waves shoved up and shoved in towards Shopify, who only have a 600 gold lead now.
I mean,
We had a nice little 2K gold lead just a moment ago, too. You hate to see it.
Even the pre-ult from Bwipo might have
Are we gonna
actually
try and
died without
engage
being able
that?
to get it off.
Nah,
It's
no
500
shot.
bonus health that he came into. He was
Well,
very
maybe.
low when he flashed away. These small things.
Yeah, we're going for it.
Yeah, Fudge wants to find the angle here in the bot lane. Duo, but again, it is sidestep. Inspired is tanky, but he's not tanky enough. He has to flash away to stay alive there as Shopify, again, always looking for these engages with the
I like that we're looking for it. I just don't know about that.
Out of his queue, forcing him to
That's a big catch, though. Can we melt him?
Trying to make something else happen here,
No.
but he's got to be so careful. He runs in, loses 75% of his HP, and
Okay,
immediately
that's gonna be a
has to
little
retreat.
lull for a second. I need to fill up my water. I'm so fucking thirsty. Give me 2 seconds and be right back.
Tower though, it does force the teleport out as the pressure
saw the
does
teleport, didn't I?
continue.
Okay, Fudge arrives. He's going to make sure they can keep this tier 1 turret defended.
Alright, I thought
It
it was
is very
engaged. Alright,
low,
we're fine.
but it's
I'll be right
still
back.
standing. Masu eats a cleaver there. Going to have to be a little bit more careful. Not any true danger as he continues to retreat alongside the rest of his team. Now with a culling, firing towards the Shopify lines. It'll take a big chunk out of the Mundo. We got 8 people right here in mid lane, but nobody's fully committing to the fight just yet. Masu, another dash away from the Decimate of the Scion, does not want to get caught up in that one.
Yeah, they were buying time there. Palafox finished his split push on the bottom side, went back to purchase in base now, and can rotate up to answer top side here. Can Bwipo actually push quick enough? That top tower is very low. I think that Palafox's timing is good enough, and he'll be able to go collect.
So there's a 400 gold lead for Shopify, but it's also worth noting there's a very distinct difference in the flower petals picked up. Normally you don't see this level of difference unless Otacon has already been claimed, I feel like. 16-2, that's at least a few hundred golds worth of stats.
Yeah, and B-Boy and Masu were actually just sitting for a while there at the exact same goal. Look at the total damage. I asked for this graphic because I was curious what it would be. Look at Masu's damage so far this game. 17,800 damage just about. Well over double what B-Boy has been able to do. He's been playing super aggressive. You have to with this pick, and I feel like he is really piloting it well thus far.
He's playing super aggressive, and he has 2 of the biggest meatballs in League of Legends that he has to put those bullets into. So there's tons of health bar for Masu to work through. We do have Otacon alive in the bottom part of the map. We will also have the next Drake joining him down there right next door in about 30 seconds. I'm expecting another team fight to pop up here very soon.
And if there is, there's going to be a very, very big difference here with 2 items for Palafox. This gold lead actually will have a meaningful difference where Quad has not been able to finish his second item. And so you're looking at this Orianna Shockwave. This thing could be huge, especially if B-Boy can...
There we got it! Masu's in trouble! Contracts gets the kill! Absolutely huge for Shopify! Masu wanted to step up and use the culling. I don't know if he didn't notice the ball. I don't know if he was just disrespecting the ball, but the ball was there and Masu gets dropped.
I think he just thought, if he one-man shockwaves me, I'm going to be able to survive it and be able to get out, but clearly disrespecting it, gets hit by the shockwave, and then Contract finished him off with just a flash E briefcase to the face.
All right, now even more trouble. Quad has to flash over the wall to survive as Seos and Fudge try to find the other carry. Meanwhile, though, the entire time, you've got Bwipo putting in work on the top lane tier 2 turret, but now he's teleporting in to join the rest of the team. They do not want to allow Shopify to take the free Otacon, but Quad is once again under pressure.
Ended up taking a P as well. You just watch Palafox get the kill.
This is not Quad's game. Bwipo flashing and dashing forward to try to get
Otacon's really low.
who barely stays alive with the ulti, but finally drops there.
We missed the smite. Oh, but we still got it, thank God.
Contracts at least secures it, but now Bwipo and Busio gonna try to fight as Inspired has died. Palafox trying to escape from the Renekton.
That was almost a complete fucking disaster.
The Culling's not there in time. Blippo needs a little bit more range, but he cannot find the last bit of damage for Palafox.
Oh, this series is so close. Even with FlyQuest coming out ahead in a 2-0, the last game so incredibly close. Shopify fighting for so long, and this is the reason why it was like that. I mean, Shopify, now they have 3 dragons for themselves. They still are able to get the Otacon to clean up some of the extra flowers on it, but FlyQuest counterplay even while they were losing some
There's a
things.
prime straw.
They had Renekton split pushing, he finishes the tower, he teleports in, they go for the kill onto B-Boy, and they keep answering some of these plays.
Yeah, Masu definitely saw that.
That ball was there for a long time.
He knew it was there. I think he just disrespected, and then Flash E, that just goes through. Once that auto starts, you are taking that slap right upside the head. And Quad,
you never want to take the slap right upside the head.
You don't. You got to stay out of range of that slap. But Quad, unfortunately, trying to walk in here, he gets punished as well. The Shopify core playing really, really well.
I'm not sure. I don't remember Crab.
Advantage. This was great, though, from Whippo as well as Inspired. They get in, they're able to take down the AD carry, and look how close this was. 20 HP, 1 HP before he actually knocks it down. If that went the way of FlyQuest, it is a very different story how we're talking about that fight.
Yeah, because how Flowers was talking about it, they already had a bunch of flowers, and so it would sweep up all the extra ones on the Rift. And
Have you tried the new JoJo's flavor? Not yet. Not
it
yet.
was a very good CC chain.
B-Boy is just running.
He definitely has to, because last time he got CC chained, it was very good from the Renekton Empower W into the immediate Sejuani stun. That's why his ult was so late and ended up going down so quickly. FlyQuest will start it up.
Fudge has TP.
Baron begun.
We're fine.
FlyQuest demanding Shopify comes to answer them. They know that Fudge wanted to take that tier 1 turret down there in the bottom lane, but now he's got to stop and try to make his way up to join this fight. There is a teleport, but he'd much rather use the ulti to join if that's an option. Already crossing the path into mid lane. Expect Shopify to make their move here soon. The Baron is already down below.
Let's go, boys.
And Fudge is ready to charge in. FlyQuest backs away from the objective, and the Baron is going to reset.
Nice, good catch. No, we have to kill him. Burst him.
Now
Damn.
also in retreat. FlyQuest have more damaged health bars than Shopify. Nobody is going to take the Baron.
Yeah, Whippo goes in there. He does take a lot of damage, but he had this Sterak's. He
Can we get that tier 1
really
mid?
tanky with the ulti, with the Sterak's proc, so he's willing to draw that pressure. And at the same time, Contracts and Fudge were both put incredibly low themselves.
Yeah, we keep TP. We lose nobody. They don't get Baron. That's really fine. And we get tier 1 mid for it. That's fine. That's okay for us.
Game number 3. Game number 2 was the massive comeback battle, and now game number 3, 27 minutes in, we're dead even on the gold. The biggest gold lead was the 2,500 for Shopify 15 minutes into the game, but after that disappeared, it has just been a neck-and-neck race.
And we have Soul available here for Shopify.
Also got the bot tower. Voice crack. Also got bot tower. True.
Grab it. Infernal Soul would be pretty scary for this Orianna, who's already looking powerful.
Certainly would be huge boost in power. FlyQuest trying to see if they can get any cooldowns out of Shopify.
Big Mundo Cleaver.
That dragon arrives and they have to throw
AP Mundo.
Because that is for sure going to be a force. I mean, maybe there's something with Baron being available, but honestly, I think you just have to go for it and answer at the dragon.
All right, Masu going to keep shoving these waves in. Everybody else on FlyQuest is waiting to make sure that Masu doesn't run into any danger. This guy is absolutely critical for any fight. Lord Dominic's regards fully completed as the 3rd item. Really couldn't imagine a different item 3rd here, having to deal with the incredible health tanks of the Mundo, of the Scion, just being able to rip through that armor so that the damage can be so much more impactful. But Shopify are saying, all right, if you guys want to stop us from getting the soul, whatever, we're going to look to the Baron instead. But FlyQuest are not going to fall for the trap. Inspired steps forward.
Oh, God.
Already started up the objective. Palafox gets hit by a Severing Bolt. The Sejuani ulti follows, but there's no
Oh, God.
Try to slice and dice in as Contract
That was
for now, but more damage
that was so bad.
the top of the
No.
entirety of Shopify Rebellion. Inspired's gonna be carefully
Good shit, B-Boy.
Oh,
no, that's gonna be tough now.
With the Sterak's gauge staying alive and the pressure
Oh, wait a minute though. B-Boy kind of cooking back there. No, still really bad. We still lose everybody.
is feeling hella itchy.
Mundo goes where he pleases.
Contracts looks like a good target. FlyQuest just killed 4 of them.
It's Masu on the Senna, and now it's Masu on the Lucian. This guy's going
Nah, probably solo queue it. Oh, I just looked away for 1 second. What was that?
Something, he'll take quad, but he'll give the ace over to FlyQuest and Masu.
And the Infernal is still up.
What was the? I didn't see. What? Why?
So these late kills are very meaningful.
Thanks, Resubine. And I'll probably solo queue Night Rain.
No mid laner for Quad, but Quad is going to have teleport when he gets back up. So just be careful with those late game Jays. But this fight around the Baron was so close with the frontliners going down very early. The zombie Scion does a lot of work here, trying to even up so they do get the kill. But then Masu's able to step forward. Red buffs on all of FlyQuest here. He keeps getting empowered by the Nami, continues the chase, enables the chase. I want to get back to the soul though. Okay, we can see in the picture-in-picture. Okay. There we go. FlyQuest are going to reset first. They're going to be the ones to put a stop to the dragon stacking.
And Masu faced after that fight with 3,000 gold. He just bought the BF, so he's holding on to get the IE. He's got to be very close. He's got to be a wave or 2 away. Busio, very good on the Nami, 9-3, having a great game so far. Has been on point with the bubbles and keeping Masu as safe as possible. FlyQuest definitely do not want to fight until they have that IE. I think Masu's got it on base right here. I can't see YLCB going back.
All right, Masu going for the big power spike from the Infinity Edge.
There it is.
So much.
Maybe we should try and just pick a fight.
Shot is critting.
Just fucking rip it.
Is absolutely the raid boss of this game. Shopify have to find an answer for him.
What a talent Masu has been ever since he entered the league. Rookie of the year. Here he goes. He's going to follow up on Bwipo's little stun on Fudge. Just some chunk damage.
All right, FlyQuest assembled as 5. Shopify doing the same to stop him. The Baron still available to fight for as FlyQuest continue moving forward.
Yikes. That's GG.
Contract, but it's all about
wait, maybe not. That was a huge Orianna play right there.
Shopify found the carry. Bwipo goes into the back to finish up the kill into B-Boy. But where's
We just don't have the damage right now.
About to drop and Quad takes the kill. Bwipo will not stop. He continues the chase and stuns up Palafox, but he doesn't have the damage just yet. Finally, Fudge's body falls over as Seos, Palafox, and Contract.
If we could have killed Bwipo there, I actually think we could have turned that.
Favoring FlyQuest.
What an engage.
Could have been worse. Definitely could have been worse.
Flashes forward. They get this
whatever, I guess.
A huge chunk out. Even with Palafox nicely peeling there and giving
Shopify what it is.
A little window to win this team fight, they still are able to push through. So there it is. They engage.
This shockwave though.
Yeah, the peel is really good, but then look at the Nami from the other side creates so much space, and Quad over here is just blasting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, they get this engage on B-Boy, they get him very, very low. Bwipo thankfully able to finish him off, but that shockwave saved the fight, potentially the game. I feel like they just get absolutely rinsed if they bring out that shockwave on the Lucian because it allowed them to take him down. Yeah, they still do kind of lose the fight, but it is a much closer affair. Masu goes down. They can't go to the Baron after it. So Palafox definitely making a huge play there, and he's closing in on his death cap, which would be a massive purchase. Level 16 now on that Orianna. Once the death cap is through, you got to be so careful.
B-Boy has to have his finger on his R button
He's
at
gonna
all
some hammer
times.
time.
He has a target on his back. He keeps on getting stunned up. A really, really good plays from Bwipo a lot of the time, you know, flashing on him and surprising him. But you have to be so quick here.
Oh!
Color on Masu, but there's no follow-up to really try to punish him in time. Flash available on that FlyQuest AD carry as well. FlyQuest trying to make sure they maintain control over the topside river here with the Baron still available to fight for as Masu fires off the culling. B-Boy soaks a little damage from it, but most of it will be absorbed by the front line of Shopify Rebellion. The Redemption also used to try to keep the health bars as full as possible. FlyQuest, they've shoved
I don't really see the line for us to bring this back, but
only the Mundo really
who
hurt
knows?
after that one, and you can see his health slowly regenerating now as FlyQuest move their way up towards the Baron, but they aren't going to start anything. They're trying to bait Shopify in. Fudge takes a little bit of damage, but the dance back and forth between both sides. Palafox teleporting back into the mid lane now to rejoin the team. Masu dashing back away as Busio's ulti is used for the escape for FlyQuest, but once again, Bwipo's in the very middle of everybody. Finds the initial engage, and Fudge takes a ton of damage as well. Both top laners very low.
Just disengage, get the fuck out.
Any sort of a way to enter into the fight. Nobody dies either side.
Renekton is like more tanky than a Scion in a lot of these fights. Bwipo doing a good job being a point person for the team. Thought there was going to be like a difference in front lines with Shopify having Mundo and Scion, but they're constantly getting really good looks there for FlyQuest, and they're getting a lot of chunk damage out as well. Masu continually poking away. His damage numbers is really going through the roof. I feel like they've got another good setup here towards the Baron, continually replacing vision.
I mean, Bwipo at this point, his ulti gives him 700 HP. The Sterix is a 1k HP shield as well, and he's getting so much healing from the Q. He always goes in when he can get in the midst of the whole team. And he really is making himself such a nuisance because not only is he tanky, he puts out a lot of threats. So it is very difficult, I think, for Shopify to actually deal with him. And he's
I don't know.
so well, because if you were playing passively and scared,
It's possible still. Like, we can do it.
I mean, he's 4,000.
It's just really unlikely.
He is a full item ahead of either one of the enemy tanks. So yes, we're talking about how he's just as tanky as the Scion. He's staying on the level of being that front line, but he's also earned the right to do that by building the lead that he has built for himself so far this game. 2,500 gold lead for FlyQuest, 10 seconds on the clock until the next Drake spawns. It is still soul point for Shopify. FlyQuest still only at 2 Drakes. You can see Inspired and Bwipo down there near the Dragon Pit, while Masu and Busio are still hanging around the top side river because they know last time around Shopify wanted to use their soul point status to try to take the Baron instead. FlyQuest knows they'll probably try to do it again, so they're going to leave Bwipo down there soloing the Drake, while the rest of FlyQuest as a 4-man unit stops Shopify from moving north.
Yeah,
everyone go to Bwipo.
Up there towards mid, so you can show that you are ready to, at the very least, have smite contention towards that Baron, and they don't give
Who needs it?
window there for Shopify to try and use that dragon advantage, which is now gone. All the dragons have been evened up here with FlyQuest grabbing that one. They're going to force on this Baron anyway.
I gotta tell you, I don't like our Baron forces. That's what got us into such hot water in this game to begin with.
As Shopify have the Baron down below half HP, Seos waiting off to the side looking for his opportunity.
That was such a good recon play right there. That was actually that was extraordinary. And it's still bad for us.
Bwipo is tearing through Shopify Rebellion as Contracts now tries to pick up another kill into Busio. He and Fudge are still trying to frontline, but there's
2 for 2, I guess.
Palafox and B-Void down means even though Shopify started the fight off with the perfect pick on Masu, Bwipo showed up and carried it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a brilliant engage on Masu. They just 100-0 him, but Bwipo is taking the game into his own hands, gets in the backline, knocks down both the carries.
He is a monster. Here's a look at it, and it was Seos over the wall with the flash, lights out. Beautiful one shot there in the CC, but then the chase down, and then the arrival of the Renekton. Bwipo comes in, he flashes onto B-Void, once again stuns him up into the Sejuani stun. These CC chains have just been so good for them. In the back line there.
Yep.
Ultimate ticking by
I don't see how we win.
So much damage.
Oh.
It kind of rips them apart. So we'll get right back to live.
What a shame. What a damn shame.
Just loving some League of Legends today. Masu though in some danger. Fudge immediately engaging towards
We're getting good engages.
so aggressively, but
We're just too far behind, really. Bwipo's just, he's carrying hard right now.
goes in for their re-engage. Inspired dashing over the wall himself.
Bwipo from behind again. Wait, wait, good. Jesus, CC chain. Locked him down for a while. That was good.
Disengaging back into their own red
We didn't
side
get anything
jungle.
though.
And again, no dead bodies either side.
Yeah, they're not quite able to finish off Contracts, who is level 18 now on the Mundo. He's up there with the Renekton, and that level 16 ultimate for Mundo is so ridiculously strong because of all of the additional bonus health that you're getting when you're ulting near enemy members. So if you get in the middle of that fight, you pop the ulti, you get a ridiculous amount of healing, and he is very, very tanky. Even picking up a Knight's Vow now, just knowing it's about the carries at this point in the game, and Shopify definitely hanging around this Baron, trying to threaten that they could be starting it.
We got. I'm gonna tell you something.
All right, Shopify.
We gotta stop trying that play. Our Baron forces aren't going super well for us.
Are going to need to frontline. For Palafox specifically, the Orianna has been such a factor
Maybe though.
in this game.
No, this is gonna be really bad. They got us trapped in, and they stole it. Game. GG.
Shows why he's the best jungler in the LTA. Now he's going
going to drop in trade, but Bwipo is chasing after Palafox, and B-Boy is already dead. Shopify Rebellion, they get the kill back on Masu. Now Seos trying to peel for his mid laner. Palafox is on a wild journey all the way through the jungle, and he'll continue.
Get the fuck out, Palafox!
Bwipo, the crocodile, is very scary. He gets the reset on his dash because he goes through the Krugs, and it gives him enough distance to catch up to the Orianna. Now with Quad right behind him, it's surely another kill coming in for FlyQuest.
Oh my goodness, Shopify try and combine a Blade Caller and their Smite, but Inspired is too good. He gets in between. Let's take another look at it. I know they're going to slow it down.
Yeah, it's getting incredibly low there.
2.1k, 19. So the call was to go at 2k, which is a classic number to go for when you're comboing with big abilities like that. But Inspired knows it too, and he just gets in there.
Yeah, really well played by him. And Contracts had no ulti also, which just meant that he just got focused down, burst down in that fight.
It is what it is.
Baron and the damage from Masu.
Okay, I'll kill her. We got the Nash, guys, okay? You want kill? It's personal? Here you go.
Bwipo making sure that everybody's getting what they need. You need a personal vendetta kill? There you go.
I love Smite Steals like that though, because it's like, okay, he's gonna pick a number that he thinks that you're gonna pick, and then he just throws it down there. That was crazy.
Look at Masu and Bwipo getting the damage done for their team. And over on the other side, Palafox doing a lot of work, but Masu has just been relentless. Even though he's gotten picked off a few times, he's playing so aggressive.
What the fuck?
What was that?
What?
Into the pit and then immediately executed point blank. Now Contracts getting caught out.
Did they hit? Did they hit it? They must have hit it, right? But he also still had his ult, didn't he?
As Quad gets a double kill, and Shopify Rebellion are forced out of the jungle, forced back into their base, right as what has to be the Dragon Soul for one side or the other spawns.
Yeah, he did also have his flash too.
They've got a 5v3. They're going straight to the enemy base.
And B-Boy was the one who blast-coned himself into the pit there. So just a misclick, you have to think.
That was
no, he did do it himself.
Blunder as Shopify Rebellion try to stay alive.
Wow.
Palafox is already under pressure.
He just said, I want to go home. He said, I don't want to play anymore. Whatever. Whatever.
Can fix that real quick. Seos barely escapes back into the fountain as Fudge is locked.
He blast coned himself over it, let himself die, even though he had flash and ult up. Big brain.
Bwipo's on a killing spree. FlyQuest is going to take the inhibitor. The game will go on, but it's bot lane inhib. Surely they will just take the Drake on their way out, or maybe not. They're going to wrap back around and go for the tier 3 turret over in mid lane. Bwipo maintaining his presence, his pressure there in the front line. Still 40 seconds left on Palafox, but FlyQuest has injured health bars that they've got to be aware of. Backing away now, looking to head back to the Infernal Soul.
Yeah, that thing kind of looming ominously. As you said, Palafox is still down, but Shopify, they're trying to chase. They're trying to do something here. They don't want FlyQuest to be able to reset and fully heal.
Oh, Contracts has taken so much damage from that culling, though. Masu immediately forcing the frontliner back, and Bwipo has rejoined the fight. Guardian Angel purchased for the last item. He's got that in tandem with a Sterix Gauge. You are not gonna kill this crocodile. Masu's already almost got the Infernal Drake down and dead. Infernal Soul claimed by FlyQuest.
Really well.
Who needs it, I say?
FlyQuest, they get in the base, they knock down the inhibitor, they chunk them out as they're trying to walk in. So Contracts, without ult, Mundo really can't walk in. You are useless without your ultimate there. And then the rest of the FlyQuest members stay outside of the pit. They zone Shopify away while Masu is knocking that down. Infernal Soul secured. Mercurial Scimitar purchased up there from Masu. More and more items coming through here. Deathcap done as well now for Quad. And it feels like FlyQuest are moments away from closing this series out.
And if they can, Azil, they are going to complete that record you were talking about, because it is already past 40 minutes. It would be the longest 3-0 sweep in LTA or LCS history.
Hey, part of history. We did it. We did it.
A battle. Shopify
we made it.
Showing some solid performances, but still, when it counts, when it's those clutch moments, FlyQuest are finding their way through. Whether it was the long defense in game number 2, the inspired smite steal off of the combo timing here in this third game, they are just constantly delivering when their backs are against the wall. Now they've got total control over the Rift. They're getting all the waves shoved up. The Baron is going to spawn again in 1 minute, and the entire Rift
belongs to FlyQuest.
I mean, how about Bwipo in this game? This is one of the biggest individual gold leads I feel like I've seen in a long time. Nearly 7,000 gold ahead in the 1v1.
That's a cursed number. We can win.
It feels like the whole game, well, Bwipo has been hoovering up gold all around the map here, and he has really made it worth his team's while. He took that gold, he dominated team fights, he made such a big impact. Now he has the GA on top of the Sterix that is just going to make it even harder to take him down.
Now the cope is, well, any further increase in that gold lead is purely cosmetic.
He's too rich. He can't do anything
He's too
with it.
rich. It doesn't even matter anymore. Any more gold into the full build, full level 8 Renekton. Capped out. There you go.
All right, 8,000 gold lead for FlyQuest as a team, 7,000 gold lead for Bwipo as a Renekton. As the Baron is 3 seconds away from spawning, and as soon as it spawns, FlyQuest is already DPSing. It shouldn't take a whole long time.
Those idiots!
Up, really.
Don't they know they'll lose once they get Baron?
That there's no way to even try to approach this. Free Baron uncontested for FlyQuest.
Yep,
Thanks for
FlyQuest
resubs,
now have everything they need to try to put
Fly
the
just
touches
through.
on this one.
We've got him now.
They can do it. I mean, as much as you're joking, Kobe, if Shopify can make it go longer, Masu and Bwipo are full build. Bwipo actually has, nearly 3,000 gold in pocket, so that is just dead gold. It's not doing anything for them right now, but they have the soul, they have the Baron, they have an enormous gold lead, and they have just been looking straight up better in these fights. So it's going to need a bit of a miracle engage, I think, from Shopify if they were to hold on.
All right, the pressure is mounting. Up here in the top lane, the tier 3 turret. Already almost gonna die. Masu just shreds these things as Bwipo is creating a different threat over in mid lane at the same time. Inhibitor falls topside. Bwipo's got the wave, ready to do the same thing here in mid. Another massive calling. Just there's got to be 200 bullets in there as Masu gets himself back away. Shopify wanted to take their chance to try to engage, but they cannot do it. Spyro
The final stand. Here it comes. GA popped. All right, we popped his GA.
HP for so long. B-Boy barely lives through it. Bwipo finally dies, but at the cost of the base.
We did it! Get out of here! Scram!
Contracts and Fudge forcing them to take their exit.
Holy shit.
Goes on.
That was crazy. B-Boy nearly died to Bwipo's dominance while he was in the GA res because the AoE damage continues, so he had to use the ulti defensively there. Bwipo, though, does lose quite a bit. Loses the GA, is going to swap that out immediately for a Death Stance.
Now, like I said, we've got him right where we want him.
Base completely destroyed, though. They lost every
The classic grab Baron, lose game, true combo. We've got him.
A fully stacked bounty on the Renekton, a deserved bounty, by the way. So that was also collected. Here's another look. They tried to initially, go for Masu, then they flash backwards, and Bwipo decides to take it upon himself to use his Guardian Angel.
Oh, he used it, and this dominance, look at that. He almost dies, just barely. One more tick of the dominance, and that is a dead AD carry and probably just game over. Bwipo, though, does end up going down, and they're able to hold on. You can see a little bit of frustration on his face there.
So that shutdown full gold did go to Palafox. Maybe. Just maybe it is now Shopify's turn.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
Maybe it is Shopify's turn for the heroic defense and their comeback in this series.
I mean, Palafox is pretty much full.
No turret, open Nexus, no problem.
Guard, so you're going to get effectively the same value, but B-Boy dies instantly to Masu. He doesn't even get a chance to use the ulti. The double kill comes
Shit.
through and the game is over. Shopify are cut to ribbons as FlyQuest will take the win in this series. It might be the longest 3-0 in North American history, but it's still a clean sweep.
Oof. What a day.
Well played by FlyQuest. And yeah, the end series scorecard will be misleading. Shopify, especially in games 2 and 3, really pushed FlyQuest to the edge.
They started losing all across esports. You just blown from Stupid Town? What are you talking about? We just beat Optic and Halo like an hour and a half ago. What game are we on right now in Halo? Still map 1.
Shots. Could see a lead change coming here, essentially tied up at 46.
Ball drop. Enemy has the ball.
And we'll go into a 1-point advantage. FaZe will take the lead now. Falcao recognizes where the pressure's coming in from the comms from his teammates, moves towards the long haul, finds Last Shot. He's going to chase him down here. He wants to put him in the death screen. And will indeed do exactly that. It's 2v2 on the map at the moment. Now he's trying to cut middle map. Does he get the time?
Should have just watched this. I still wanted to watch the squad. We took a game off Fly before. We should have today as well with a 7K gold lead, but we said we don't want to. We'd rather get 3-0'd.
Yeah, Falcon, he gets away, but going blue pipes costs a lot of time. Killing spree for him. We'll see if he can pick up even more kills on the push and the collapse. So far, it's working out.
And now he's on the pitch. Look at this. Royal 2 has to go for the double melee. Last shot's last alive on the Shopify side. He'll go down as well. And a chance now for FaZe to move that ball back towards the elevator spawns. From Shopify, Rebellion are in and around the long haul, and they're going to have to make a trek to get near this oddball.
20 seconds on the camo as well. It's going to be a big factor here in the late game. And with a score of 67 to 55 in favor of FaZe, you got to think that camo could really decide which team is able to establish a gap here.
And there's a standout stat in this lobby right now, and that is Penguin. He's just broken 40 kills in the lobby. Suppressed is just behind him on 39. No one on the Shopify Rebellion side has broken 30 as yet, so Suppressed and Penguin are doing some heavy slaying here on the side of FaZe.
What was the thought behind Cyan and Mundo? I don't know, man. You're asking the wrong guy. I didn't play it.
While leading the entire lobby in kills. Unbelievable for him so far, but still work to do before they close it out.
Frosty has the camo here. Suppressed has found 2 though on the side of FaZe, and Frosty finds himself as last alive.
Oof.
Even though you got the camo, there's not much you can do in this situation. And look at that game clock. Look at the time that FaZe are starting to put on the board here. Penguin knows there's one player missing. He might be thinking play ball, he might be thinking trade. He gets the trade instead. Trippy will find one. Falcated gets into a position to grab the ball and get it off the map as last alive. It's 4 dead here for FaZe, but has the damage been done?
World 2 now, very important.
This would be a crazy dub here.
Shock, so he wants help right away from a teammate. They're going to drop, but they're going to also want every second that they can. So they make sure to grab right away. All 8 players up. Keep an eye on the kill feed. Let's see if Shopify can hold.
Hey, what? Not a headshot?
FaZe are going to be tested, but it's 3 dead on the side of FaZe. The last player alive is going to be Falcated. Royal 2's found him. Royal 2 sniffed him out. He's coming in to try and finish off this kill. He will be able to do so, and for FaZe, this is a scary moment.
Come on, boys.
Shopify have that ball in their hands, even though they're 7 points away. Royal 2 is controlling the pipes. He's controlling gold. And FaZe cannot pass.
Oh my gosh, Royal 2
holy shit.
Between shots, somehow keeps his shield this entire
He's
time.
still going.
Look at the comeback here. Royal 2 just commanding.
That a boy. That was a headshot. I don't care what you say. That looked great.
Shock rifle. Finally, it's going to be taken down. FaZe will be 2 dead, but the ball time is still going the way of Shopify.
Come on, boys.
Rebellion.
They've stacked 2 dead for the last 60+ seconds. Unbelievable timing here. FaZe committed everything to that long haul push.
Come on.
In play, and it was risky. They take the lead. 4 seconds
I
to go.
don't think FaZe are close enough to get this, and it's going to
Let's go.
in the final
Wow, to take a dub out of that was crazy.
and steal the game away from FaZe. It just feels like history repeats itself again for FaZe. They're in a great position, a game-winning position, but somehow snatch a loss away from the jaws of victory.
And had a 20-point lead as well in the late game. But it was huge plays from Royal 2. The peak shotting with the shock at Gold Stairs with his shield management perfectly, just winning peak battles to maintain shields the entire time. And in that third-person view,
Yeah, of course I know
World
all
2's
about the
POV,
Battlefront
we saw
stuff.
All 3 players coming in from FaZe. That's not an easy push when you have to sneak everyone through long and hope that you're winning battles at glass and long haul. Those are difficult battles to win, and they don't win them. Look at the kills on the board in the end. Look how heavily FaZe outslayed.
Oh, out-damaged as well.
And out-damaged and outscored.
Resub achieve.
Yet,
You see the new Lilo and Stitch?
Shopify
No.
steals the game.
I am done with live action
Talk
remakes.
about Halo, a bit about moments. Comes down to those moments, and even though the man on your screen, Penguin, drops huge statistics, Suppressed drops huge statistics, they outslay their opponents. It all comes down to round 3, final moment, and a final hold from Shopify Rebellion, where FaZe just fell over like a pack of cards. It felt like you saw that they were trying to push through towards gold, to break through gold, but it felt like they were just all looking at different things.
They were, yeah.
And Royal 2 hits a couple of nice shots, but they're not headshots, they're damaging shots. But then when he re-peaks, It's like everyone just forgot he existed.
Yeah, apparently everyone's saying the Lilo and Stitch movie is super bad. I had initially heard it was good, but yesterday everyone said it was shitty. It doesn't matter either way, even if it was amazing or even if it was like unwatchably shit, I'm still not watching it. I'm done with live action remakes. Snow White was the last one.
It'd be interesting to go back and listen to the comms of this moment. This is the moment. I mean, look at this. The Pete comes in here. He knows he's under pressure here.
Would you like to see Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG nuked and reworked? Reworked? No. Nuked? Yes.
Last shot, of course, he's taking that battle across the map, but surely it's
like I still love Yu-Gi-Oh! But I completely understand why there are no new players going into it and why players keep leaving it. It's just not fun. Like, meta Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just not fun. Every turn one goes like 20 minutes of cycling through your whole deck to build an unbreakable board, and if you as the opponent don't have hand traps, it's already GG. It's just, there's nothing fun about that. So I'd like to see it nuked, but I don't think there needs to be a rework, like in terms of mechanics. They just need to maybe just make it more like Edison. Edison is so much more fun.
For Shopify Rebellion, 2 of those, remember, against Optic Gaming as well. Those wins, I should say. On the other side, FaZe Clan 3-1, maybe not a similar caliber of opponents. They did, of course, have to play Space.
This is the team, Prodigy. What are you talking about?
Take what you will from that, but the average margin of victory,
You're literally watching Moist Esports. The only difference is we changed our name because we couldn't get our players into the country anymore through immigration.
That's a pretty convincing victory. Their average margin is almost 10.
Apparently Sony just canceled all paid marketing for Marathon. Rough.
Margin against, points against, but also follow with that margin, only taking 38 kills, 38.5 exactly. It's quite a margin, as we said, so this is going to be a heck of a Slayer battle, and we also know, as we take a look at the elimination bracket, just how much Shopify has prioritized the Slayers.
Yeah, you can see here is going to be Nemesis, who take down Zero's Tenacity, so some European players throwing down. It's going to be Nemesis.
I watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It was fine. It's a good movie. His membership cheesy. The resub gun through.
To set up a match against Nemesis. Optic Gaming, we saw that a little bit earlier in Space Station, what they did, and that is going to be coming up in Elimination Round 2, which is just insane to think about, by the way. Optic Gaming versus Space Station in Elimination Bracket Round 2. One of those is going to have a finish they will not ever want to talk about again.
Wild to be going home. One of those two going home on a Saturday night. Unbelievable. Also unbelievable is Gen G taking down C9. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of talent on the side of Gen G, but I don't think many people would have had their bets and their chips placed on that side of the table. But Gen G writing quite a story, and C9 exiting much earlier than they had expected, and the bracket continues to be wild here. Dallas.
Of course, welcome back to Royal One.
What do you think about the One Piece TCG? Great. I love the One Piece TCG.
It's a bit weird. Although we know how brotherly relationships work. Sometimes it's nice to fight, beat up your younger brother. Anyway. Slayer Aquarius then, game number 2. It is the younger brother who's having the spoils going his way after game number 1, as it will be Shopify Rebellion finding themselves 1-up in this series, but Aquarius Slayer a chance here for FaZe, who have a very good Slayer record here in Dallas at DreamHack to maybe tie this up.
I love how the importance of Slayers and the fact that they're so important here at this level of Halo Infinite just has really upped the ante of how hard you have to work in your Slayer prep.
Oh.
We already talked about how much Shopify's been doing it, but
If
now
you could have
FaZe
grabbed
is
that,
about
that
to
would have
give
been
them
nice.
a whole new test. As we said, this is not a matchup we've been privy to that much this season. 3 dead off the rip for both sides.
Big push coming in though.
Good trade.
It's going to be 3 dead for FaZe Clan once again, and that is going to allow Suppressor's last player alive actually just to sneak through and grab this first camo. Frosty's trying to hunt him down. He knows where he is, but he's going to have to deal with a couple more players pushing the pink side. From FaZe, it's going to be Penguin who does take him down.
There's
So
a prime
narrow
hub.
lead, but a lead and camo off the rip here for FaZe Clan.
You get the feeling with each camo, they need to make sure they're maximizing here. If either team is able to shut down camos, it could be a really big deciding factor in the way that this one goes. Trying to find what he can on the map. However, here he loses 2 teammates.
No!
2 kills himself and play off that damage. Such an important thing to do, and he might be able to turn a triple
Nice.
here, but no.
Didn't get traded, that's big. Okay, he got traded and then we died for free. Fuck. Come on, boys.
After Shopify Rebellion get a couple of their own. Still just a 1
Oh, nice, that's cool.
between the two.
Glad the claw machine went well in VR.
Hunting down to P1.
Trying to keep Penguin alive, and he's going to be able to do so as well. Penguin's also got the green gun to take into the next battle. Kills being exchanged here right at the 10 kill mark early on, but 3 will fall for Shopify.
Last player's in front of him as well. Frosty does somehow win the fight, even though Trippy had the thrust, so that's incredibly impressive stuff from Frosty to win that individual fight. A little bit of a frustrating one, I imagine, for Trippy. But it's going to be Penguin who does manage to clean up the damage and keep FaZe in this lead. A 3-kill advantage for them at the moment.
Okay, that's alright. Trade's
really
fine.
Make sure you maintain this. Don't let him back in the game. Good trade once
Damn
again.
it.
It's moments like that that we're talking about. Anytime you
Damn.
see a 1v2 trade at this level of competitive Halo, a lot of work has to be done to still eke out those kills. And as we said, it will maintain the
Come on,
kill
boys.
lead for FaZe Clan.
Come on, boys.
Here for Shopify Rebellion, but forced down to the low ground as Falcade is holding this window. Making sure that not only can he look at Suppressed and try and keep him alive, that he keeps Shopify Rebellion off of this power-up. A little bit of a trade. As we have a 2-for-2 split on the map at the moment. 2 players from either side currently in the respawn screen. Frosty finds one onto Penguin. See, the Falcade wants something to play towards top middle for this camo, but he also knows that there's a lot of players still alive, and he can't overcommit due to the numbers that Shopify Rebellion have on the map.
God damn, we cannot chip away at this lead right now.
Had he not bonked his head. Flash shot instead gets the burn on camo, so still just a 5-kill lead for FaZe Clan.
4-3 for Foul to start this one. Penguin again, 8-5 for him. He's had a great couple of games to start this off. Well, certainly a good game number 1, even though it was on the losing side.
Come on.
So going to continue here, almost double positive in this second game. FaZe with a pretty solid lead at this point in the game.
Yeah, maintaining and holding so far. They outslayed in the objective game. Despite the loss, they're still outslaying here in the Slayer, and it's paying off. Let's get into a listening with FaZe Clan.
We're just not really looking aggressive enough. There we go, that's better. Good aggression.
Nice, Mike. Two shot. And then Blue Gen and Car 2, guys. Car 2 weak on the name. 130. Car 2 and Car 1. Car 1 weak. Go 2. Going front, blue, 1 shot. Nice, Mike. Nice, guys. Yellow jump, yellow, go bottom.
Okay, let's start getting serious.
Okay, got to peek. Can someone come peek? Someone come peek? I'm trying to look. Yeah, P2 on the next. You want yellow jump and none nades. Yellow P jump. Came on 10. P2, I think. Where's he going? Where's he going? Nice shit, Mike. P2 on me, 1 shot. P2, 1 shot. 1 shot blue P street, 1 shot blue P street. Yep, he's going. Go in, P1 blue. 2 blue P street. 3 there, Mike. Look at the street. 3 on Mike. 3 there, Mike. 3 there. I'm still fighting this. Come soon. I'm coming P.
There we go. Let's start really getting in there. Nope, they brought it back up to 5. They traded it out. God damn it. We keep getting traded.
P2 weak, guys. P2 weak. 2 shot. 1 shot P2. Frosty on the P wall. Still 1 shot P2. He's 1 shot blue P street.
Nice.
Alright, take your time. Warp by 2.
Actually big. That was actually so big to stop that.
One guy was blue P.
Good work, boys.
Probably Car 2. Watch the vent. Get up top, Donnie.
On Donnie.
Get up top, Donnie.
Top mid, 4-2.
One shot. Crust is up as well. Look at me. They know I'm here.
Yo, top mid. Blue on me.
Yeah, there's Apex today. I don't know when, but there's Apex today. Oh my god, fuck yeah. Huge.
Another one, blue 2. Blue window. Mike. Watch out. Yeah, all you.
Well, Foul gets 1, but you can see that the lead has now changed. It's because FaZe just got a little bit stuck on the spawn there. 3 or 4 of them all trapped in and around the jet, and the collapse came in from
Very
Shopify
nice.
Rebellion, and it was executed so well.
5-kill lead. They're just completely blown during that listening. As you said, Shopify just...
What?
Melee does not connect with World 2 there, so in the end, FaZe will go into a narrow lead now, back and forth.
Oh, why?
Really cannot afford any mistakes from here on out. Only 14 kills to go for FaZe.
Similar position here for FaZe, up by 3. Element of control, done a lot of the hard work, but no games of Halo have ever been won.
Ever. Not a single game of Halo has ever been won.
There's still work to do for them. 2 down on either side at the moment. 3 kills the advantage. Might be a little bit more if Suppress can find Royal 2, and that's exactly what he does right now. Pressure from the pink tower. But Suppress trying to play his life here, but there's a lot of Shopify players around. He's going to take the 1v1 with Cycle, and that could be huge for what way this game swings.
Yeah, huge play for him, as you say. Enormous little 1v1 to keep them now up by 3. It's not done yet. Still a lot of work to go in the final kills here in the 40s now as they extend their lead just narrowly to 4.
Let's go, Royal. There we go.
2 finds 1.
Let's, good for 2. Good for 2. No! No! We needed that.
he's going to try to fly in for the kill. Should be an easy finish, and it is indeed now 45-40. FaZe Clan with a comfortable cushion at 46.
I'll check it out, try again.
FaZe Clan at this point. Just close it out. That's what
We fell apart. We had such a good chance of winning this, and fell apart.
well. Nothing silly. Keep it simple. Find our trades and find
Yeah,
ourselves
GG.
kind of a one-to-one.
Alright,
Away with this
game
camo
3.
As well, and that could be the final nail in this Shopify coffin in this game number 2.
Really well done. Like you said, he can now just push in with the team and get these last few kills here on the pig side. 49 on the board.
Frosty could be the last kill, but instead Royal 2 is going to find himself taking down no shields. Still some camo to play with here for Trippy. Still playing this smart, not overextending, knowing that damage is enough to get the 50th. And the melee will cement it, finishing with a killing spree.
Team 1 game 2 Apex.
And FaZe
Nice.
close out to tie us up at 1-1.
And if you thought this was going to be an easy series,
On to
for
game
Shopify,
3, I guess.
again, they take game number 1 despite being outslayed. However, FaZe that was
God
tested
damn it.
time and time again in that specific game. I'm
I
impressed
really
with
need
the
to
Slayer
eat.
resilience
I still haven't
FaZe.
eaten
There
yet.
were several moments
I think I'm gonna go do that. I think I'm just gonna go
6
eat. I am fucking starving. Now I'm running out of fumes now.
control the angles that they needed.
I'll be back on later, probably. I'm gonna be watching this on my phone while eating. Alright, everyone. I will see you later tonight, most likely. Have a good evening. See you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.